Boop, boop, boop. You can go up. Yeah, Talisha, no, she can't. Okay, Journey can go up because Journey is a subscriber. However, if you're not a subscriber, hey, just my opinion, and you got less than 1,000 followers, I don't give a fuck if you got enough to be able to come in the panel. You are not allowed in my panel. If you are a subscriber, you definitely can come up. However, if you have enough followers to come up and it's less than 1,000, you ain't allowed in my panel unless you subscribe or you pay. That's the rule. Get your followers up or stay your ass in the comments. All right. Let me read this. Yeah, she's a subscriber. She can go up. Okay. The question is, what is the difference with the passport bros and the 4B movement? Okay. Yeah, you can say in the comments, Janet. You be all right. You ain't ready. You ain't ready for this smoke, girl. You ain't ready yet. You ain't ready to come up here. I have to fight somebody for you. You stay down until you learn TikTok etiquette, cause I have to fight somebody. So if you have less followers, you don't have a say in anything. You have a say in the comments. You could talk in the comments, or you could talk in other panels. So other people will let you up. I just don't, and I have a reason for that. But you can have say in the comment section. You can talk as much as you want down there. We won't mute you. What up?
Well, how to do?
It's good. How you do? Hey, Peach.
So I'm asking about the 4B movement. Is it like a you can't go places without, you know, is it something like a passport? That's what I'm asking.
Okay, so the 4B movement,
Yeah.
it was started in Korea by women, and I can't pronounce the B's. I'm one of them people. It consists of 4 B's, and each of them mean no. No heterosexual relationships, no romance, no sex, no dating, nothing to do with men. So it's decentering men. The reason why they're doing it in Korea, um, from what I've been told, the reason why they're doing it in Korea is to change the laws because, like in Korea, the women don't have as much rights. Like if you marry a man, he owns you. He can have sex with you and grape you, or control you. So that they have more control over the women over there.
Oh
So they
snap.
have chose not to deal with men at all until the rules and the laws in their country changes. So what has happened is come here. So people are now joining the movement. But what I see and what I've been listening to, thank you lady for subscribing. What I've been listening to, right, Miami. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Miami. What I've been listening to, they're doing it here, but it seems like they're not doing it the same for the same reason and the same way as the women in Korea. But the men are really upset about it because the women are saying that they're decentering men. So the men are now saying, "Oh, you just want to bump coochies. You just want to, why y'all don't want to deal with men? It's not gonna work." So I'm
That's
trying to see,
crazy.
well, what's the difference when the men started to remove themselves in the passport and they were leaving the country because of women? Um, the same thing that they're complaining about
Hmm.
is the same thing that they were saying when they were joining the passport program.
Oh, that's crazy.
So
Oh man, that's out of
yeah,
pocket.
Jewel.
Listen, we gotta have a group meeting. All right, we just gotta have a sit down and a group meeting. Cause I ain't gonna
That's true,
lie,
Miami.
I love me some Cuddy. I don't think that's fair. Can we have a
Well,
representative have a group meeting,
hey,
please?
Mello. I mean, you need to go talk to your fellow men. The women are saying we're not dealing with y'all no more. Like women are saying we don't want to deal with y'all no more. So like Miami said, the 4B women have a valid point. It's not rocket science why they don't want men. The passport bros are not decentering women; they're still objectifying. And Kelly said we should do it in solidarity, if at all. If you're saying we should do it with the men, I say no. Hey, Juice Box.
Yeah, don't
But y'all
cut
can
us
come up.
off.
Y'all are more than welcome to come into the box.
Don't cut us men off. Listen, all right, I apologize. Okay.
I think it's good to cut the men off.
What? No.
Yeah, I think that's a good move.
Why? Okay, right? How about this? How about
Thank you,
the F
Brian.
boys, the ones that they don't want nothing in life. They just
Thank
want to
you,
be
my opinion,
gangsters.
for
You
subscribing.
cut them off. All right, us good guys. All right, don't cut us off. Don't do that to us.
I think we're cutting everybody. I think they're cutting everybody off.
Oh my God.
You just came up here to just talk, didn't you? You don't even know what you talk about, do
No,
you?
because I care, yo. Like that's not the answer. I hope it's not the answer. I don't know, man. It's all man. We just need to have a group. I
Well,
you know
well, you should go have a
unity.
group. They have the men are talking about it now.
Nah, cause see,
I
they
agree with that
probably
for you,
messing
Drew.
it up. They probably messing it up. You probably hear someone calling women all types of b words right now. It's like, bro, that's not gonna help right now, bro. Like,
Well, they're saying that it's not gonna happen anyway. They say it's not gonna be successful. It's gonna fail.
it's already kind of happening. Like,
I think women are getting tired. I think that women are deciding, you know what, we're tired. We want to get our lives together. We want to get ourselves together. We're over this. Not all women, but I think many women are wisening up.
I'm about to have to go to the bar. I
And
need
the
a
men are
drink.
copycatting the women. They made the 4G movement now.
What?
They're saying, should we be celibate? Okay, so this is why I think it won't work for men.
What?
Okay. Men are saying, we're going to be celibate now. I don't know too many men that's celibate because men say men being single, they still humping on women. They still humping on majority when being single benefits men in so many ways because they can screw as many women as they want, as long as they want, and don't have to be judged for it. So a man being single and a woman being single are two different things. Because a woman will be single and not messing with nobody, trying to get herself together. A man to be single and still humping on 5, 6 women at the same time. So it's a big difference.
I,
Shane go lie to you are not allowed in my panel. You have to have 1,000 followers.
I'm gonna
Chrissy,
have to
this is
plead
not
the
about
fifth.
women being unalived and hurt. I'm not even going. Chrissy, if you could come up and explain to me what that got to do with it, well, no, you can't. You got less than 1,000 followers. But I'm not talking about women getting unalived and hurt because it's not just women getting unalived and hurt. People are getting unalived and hurt in general. So y'all can miss me with that women getting unalived and hurt shit because we all are hurting each other. Ty, the sister that started the 4B West movement, doesn't even believe in God. Shaking my head. I mean, that's just her. That's her belief system.
I mean, I just want to
I
say
don't care
for
who you're
one.
responding to. The fact of the matter is, y'all always go back with this men unaliving women shit. I don't give a fuck if you were responding to the universe. I'm telling you, it's bullshit. But go ahead.
I mean, I just want to say, um,
Thank you, Rochelle.
can't we all just sing a song?
Yeah, you know what? You
Like,
gonna start singing down there. Anybody seriously want to come up, or we could just have just a single panel today? I could just talk by myself. I'm not doing this with y'all. The 4G movement is, I've never heard of the 4G movement. So those that saying the 4G movement is older, send me the information on the 4G movement in my inbox. Thank you, Rochelle. I'll wait. Let me close the panel until y'all ready. Cause y'all know I don't need a panel. Public said millions quit their job because of the 4B movement. She's advertising fuck guy merchandise on her page. Mellow Man, that's her. I don't really know what to she's probably doing it to I did already PQ. If you didn't hear it, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna do it again. You could go research it. I said 4B movement. It says 4B movement right there. It's intelligent people have less than 1K followers so they can't. I don't care if you're intelligent or not, you can't come in my panel. Y'all wanna fight me because I Go if you intelligent, you will be intelligent enough to get 1,000 followers. I had to do it. If you that intelligent, be intelligent enough to build your following up. Be intelligent enough to scroll out and say, hey, let me go somewhere where they'll let me up. Because some people will let you up. I won't. And I have my reasons why. I don't give a fuck how intelligent you are. You're not allowed in my panel. Hey, Brandy. You going to get this work in just like I had to get my work in. When I first started, I had to be 1,000 followers before I could join. You going to be part of that too. Thank you, Q, for the gifts. Mad at me for what? If you intelligent, get your following up. You will be intelligent enough not to have a conversation with me and say, you know what, she doesn't allow us. I'm intelligent and I'm smart and I'm going to remove myself. You know, it's the most smart and best movement ever. I agree, Peach. I agree. Hey, how you doing? I don't know what she thought that was going to do. It's intelligent people that have less than 1,000 followers. Why can't I come up? Because you ain't intelligent enough to get 1,000 followers. Just saying. You can do it. You can do it. Hey, I'm coming out early. T, you're supposed to be nice today. I can't. They not making it easy for me to be nice. I'm trying. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try again Saturday. Crime may rise. Okay, that's fine. Don't start with me, Q. I seen you acting up this morning. Ain't nobody fooling with you. I'm always talking stuff. Every time I say I'm gonna be good, something else happens. I can't be great. Y'all just don't let me be great. Hey, Arthur. Y'all just don't let me be great. I had to sexualize myself. Shoot, Juice, I had to be a side chick. I know he is, Essence. I seen him up in there bothering you. I had to be a side chick to get followers. Do you know? You know how much hate I got for being a side chick? You know how many people try to cancel me? What up, PQ?
What's up? What's up?
What it
Are
do? What it do?
nothing much. Chilling, chilling. Are men to blame for the movement?
Oh, let me move
I
them
am going
everywhere.
to say. I am going to say yes, and I'm going to say no.
Okay, go ahead. Talk
The
about it.
reason why I'm going to say yes and I'm going to say no is because most. The reason why I'm going to say yes because most
Thank
men
you.
put women in certain situations,
Mmm.
right? But then
Talk
I'm
about it.
also going to say no because most women didn't read those signs that man's put them in that situation.
Thank you, Bianca.
Majority of the times, like when you look at it, like I said the other day, what a lot of people do is that they'll say that the pool has pee in it, but they're picking people from the same damn pool. So I always say,
True.
I tell a man and a woman, why don't you, the last three people that you dated, or the last four people that you dated, sit down and write down the pros and cons from them, and you'll see that they're cons all the same. All the
Mm-hmm.
characteristics are the same. So you,
True.
you you dated the same exact person. Now you're trying to blame men for it. So
True.
that's why I say yes and I say no because a lot of men are when it comes to it. I like to call them relationship predators.
Thank you, Bianca. Mm-hmm.
They're relationship predators. They understand that they are the good looking men and they can get away with a lot of things and be okay with it. Most women are going to be okay with them
Thank you,
getting
Q.
away with it. So that's why I say yes and I
Thank y'all
say
for the
no.
gifts. I agree with you, and I think that's why it's a good idea. In the way I look at the movement, like for here, not the movement for there, and that's why I put at the bottom. Do you think if we adapted the movement and just had created different rules and different standards for it, would it work? Because I think if we as women were to decenter men in a way, not saying we hate men, we're never going to date men again, we're never going to deal with men again, but just say, hey, I'm going to get myself together first. I'm going to heal. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to build. I'm going to build on whatever I need. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
let me be so I won't keep choosing the same men. So I won't jumping in the same pissy ass pool. You know what I'm saying? Let me try to figure out why I keep dealing with the same shit that I've been dealing with. So I think if they did that, more women did that, it would change a lot of the things that's happening in our culture, our environment, the community. I think it would help.
Yeah, most definitely. I say this all the time. I tell people, men and women, especially men. Women to me typically like. I think sometimes women
Thank you,
do
Victoria, for the gift.
they do tend to heal a little bit better than men when it comes to certain things of like relationships. Because most of the times,
Yeah.
most men when they first get their first heartbreak, they're really like they're like fuck the world.
Right.
If this,
Right.
even though it was one chick that I understand this chick did me dirty back in middle school, and even though I'm 35 years old right now, it's still call these women because that one chick did me dirty when I just came out of my mama's womb.
Right. Right. I so somebody in the comments said we want the laws to change too. What laws do you want to change? Can you elaborate on what you mean? Because I honestly don't think that that's gonna happen.
'Cause my
Ty, can
thing,
you answer that comment about why side chicks are winning, please? Side chicks are winning because she got access to your man. Anytime she get access to your relationship, she won. Point blank. Period. There's a period at the end with an exclamation point if you want that too.
when
Go
people
ahead,
say
PQ.
laws need to change, I always like to ask like, what are the laws that we're looking to change?
That's
Like
what I want to know.
when women say that outside of only 14 states and they're all red states, outside of unaliving a child and in the womb, outside of that, what other laws do you want to change? I always like to ask that question.
Abortion laws is all you can think of. Well, that's y'all fault, women.
I want
Yeah,
my
because
reparations.
The
I always
okay.
tell
The
yeah,
abortion
women.
law. The abortion is y'all fault.
I want my
Like I don't.
reparations.
What you say?
I want my reparations.
Okay. Well, we ain't talking about that. You go ask them for your reparations. That
Yeah,
ain't that the 4B movement ain't gonna get that.
because because when it comes down to that, right? I always tell people, women are the majority voters in
How is
America.
that y'all fault? Because y'all okay, let me tell you how it's y'all fault. The abortion thing, right? I People get mad at me when I say it, and y'all can clip me, y'all can put me on a vlog if y'all want to. I've been saying it, I'm gonna say it again. You women have had the choice for years, for decades. You get your body, your choice. I get to abort, I get to take a plan B, I get to get my baby up for adoption, I get to drop my baby off at the firehouse. And y'all still having 20 kids. Y'all still taking these men rights away. Y'all still don't even have a balance in what y'all do. Y'all still manage to be doing all. I'm blaming it on all y'all because at the end of the day, y'all got the power in your hand and you still don't use it right. The men don't get to choose. The life or death situations, that's different. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about people that are willing, people that are healthy. Don't go to the extreme because that's not what you're talking about. I think they should take away your choices. I think you should have the same choice in it that the men have. I think that if a man got to strap up, then you got to use your birth control. I think if a man got to think twice, then you got to think twice before you lay down. I don't think there's enough. It's enough responsibility, accountability, or liability on the woman when she lay down because she knows she got all these fucking choices in the world that she can make as many reckless decisions as she wants to, and there's nothing that anybody can do about it because she can make the choices that she wants when she gets up out that bed. That man has to stick whatever choice that she decides. So I think, yeah, go right ahead and even the playing field. Even the playing field. So if you're married and you have to have one save your life, we should not have a choice. I just said I'm not talking about health conditions, so you can remove that from the equation. I am not talking about any health conditions. I'm talking about healthy people that decide I have 5 abortions because I can. That's what I'm saying. I agree, Chrissy. It goes both ways. That's why I think the playing field should be even. If they are both responsible, then they both shouldn't have the choice. They both should be able to think before they lay down, and a woman shouldn't be able to choose to have an abortion, unless it's a health risk, of course. So, yeah, I agree. They both are responsible. So, both of y'all be responsible because you ain't got abortion as a choice no more. I think they should rip that out the whole equation. Go ahead, PQ.
Oh, damn, somebody else can talk because that was hey.
Go ahead, Q.
Ain't no need. Ain't no need. I'm following
You can
suit
disagree,
because
Jess.
ain't no need because I'm following suit. The shit you talking about, right? Ain't no need for me to overthrow that because you're absolutely on point, right? Some things need to be addressed with some little additives and preservatives along the way, but it ain't no need to elaborate any further. We just spoke on that
Yeah.
because I fully agree, and I don't want to seem as if like I just came up here to what I'm saying, ride your coattail or whatever.
Well,
But it's absolutely true. But people in the comment not being
yeah,
fair
like how
to
can
us
you
men.
argue though? Let's be honest.
They're not being fair to us. They're not being. I've been in the comments going back and forth a little bit, but they're not being fair. You got to think rationally, and you got to think outside the box pertaining to this particular subject because you can't go one side. You can't do that. And just by people keep saying it's only TikTok. Yes, it's only TikTok, but are you letting TikTok affect your outside, or is it just entertainment for you? You
What
just
we
doing
talking
it for
about?
entertainment?
You talking about this conversation?
I mean, like I was in the comments. I was.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just talking about the abortion. Like this is something that I've
I
said
just
before
went through
I
that though.
started TikTok. You just went.
That's a
I'm just
touchy.
this is something I said before I started TikTok.
That's a
I've
tough.
said, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that abortion topic is a touchy subject because I just went through that
So your
abortion
girl had an
thing.
abortion?
I just went through that tea time and it was done without my consent.
See, I don't agree with that. I don't think that's fair.
That's not fair. That's why
I
I
don't
was
think it's
saying
fair. I think that the men. I think if so, that's why I say I feel like the choice should be even, right? Like there's a lot of
absolute.
men that do want their kid, but the woman can say no, I don't want to have a kid. The woman can say yes, I want to have a kid, or the woman can say yes and then change their mind at the end and get a baby up. Men don't have that choice. You have to go by whatever that woman says. Whatever the woman say do, you have to go by that.
You know what's like when you say about the 5 abortion.
Even with marriage though, Queen Jewel, a woman still can say I don't want to keep the baby. Go ahead, PQ.
Yeah, no, that's true right there too. I've read cases where they were like that. Men, they were married, everything's going good. You know, she's at the height of her career, and they have a baby. There, she gets pregnant, and he didn't have a say. They went to court,
But look at
but
what the women are saying. Women, they got choices. Wait till you take their choices away, and let's see what they say. Well, that's your seed. You should protect it. That's your fault. Like all of that shit. But so then what I'm saying is true. You should have closed your legs. You shouldn't have laid on your back. Why you get to go unalive a baby? Why you get to get a baby up? You shouldn't have laid down. Like it's the same to go for you. You should keep your legs closed. You knew you wasn't ready for no baby. You should have told him to strap up.
right.
What you mad like that? Like I don't understand how a woman could say, "Oh, well, you should protect your seed." But you got 50 million choices to lay your ass down, open your legs, sleep with a man, and then you could go the next day and be like, shit, I fucked up. Let me go get a plan B. Or a month later, be like, shit, I'm pregnant. Let me go unalive this baby. Or 9 months later, be like, shit, you know what? I ain't ready. Let me go drop it off at the goddamn firehouse. They do not have the same right, Jesse. Show me how. How can a man say okay, let's do this. Since y'all want to play this game with me. You got 2 responsible adults. They both lay down and make the same irresponsible choice. After the choice is made, do they both have the same choices?
Nope.
Let's play the game since you're saying that the same goes for men. They both make an irresponsible choice. After the choice is made, do they both have the same rights?
Nope. And you know, I want to give this one story about this where I used to live at. There was this lady, her and this guy a raw dog Ray Ray. What they were just doing it. She even knew he wasn't good for her, and she would always say that. But the sex was so good. But I think they had like 4 abortions. She had 4 abortions, and each time the guy wanted the child, so he stopped messing with her. She started messing with this guy that was a lawyer. Condom breaks, and she even said it. Condom broke. She got pregnant, and she's gonna keep it, even though the man saying, "Hey, I don't want the child. I don't want this child. I wasn't prepared for this child. That's why I wore a condom. Hey, the condom happened to break." But he doesn't have a choice in the matter to say he doesn't even have a choice in the matter to walk away.
He has no choice, and that's what the girl just said, Diamond. They both have the same choices beforehand, and that's where it matters. You are absolutely right. That's why abortion laws should be taken away, so it shouldn't matter. You just said, you literally just said, Diamond, it matters the choice beforehand, right? So if a woman has to think about the fact that abortion is not an option anymore, do you think that more women would close their legs? Cause it does matter cause like you say, you can't be human and make a fucked up choice. So since that's the case, they both should have the same choice afterwards then. Because if that's all that matters is the prior choice, right? There we go. Me and not even taking care of the kids and you fighting for, I'm not fighting for nobody.
She fighting for
I'm
equality.
not fighting for nobody. I'm telling the truth. Here's the thing. I bet you they get their license taken away. I bet you they can lose their job. I bet you money coming up out of their checks if they working. I bet you they ain't gonna be able to move freely, not taking care of their kids. But I bet you if a woman take her baby and drop her off at the firehouse or give it up for adoption, ain't nobody gonna come after her for no fucking child support. She has the right to say, you know what? I carried this baby for 9 months and I don't think I'm ready. I'm gonna give this baby up for adoption, and nobody will ever come up after her. But a man does not have the right to say that same thing. You know what? I thought about it. I don't think I'm ready. Nope, you made that choice before you laid down with her. You should have never made the choice. So why shouldn't you have the same thing to go? Why shouldn't you have to go through the same thing? I'm just trying to help me understand. But go ahead, y'all.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I never
Both
thought of it like that.
Both parties need to be
Yeah,
be accountable.
both parties need to be accountable.
Right.
I went into one of them 4B movement jumps and I got slandered. They don't even. I'm gonna tell you what happened. One of the ladies, her name was Rhonda. I asked her if a man was supposed to be respectful based off your principles, would you allow yourself to be his girl if he did all these things that you wanted him to do? She said yes. One of the women in there in the 4B movement told me that I was manipulating her. But I'm giving her the positivity that she wants. One of the women in her movement said that I was being manipulative. Don't fall for it. So the other thing that's happening in the movement is people are not being themselves. They are the ones. It's people in the movement manipulating women and encouraging them to go against
Hold
men.
on, I'm sorry,
Period.
Prince. Hold on. Renita, it's not true. A man can sign over his rights, but he's still responsible for paying for the child unless another man steps up and adopts the child. So even if a man signs over his rights, he still is responsible for taking care of that child. Look it up. Unless someone else steps up and adopts that child. But if there's no other parent, he can give up his rights and he still has to pay child support.
What was her statement?
So no.
What was her statement?
Okay, Renata. Okay, Renata.
What was her statement? I don't even know what she said.
She said a man can give up his rights. He can sign over his rights, which is true. He can. It's not false. Look it up.
No, a man can't sign over his rights. I don't think
he can sign over his rights.
No, he can't.
But he's still responsible for child support.
Exactly. That's what I was getting ready to say. Because he can sign over his rights as far as not being the father, but he still would have to pay child support. So at the same time, he
can't violate. So here's the thing that they're not getting. She said she did it, so she asked him to sign over his rights. If he just goes to the court and say, "I don't want to be a father, let me sign over their rights," he's not going to be able to do it. If that's the case, most men would just sign over their rights and nobody would have to pay child support. Think about it. If the woman says, "Judge, I don't want him to have anything to do with it. I'm fine. I'm not taking no money." Cool. Yeah, probably so. But ain't no man going to be able to go in no courthouse and be like, "I'm signing over my rights." And the judge is going to be like, "Oh, yeah, sure. You don't have to pay for this child anymore."
Correct.
I didn't lie on you, Renetta. You read what you said in your comments. You might have said something wrong.
I ain't gonna lie, you just told me something that I didn't even know as a man.
What?
Yeah, you can sign over.
You can sign over your rights, but you're still responsible for the kid.
Yeah, you're still responsible for that child support at the end of the day. At the end of the day, when it comes down to child support, the state wants to get paid. Somebody has to pay for this child.
Right.
Now,
KC, so give me the states. Give me the states, because there's not a state. Give me one state a man can walk in, sign over his rights without the consent of the mother, and not have to take care of that child still. Give me one state. I'll look it up right now.
There's no state. There is no state.
I know it ain't.
They will have to pay child support unless the mother, like you stated, says off the bat, I do not want any financial assistance from this man, period.
Thank you. Thank
Then
you. It's still the choice
judge
of the
will do
who.
that.
It's still the choice of the who.
And
Of the
after you do
mother.
that,
Still the mother's
The
choice.
mother's still the
after you
mother's
do
choice.
that, it's still up to the
Wow.
courts. It's still up to the courts. After you do that, the courts still have last say so. After
Yeah.
the mother, you know what I'm saying, is willing to go along with that. You still
Right.
got to go through the
That
courts.
is
So
facts first,
it's
because
no
what the
such
judge
thing.
will,
I just went through it, and
yeah, that's facts. That's
it's
facts,
no
because what
such.
the
Hold
judge
on a
will
second.
ask
Hold on.
next.
Jess, we're saying that the man has to agree. We're not saying that the man does not have to agree. So the man is already saying, sure, I'm going to sign over my rights. Okay, cool. He don't want the kid. But he cannot do it by himself.
No.
A woman can be pregnant, never tell a man that she's pregnant. Never even tell a man that she carrying his baby. Give birth to that baby and get that baby up for adoption, and nobody will ever come after her
They
at
will
all
not.
whatsoever.
And that's what I was going to speak on. That's
Wow.
why I asked to come in the box. So not only will they not come after this woman, but she can get paid to give those children up for adoption. There's a woman on that
Yes, it's
everybody
called
knows all
adoption,
over the
Jesse.
internet. Yes, they have a woman right now all over the internet.
That's a disgrace.
Wow.
So she's
Now
saying I'm
that's
crazy. I
comparing two
never
different
knew that.
situations. I'm
no, but
not.
that's a
I'm not
disgrace.
comparing two different situations. And the reason why it's not two different situations is because at the end of the day, a woman has more choices than a man. A woman can decide after making an irresponsible decision. The woman still has all the cards in her hand. She could decide the next day to go get a plan B. She can decide to abort, or she can decide to give the baby up for adoption. All of those things are an option for her that the man does not have at all. This is after the irresponsible decision is made. Men do not
Wow.
have a choice after the decision is made.
Yeah, that just made I'm really dating to marry now, bro.
Do,
I'm not
do,
about to be out here playing
Yeah, the
with no.
decisions come from the courts. The final say so comes. The final verdict and the final say so about
Comes
the
with the mother.
situation. It comes. It
I
comes.
got a call, sorry.
Somebody
do you
said y'all mad that the law protecting women. No, y'all mad that they taking that right away because y'all misusing it. I ain't mad about nothing. I can't have no more kids. Let me explain something to you, baby. I'm not mad because guess what? I never took either one of my kids' father's rights away. The first time when I found out I was pregnant, I was only 15 years old, and as a young girl, I gave him a choice. I didn't take his choices away from him. I ain't got to be mad for shit.
Facts.
Because when I got pregnant, I had a conversation with my daughter's father. What do you want to do? How do you want to move forward? And we both made the decision together to bring our child into the world. My second child, the same thing. Me and her father were married. So I don't take away men's choices. If I gotta bring a child into this world, it's our child, not mine. Sure, my eggs or whatever you want to say it, and I teach my daughters the same thing. You don't take away nobody's choice. You know why? Because that's not just your child. If you're gonna sit there and make the choices your own, then you raise that motherfucker on your own. How you gonna take away somebody's choices when they helped they helped create the life? Why bring a child into
Wow.
the world that's not wanted?
Facts.
Dang, yeah, you
There's a
just told me
lady,
something. Shit.
her name is Ajna Surus or something like that. She had a healing place or whatever. She gave up two or three kids for adoption without the father's consent, without them knowing anything about it or anything like that. And then the father later on told the dad that the kids had passed away. And then one of the fathers found out that the child was still alive and then went to look for it. So everything that T is saying right now is actually facts. There is no state in America that will allow a man to give up his rights and not be held responsible, because even in that
Exactly.
adoption, when they found out the child was alive, guess what? They went after him. Since he was looking for the child, he had to take financial responsibility for the child.
And again, people are
Dang,
saying that men say yes and later walk away, but they still have consequences. That's the part that y'all are not getting. There's still a consequence for him changing his mind. There's not a consequence for
bruh.
you changing yours.
I think they really just want us to be oppressed, bro.
No, I'm gonna be honest.
I
I
don't know
think
what's going on
You're
because
right, Jesse. Maybe they
she
should
just
pick. Maybe
educated
you're
me.
right, Jesse. Maybe they should pick better women to lay down with. And I say the same thing to the women that want to
Yeah,
get an abortion. Nope, too bad, so sad, can't have one. You should have picked a better man. So
adoption
nah,
again,
should.
it's the
for
same
real.
thing for both of y'all. Don't be mad that they take away the law. When you said bumping your gums with the men should pick better women, you should pick a better man then, sis. Don't be complaining about being a single
really,
mama. Don't be complaining about this man ain't shit because you laid down, you opened your leg. Some of y'all open y'all legs and get pregnant by a man and don't even know his last name.
Renetta,
Y'all
if
open
they
y'all legs and get pregnant by a man, but then talk about I don't want to spend the rest of my life with you, but you want to have a kid by him. A lot of y'all women make the wrong ass decisions and be talking about you a victim of society of society, and you ain't even you made a fucked up decision in yourself.
Damn.
And Renata, I said what I said. There's no man in this world. There's not one man in this world that can go to a court and say, I don't want to be a father and get to sign over his rights, no matter what the mama say, and still not be held accountable.
She said
There's not a
something too.
man.
She said something too about if the adoption is done, then they don't have to pay. In the situation that I'm talking about, and that may be true, but in the situation that I was speaking about with this Ajna Sarah lady, the adoption was done illegally. She did not. She told the dad, and even in adoptions, you have in some states you have to have both parents consent. You have to have the father and the mother's consent in order for that
And
child
she
to
could
be put up
easily be
for
like, I don't know
adoption.
who the father is. I don't know where the father
Exactly.
is.
That's what she
could
did.
easily
She
say
told
all
the
of that.
dads, she told the father that the kid had passed, and then she went to the state and said she didn't know who the father was. The man came out looking for the child, and when he came out looking for the child, they did a DNA test.
Was
Come to
that the
find
man?
out
He's a
he's the
black man. Was
father.
he on the news? He was trying to get it. Because I seen one, the black man, he was trying to get
Yes.
he been trying to get his baby for years.
For years.
And they
And the
still
baby's
won't give
like
him his
6
baby.
years old now. Yes. And the
Mm-hmm.
girl's from
Yep.
Indianapolis or something like
Yep.
that, the lady.
Yep. I seen that's the one I
And
seen.
since
Ned, I'm not looking
proved,
up shit. You tell me one state. You look it up right now. Come up in the box. I'll let you up, even though you got less than 1,000 followers. Tell me one state that the man can go to the court, sign over his rights, and not take care of his child without the mother's consent. So Texas. Okay, let's look up Texas. So the man in Texas,
that's
the
not true.
man
I'm
in
from
Texas can go sign over their rights
That's not true.
without the
I'm
mama
from
consent.
Texas. That's not true. I'm
That's
from
y'all
Texas,
telling
and
me?
I got 3 kids,
Oh,
3 baby daddies, 3 different men. 2 were on
oh,
child support, 1 was not. The one that
She
was
a
not on
damn
child support
lie. She a
signed over
damn
his
lie. I
rights.
want her to come up and read me the law.
Yeah.
Come up and read me a law. Read it to
Definitely
me
not
now.
I
Texas.
would.
Because she's
Texas gonna
lying.
find Texas
She's
gonna
lying.
find the daddy and make him pay, even if you don't want him to.
Oh, geez. We're not comparing two
Bro,
different situations. Let me tell you why we're not comparing two different situations. As I said, a woman can give birth to a baby, push that baby out of her vagina, and say, you know what? I don't think I'm ready. And go drop that baby off at the firehouse. And nobody will come after her.
And in
Nobody
Texas,
will come after her.
and
She
in
can drop
Texas,
that baby off in a
T,
safe space and nobody will come after her. A man cannot say, you know what? I changed my mind. I don't think I'm ready.
yeah, and in
He
Texas,
can't.
even if you say that you don't want the father to pay child support, they will make the father pay a medical for insurance, and he not paying child support to you. He
Wisconsin
pays child
too.
support to the state, and
Wisconsin
it's for the
too.
medical insurance, for Medicaid or whatever it is that you choose. Even if you don't want no money from him, the state of Texas will
Hold
make
on. Somebody
him pay
said
your
yes, he
Medicaid.
can. Diamond. No, he cannot without consequences. There is not a man in this world that can walk away without consequences to follow. Now he can duck and dodge the consequences, but they will try to find him. And that woman that had a baby by a man that you don't know his name and you don't know his information, you got a problem then, sis, because you're alive. The man cannot legally walk away and leave and not take care of his child without there being consequences to follow.
Oh yeah, he can't get no driver's license. He can't renew his driver's license. He can't get a passport.
Yeah, there's consequences for him.
Hey T. So I just looked up the Texas right. They say Texas is #1 for child support collection. 2, I also looked up. They said the only time a father can actually walk away from their child without paying child support is if the child is 18 and he doesn't owe any back rears.
Thank you. Thank you. Are you saying you can't? Are you saying you can't write your kids off without both parent consent? I'm saying that men and women do not have the same choices when it comes to a child. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that a woman can make the same. Me and BQ. Let me not use PQ. Let me use shit.
No,
Let me use Q. Okay, let me use PQ. Me and PQ, we go to a party, right? And we make a very, very irresponsible. This is how I explained it to my daughter. If y'all don't get it like this, I explained it to my teenager. And now if y'all don't get this, then y'all just refusing to understand that y'all being willfully ignorant. So let me break it down to you like this. Me and PQ decide we gonna mess around. We get real drunk. We both make a very irresponsible decision. We have sex unprotected. I get pregnant. I can go to PQ and be like, hey, PQ, I'm pregnant. PQ can say to me, man, I don't want no baby. I'm not ready for a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got other things to do. I got shit to take care of. I'm just not ready. And I could say, oh, I don't care about that. I'm still having a baby. It's my baby, my body, my choice. PQ has no other choices after that. Now let's go to me. I go to PQ. I say the same exact thing. And PQ say, I'm so excited to be a father. This is so great. I've always wanted a child. And I'm like, I ain't having no goddamn baby. And he can't make me have it.
That's so
It's still
true.
my choice. It doesn't matter.
My
We can make
brother
the same
literally just
irresponsible
went through
decision,
that.
but I have more choices than him. Go ahead, Prince.
Hey, can I
No,
say this?
I was saying that's so true because my brother literally just went through that. Like he wanted a baby so bad, she got pregnant, and then she was just like, no. He was hurt, but that's what it is. But that's crazy.
I did an interview. Y'all remember the dude? Well, he said it was false. His choice is to wrap it up, and her choice is to close her legs, Diamond. Again, it's women like you to say that, but then you fight for the abortion law. Again, yes, you're right. His choice is to wrap it up, and her choice is to close her legs. Both of you have a choice, and neither one of you made the right one.
So you know what's really,
So
you
it
know
shouldn't
what?
matter what comes after that. That means both of y'all should be able to be responsible for that child. You should not get no abortion. You should not be able to have no plan B. You should not be able to give it up for adoption. Take care of your goddamn child and make sure you do what you got to do. Don't complain about the choice you made. Go ahead,
Hey,
John.
T. So I'm actually reading, right. So the only way that a man can actually walk away and not have to pay child support by signing his rights over is if the mother is remarried and that man is willing to adopt the child.
Right. That's what I said in the beginning. It has to
Has to
be a
be
willing
willing.
participant to adopt the child. Yes.
So somebody has to, because at the end of the day, the state says
I'm not
somebody
advocating,
has to
Diamond.
pay for that child. One of these men have to pay for the child at the end of the day.
And guess what, PQ, in the state of Texas, if the new husband chooses to adopt, they will do a petition for the new husband, and the new husband only pays a portion, meaning like the new husband will only carry the child on his medical insurance, and the father will be responsible for the actual support. I know this because I'm going through it right now.
Saying men don't have a choice is ignorant. Okay, Jennifer, now tell me. I'm going to do it one more time. And all y'all smart women and intelligent women in the comments, please give me the answer.
Hey T, this is Mr.
Wait a minute.
Humble.
Wait, Mr. Humble, because your ass only got 999 followers, and I let you up needing one. So just give me a second, okay?
Gotcha.
Just 1 second. Since we say men have choices, I'm going to say this one more time. Both parties have made an irresponsible decision. After both parties make that irresponsible decision, what choice does a man have after both parties made an irresponsible decision? What choice does a man have? Please tell me.
They don't have none.
I want the people in the comments to tell me what choice the man has. After the decision is already made, what choice does the man have? Absolutely none.
Can I chime in real quick, T? I'm gonna be real fast too.
Take care of his jab child. He should have wrapped it up. Hold on 1 second. So what choice do the woman have? Since y'all said take care of his damn child, that's the only choice he has is whatever she decides, right? Right? So what choice do the woman have? Because after should be too late for both of them, right?
And T, can I just say this? It be the women.
Give me a second. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Give me a second. Because they purposely doing this. Because the women are purposely doing this because they've never had to deal with this in their life. The decision has always been in their hands. They ain't never had to push a baby out of their vagina and it being taken from them and saying, well, you got to pay child support before you can see it. They ain't never had to deal with that. They've never had their choices taken away from them. And now you get it taken away from you. Now you like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Why should I have to be responsible? Oh my God, what should I do? So again, how many choices do the women have? You have plan B. You have abortion. You have adoption. You have safe houses. You have 4 choices, and the man has 0. Go ahead, Clearport.
Yeah, I had a topic about this again. Like, this is Mr. Humble. See, it's kind of crazy at the situation you guys are talking about because it's like I agree with you 1,000,000%. Yeah, and what the lady was saying is not true. Even if you sign your rights over on a child, you basically just signing your rights over as far as having visitation rights and as far as those responsibilities. But legally, you still have to provide child support for the child fully until the child is 18. Now, on the aspect that you're saying. Um, you're 100% right that the woman has decisions within she keeps the child or she doesn't. Because if the man says, "Oh, well, I want to keep the child," and the woman says no, he can't make her. There's no court petition motion that he can file. At the same time, I think for both parties, it's saying basically uh, know who you laying down with, be sure who you laying down with, because even though you might not be um, trying to intentionally have this baby, it's a possibility anytime you have smacks. I'm protected, but at the same time, I would like to put this point of view out there. I think the woman should be held accountable a little bit more, being that you have that option because at the end of the day, if you lay down with this man, you can get pregnant and you know that you're stuck with the child. So I think
Right. So and the women are saying life ain't fair. Oh well, deal with it. So oh well, deal with your deadbeat ass baby daddy and don't go when you with a man. I swear, if the law changed like this and a woman say a man got a woman pregnant and the law say, well, he said he don't want you to have a baby and you still had a baby, and the law say, you know what? Well, he doesn't have to pay because he told you he don't want the baby. I bet you y'all wouldn't say that shit.
I was
yeah,
I
just
bet you y'all
about to
didn't say
say
that's
that. I
fair.
was
You get what I'm
just
saying? I
about to
bet
say
you if the law
that.
changed and the law was like, he told you he didn't want a baby, you still decided to have this baby, you're
but
fully
T, it
responsible,
should,
solely
but T,
responsible
that
for the
shouldn't
I
be
baby. I
was
bet
right.
you they
just
wouldn't say that
about
shit.
to
That
say
that
that,
shouldn't be
T.
right though, Miss T, because at the end of the day, the man should be held responsible as well.
I
And
said that, but what I'm saying is this. If a woman still says, oh, well, deal with it. I said this is what I want to do, so I'm going to do it, right?
yeah, yeah, because I
So
feel as
that
though the man, as a man
life
speaking,
ain't fair. So then if the law changed, then what would they say?
If they make a law that say, if a man they make a law that say if a man tell you he don't want that baby and you still have that baby, that man ain't got to do nothing for that baby. A lot of these babies wouldn't be had.
A lot of these women wouldn't be having kids.
yeah, but I think the system is looking at it as far as the man, as far as holding the man responsible, meaning that a man already knows from the door from day one that you gave your rights up, because every man that can comprehend and understand knows that you don't have no control or no say so over this woman's body. So the men, you know that every single time you lay down with a woman, that you couldn't have a baby and you don't have no say so. Men know this going into it. So I just think men need to be
It doesn't
more.
make it right though, because
No,
guess
no, it
what?
Bro,
doesn't make it
It
right.
doesn't make it right. And
No,
and again, clear, humble. I'm talking to women because you
okay.
could talk to your fellow brothers all day, but I'm going to tell my sisters that is wrong. It's wrong to
right.
take away a choice of a man. It's wrong. It's wrong to say why don't I have a choice, but don't give a person that help you make that decision the same equal choice that you have.
And that's the type of community that we
If y'all
need.
both going to be
Clear.
responsible for this child, that they both should still. They should still be, again, like I said, I was 15 when I got pregnant with my first child. I did not take away that man's choices. I
And it don't
talked
matter.
to him. I had a conversation with him. What do you want to do? If he would have said he didn't want that baby, I wouldn't have had that baby.
And that's the thing, T. A lot of women have these babies thinking they're gonna keep these men or it's gonna change their mind, and it don't. They'll tell you they don't want the
They say
baby, and
you
y'all
keep giving a
still
one
have the
night stand
baby.
thing. Many of these
Still
situations
get
is full blown
pregnant.
relationships. That makes it even worse, sis. The full blown relationships of a man that really wants his child and that woman has an abortion. What do you say about that? What do you say about that? Y'all talking about, what about the men that really want their child and the woman say, I'm not ready? Y'all say that's her right, right? Ain't that what y'all saying? That's her right. She shouldn't have to. It's her body. Yeah, I am trash, Jennifer. I am. Whatever you want to call me. But make it make sense.
You
If
can't
he
call
said,
T
I really
trash
want
from
this
looking at
baby.
it
No,
from both
I'm not trash.
sides.
No, don't defend me. If he decided, babe, I really want this baby. I've always wanted a child. And that woman says no, that should be cool.
Yo, T, why you woke up
It
on some
should.
bullshit today, bro?
Someone said,
I'm just saying. They don't want to hear
Why
that
you
shit
woke
because
up
they
on
ain't
some
never had to
bullshit
deal
today?
with
You
it.
know damn well this is a trigger fucking conversation.
They
A lot of
can't take
motherfuckers
it.
gonna feel some
T,
type of way about this conversation
T,
because you
somebody
saying some real
said,
shit.
Look,
And I
Vibe, they
said,
done call me a
I'm
Thing
picky.
is,
They
Nah,
done
bro,
call
you
me a
saying
pick
some
me and
real
don't
shit
even
because
realize
you
the
nipped
men
it in
don't
the
fuck
butt.
with me
You nipped
either.
it in the butt 3 times, bro. Like,
But
let's
my
spit,
thing
switch
is,
that shit around.
See,
The
they're trying to say
females, you know what I'm saying?
you're for
Hold on,
forced
let him finish,
abortion,
Sassy
and that's
Black.
not what you're saying.
Yes, I
Okay,
am.
sorry.
Yes, I am. I'm for church closing your fucking legs. Go ahead, vibe.
Yeah, 100%. You said some real key shit. Like, let's put it switch it around. If we took Section 8 away, we took food stamps away, how many deadbeat moms it would be? You know what I'm
They
saying? If
already
we took
deadbeat
the whole
moms with
situation.
it. With assistance,
But
they
see, nobody
deadbeat.
want to talk about the situation. Nobody want to talk about that shit. If we made a law stating if that man said he didn't want that baby and you still had that baby and he didn't have to provide for that baby, you'd be fucked up in the system right now. Because he said it. You know how many men out there, the telling queens, they don't want that. They not ready for that. They ain't built for that. They let you know they don't even represent the fuckboy situation. They be real with
But
they
they
shit. Listen,
using this
I
is
ain't
he
there.
owed her life thing.
That shit
Sis, if
sound
you
good.
felt like your life was at risk, why the fuck would you open your legs and get pregnant? Now I understand if there's health issues, that's different. I get it, but we all know that most of this is not health related. So let's stop playing the game. Because if you felt like if me carrying the baby is gonna be a fucked up thing to do, why would you even put yourself at risk to get pregnant in the first fucking place? Let's not play this fucking game. Because it wouldn't be his responsibility that you put yourself in a deadly situation to get pregnant, knowing that your life will be at risk. So let's not play that game. You would
Nah,
be
she got
way
pregnant.
more cautious with yourself because it wouldn't be his responsibility because you decided to lay your ass down knowing that you could lose your life with this decision. Come on, man. Quit playing with me.
9 times
Now
out of
you're
10,
saying
Shorty
teach
gonna
the
have that baby
men.
to make it back
Wait, she's
right.
saying teach the men to wrap it up. I just said I agree with you 100%, Diamond. I'm not arguing with you. Yes, men should wrap it up, and women, you should close your legs. So
And
That
what's the
women,
shit
you
don't
should,
problem with
work
me
all the
saying
time.
that?
and
That shit
women, you
don't
should
work all the
take in
But
time.
let's just say
consideration.
You can
again, the
still
woman
get
has
pregnant.
the
That shit
full.
pop.
The woman
Birth
has the
control,
full
T.
control. Vibe. Keep
T,
your
can't you
legs
get pregnant on birth
closed.
control? I seen that shit. That shit don't work, bro. The shit gonna happen. It's gonna happen, bro.
Okay,
But he
even if
already
you get
told you
pregnant,
before time.
if the man telling
Hey,
you he don't
boo.
want a baby, you don't have to have that baby.
When can the
Nah, she
man
gonna
run
have
off?
that baby
They
because
just
she think
said the
that shit
man
gonna
can run
change him.
off.
That's why.
They said the man can run off scot free. In what world can the man
She
run
think a
off
baby gonna change
scot free with no
situation.
consequences? Please tell me.
Somebody said men can say no. You laying in that bed with your legs wide open, you think a man gonna say no?
so
I
let me
know. I'm
ask
just
this
saying. Some
question.
men
What
will.
Tia,
I'm
to
talking
what
about
you
in the
and T,
comments,
to
T.
what you're saying, right? What does that look like?
What does
Shoot,
what
I
look
had to
like?
say no plenty
What
of
does that
times.
look like if they created a law or petition or motion saying that a man has say so in it? What
Oh,
would that look
let me
like?
tell you my theory. This is what I said the law should be. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I said there should be a law, and I know people don't like it. That if a woman got a right to make a choice that I don't want to have a baby, a man should have a right to. Now, I don't think that a man should be able to go out here getting 50 women pregnant and saying I don't want any of them. He should have at least up to 2 women that he can say, you know what, nope, I don't want to. And if that woman still says she wants to go through it, he should be waived all liability of those rights. The same way a woman can decide if she wants to or not. That's what I think.
Whoa,
If the man says he does want the
that's
baby and the
different.
woman says she doesn't want it, now does the baby prominently live with? The
Well,
father or the mother?
yep, I think that then she should be forced to have the baby, and then give it up to the father.
A lot of this can be avoided if y'all had conversations before y'all lay
Now,
down.
again, it'll be an even playing field. It'll be
That
even.
is true.
It'll
I
be
ain't gonna lie.
even.
I ain't never heard it put like that. With that like that.
It's true. A lot of this could be avoided if y'all had a conversation before y'all lay down.
Hold on.
You can have the
Men, you should
conversation and
block
still go
these
left.
men
With T,
hating
but it
lives to
makes a lot
get
of
you
I'm
sense
better
talking
because
about
content.
the conversation where a lot of people
Ain't
just lay
nobody
with people
hating
just
on
to lay
men.
with them.
Hey,
Sometimes you
this
got to
ain't
ask them questions.
Cosmic.
Hey, do you see
Cosmic, please
yourself
don't
with
hold on a
kids
second.
in
Hold
the
on.
future? Oh, sorry.
Cosmic, please don't spam in my comments because ain't nothing in this live or men hating live. So don't spam my comments.
Cosmic mirrors, bro, as hell. Don't even entertain that. Let her
Hey,
type that they
bro.
can't type no more. Just be careful.
Go ahead, y'all.
T, so the
Yeah,
way
but what
you
I
put
was
it
just
makes
saying is
perfect sense
sometimes you just
because
got to have the.
I'm
Sorry.
sorry,
Go
I'll just be
ahead,
real quick and I'm
Quibble.
gonna drop down. But what T said, it makes a lot of sense because now you give the man basically a choice to say whether or not, okay, I understand that the effects of the woman worried about her body but all that other shit as far as like, oh, well, I'm not ready for a baby, I can't financially provide for them, or, I got stuff going on in my life. Well, all of that is taken away from you. That obligation is taken away from you if your
Yo,
child goes and
yo,
lives with
T,
the father. So that's dope.
yo,
Yeah.
T.
Yeah.
You know what I just thought right now? What if you can get a fucking license and have a baby? What if they switch that shit up? You had to get a fucking license in order to conceive a child. You couldn't have the cheese. You couldn't
Women would
conceive
say
that
you're
shit one,
trying to
two,
control
three.
my body.
You gotta go through situations to make sure that relationship, you know what I'm saying, compatible, it's desirable. You feel me? And you gotta do all the courses to make sure that shit ain't gonna flop, and you won't have, you know what I'm saying, will out. You feel me?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. I
let's
agree.
do that.
Damn.
I wrote a short story. It's on my page. I might have to repost it. Right. And it's called My Body, My Choice, right? And it's a couple. So somebody say I keep using these scenarios with one night stands. It's a couple. Okay. The couple was in a relationship. They were college students. The girl gets pregnant. The boy, it's on my page, y'all. Y'all will have to look in there. It's a short story. It's called My Body, My Choice. The girl gets pregnant. The boy say, you know what? I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. He took his savings. He got a house. He did all this stuff. They took the girl out to eat and proposed to her. Right. So when he go propose to her, she runs out the restaurant. She crying and shit. And he like, what's wrong? She like, I can't have a baby right now. I'm not ready. My parents will kill me. He like, we could go to your parents together. We could talk to them. You know what I'm saying? We could do this. I'm gonna do what's right. I'm gonna do by you. We in this together. And she like, no, I can't have a baby right now. He like, this is our baby. She said, our, this ain't your baby. This is my body. And she like, there ain't no baby. I had an abortion. Right. And he like, so you have an abortion without talking to me? You don't have no conversation with me. You don't say nothing. She was like, I don't have to have a conversation with you. It's my body. It's my choice. Right. So they break up. Right. They break up. Years later, he gets a really good job. He starts working at a law firm. I think he's a doctor at a law firm. I don't remember what I made him, the role I made him play. He goes to this work event, and she's at the work event, right? And they end up having a one night stand. He used a condom and everything, right? The next morning, she like, man, can we try this again? He like, nah, man, you hurt me. You hurt me. I can't do this no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool. I don't want to be with you. She like, all right, cool. So about 3 months later, she asks him out to lunch. They go out to lunch. She tells him that she's pregnant. He like, man, I'm not ready for no baby. I can't do this. I just started seeing another woman. Me and her, I'm feeling her. I'm digging her. We vibing. Like, I can't do this right now. She like, all right. He give her the money for an abortion, right? So now he with a new woman. He dating somebody. Like he finna get mad. Well, he's married, and he gets this paper in the mail and it's a child support order. Who was wrong? Nobody?
Damn well she was fucking wrong, bro. Nobody want to talk about that shit, bro. Talk about youth protection. You could do all that shit and she still get pregnant, bro. It's a fucking 50-50 chance. Doctors tell you that shit. A doctor tell you some shit like that, bro. You gotta believe that shit, bro. I'm gonna put this shit in your arm, put this shit up you, but I'm letting you know right now, you might have a 10 to 5%. You might still get that shit, bro. So stop telling motherfuckers to wrap that shit up. You got the same shit my
Yeah,
brother
that's
said. You
tough.
wrap
But
it up and keep
everybody's
looking at
saying
that
that
shit.
somebody in the
Because if it
comments said
still
that's
happen,
different.
come on, bro.
Somebody in
No,
the
it's not
comments
because it
said it's
happened to my
different.
cousin.
It's not
See, it happened
different
to my
though.
cousin.
Right.
Shorty was on she was on that, what's that IUD shit? She was on that shit. Got pregnant. He was using the magnums. Trust me, he was using the magnums because your boy's not with that. She still got pregnant. Still had the kid. He did the DNA because he thought it wasn't his because he was using protection. He made sure
He
that shit
wrapped
didn't
up.
pop.
So what
He
Diamond
wrapped
is
up.
saying, and that's so
Come
funny
on,
because
man.
Diamond is the one said teach them to strap up. He did strap up in the story. I made, because of people like you, I added in the story that he strapped up.
Young.
No,
What
no.
if
So
What
I'm
really
in
just
the
saying? What
happened?
if
story,
They
it
didn't
said,
have their
and
uncle or
the
their
story has
cousin
been
tell them to
written
wrap
before
it
I
up.
even knew you existed, sweetheart. It's on my page. He used the condom. He did exactly what you said to teach them to do. He strapped up, and she still got pregnant. The condom broke.
Niggas don't understand that shit. You know you get pregnant with pre-cum, right? It doesn't have to be a full fucking you feel me? It could be 2 strokes and that shit there. That motherfuckers be thinking shit is 1, 2, 3. You gotta go in. And no, bro, that pulling up
Thank you,
shit
Lynette, for
don't work.
subscribing.
That shit don't work. Come on now. Stop doing that bullshit. Y'all know damn well. My father said like that. You don't want to be a fucking father. Don't lay down. Ain't
All
no
I'm
fucking,
saying
oh,
is
baby.
this. I think people are thinking that I'm just blaming the woman. What I'm saying is the woman still has more choices. The guy did everything right in both times, and he still took the fall. And that's the part that people are not seeing. Why? Because women don't see it that way because you always have these choices, so you will never know how it feels for a person to take your choices away until your choices are taken away from you. You understand? You will never know how it feels for a person to make you have a baby, for a person to make you have an abortion. Like, you wouldn't know until you were put in that situation, and then you would understand. But because you have never had to really be in that situation, because the laws are made to protect us, you are selfish. You're entitled as fuck. Entitled. I'm very serious, Jennifer. I'm very serious. You're entitled and selfish. So now when the
They
law gets to
can't
saying I'm
take
taking that choice from you, now it's, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this. What's the problem? What y'all so surprised for?
They just can't. They can't handle it. Like they can't take it. That's truly what it is.
Once
I,
once
I
they
agree.
pass that
I
law,
agree
niggas
with
gonna be
T,
thinking
honestly.
probably now. I swear to God.
You can go next, T.
Once that shit in effect, oh, you wanna come out? You wanna come over? Nah, but we go to movies. We go chill.
Jennifer, yes, back in the
Fuck.
day, back in the way women were forced to have children, and the laws were made to fit us, right? Not you guys, because I'm a woman too, and we took it. We created no balance with that, and that's what I'm explaining. Yes, women were forced at times. When my mama's days, where she said they used to take coat hangers and put them up their vagina to abort their babies. They used to lose their life trying to abort their babies. Yes, you're right. But when that law was changed and women were given rights, they misused the rights that they had. They got 5 and 6 abortions, 7, 8 Plan B pills. They stopped being responsible. They didn't have to be responsible anymore. Because guess what? When I get up off this bed, yeah, I can fuck this nigga. I can fuck that nigga. I can fuck that nigga. But I'm going to get up tomorrow and I'm going to take a Plan B. I'm not speaking in general. I'm speaking for the women that I'm talking about. Diamond, if you a hit dog, holla, bitch. Because you fighting hard. Because if it don't fit you, I ain't talking to you.
I actually agree with T on that. Like, men don't have a say so, and then it be really the women that the men be like, I don't want this baby by you. Like, I don't want a baby at all. And then they get on social media crying like, oh, he's a deadbeat. Well, he told you he didn't want the baby. So I agree.
I'm just saying. They literally have a choice before the pregnancy. I already said before the pregnancy, both people have a choice. Did I not say that, guys? Did I not make it very clear? Prior to the pregnancy, they both have a choice, correct? Correct? Did I not say that? Okay. So I said prior to the pregnancy, both have a choice. After the pregnancy, both don't. That's my point. After the pregnancy, they both don't have a choice. So, if the playing field was even and neither one of you have the choice, would y'all still be saying the shit that y'all saying? Too bad, so sad, Brianna. I agree. So when women's choices are taken away, again, too bad, so sad, bitch. Close your legs. Go ahead, y'all.
I was just gonna say that I know that there's different scenarios where a condom wouldn't work, and this is that and the third. So I'm not really speaking on them because that is kind of like a 1 in 100 chance of that type of stuff happening. That's not really too common. I'm speaking on the fact that it just baffles me that people are kind of just going over the whole protection thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be a condom or anything like that. It's just more of like, it seems like people lack a lot of self-discipline, because after I had my first kid, I just didn't see sex as like that important to where I can lose my mind and lose my self-control. And I feel like that's the same thing with men. How do you get yourselves in situations where, and I'm not talking about those certain scenarios, but how do you get yourself in a situation where you don't want no kid, but you're not wrapping up? It's like a lack of
I agree.
self-thinking
So
before they
let
actually
me ask
even
you a
do
question.
anything.
Okay, I agree. So what about the women that don't want no kid but didn't make him wrap up? Hello?
I swear to God, I was gonna say that shit. I swear to God.
Wait,
T,
wait,
I
wait.
love
What
you.
was the question?
She
She
said
said,
some
how
real
don't you
shit.
want
Say it
no
again,
kid and
T.
you didn't wrap up? You're right. So what about the woman who didn't want no kid but didn't make him wrap up? What
She
about
is
her?
definitely at fault, because what is you
But
doing
she's
receiving?
not responsible because guess what? She got choices.
Because of the
But she
Is she
laws.
doesn't.
not?
That's
We have
tough.
choices at the end of the day. By law,
Right.
the court has the choices at the end of the day. But the
No, 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 no,
problem
no, no, no.
is,
The court don't have no. You're lying, Jada. Because she can lay down with that man and say, I don't want no baby. And he put a baby inside of her, right? But she can wake up the next day, go to the pharmacist and get a what?
right?
Huh?
I agree
What?
with you. I'm
I'm
saying
asking you, what
after
can she get?
she can get a plan B,
Okay. And if she doesn't
she
get the
can take
plan
a
B and
whole
she
lot of
missed that,
turmeric too.
okay, cool. So she still has a choice, right?
Correct.
So again, I agree with you. Prior to, I'm not arguing with anybody about the prior decision, because both of them made the same decision. So just the same way as we're saying that the man made a bad decision if he didn't want a child, again, that where the law is, and I'm not talking about rape victims, I'm not talking about people that have health conditions, I'm not talking about any of that, so y'all could keep that. I'm talking about two healthy adults, two willing adults that make the same irresponsible decision should still have the same after choice. Period. The same after choice should be both of theirs. So if she can get up and decide she don't want that baby the next day, he should be able to get up and decide that he don't want the baby the next day. So guess what? Remove that choice of her deciding she can take a plan B. Remove that choice of her deciding saying, you know what, I'm gonna get an abortion, and I guarantee you she'll think better.
I
Because
agree
there's a
with
lot of
that
women that
because I
don't want
feel like
kids
all
too.
of this is just conditioning and coaching people and coaxing people. Unfortunately, you have to coax these people to be more sexually responsible. And I think that's just what it boiled down to. Just be more sexually responsible. Because these situations and scenarios, it's going to happen, but it's not always as common. But it's just simply to the point where it's like, come on, y'all. Y'all got to be more educated and know yourselves. If you know you don't want no damn child, you need to be ducking in every corner trying to figure out your options before you call yourself having sex. And I feel like people don't take that time to sit up there and figure themselves out, or not even figure themselves out. It's about your body too. Like sex is not all that to where you can't think. Like let
We
me if
got
I'm
that,
on
Jada. We got that, but we ain't talking about that right now. We ain't got
So
we talking
T
about the choices that a man and a woman
T.
have after getting pregnant. We supposed to be responsible. We know we supposed to be adults. But what I'm explaining is they don't have the same rights. That's it. That's all. So once
So
y'all both get the same rights, I bet you these conversations gonna change. Go ahead.
so T. I got a friend. She was 39 years old, and she having her first child. The guy that she was messing with already have a son and didn't want any more kids, but she ended up getting pregnant. So when she told the guy she pregnant, the guy said, "Hey, I don't want no kid. I already have one, and I don't want any more." She said, "Well, I don't have any. I'm 39, and this is my first child, and I'm at risk, so I'm gonna have this kid." So she went to court and get a document to sign that he does not have anything to do with the our baby. And I don't know about the child support part if you have to pay anything, but I know the court sign over here in Tennessee where he don't have nothing to do with that child. But I don't know if they say whether you have to pay anything or what.
Right, but
But
we already said that, boss girl. She is the one that got the document, not
yeah,
him.
yeah,
So again, that man can't go to the court and get that document. I mean,
yeah,
Jada,
that's
I'm
what I'm
not saying you
saying.
was wrong. I'm saying we wasn't talking about that. So again, you're proving my point.
Yeah,
She
that's what I'm
still
saying.
had
You're
to ask
right.
for the
Yeah.
doc. She still had to
Mm-hmm.
give the permission.
Yeah.
But
But
so that's all I'm saying. So yeah,
yeah.
you're right. He
Yeah.
don't have to pay because she said
Okay.
no.
Yeah, that's what I
Yo,
really want to find out if he still got to pay anything.
y'all really educating me. I'm not playing with these women out here, bro. I'm dating and married. I'm about to just really be celibate, bro.
You better hop on that 4G movement.
What's the 4G?
The four.
No, I ain't doing no 4G. Fuck them niggas, bro. They about to. I ain't about to be. I ain't about to be with no dudes
Hold on.
ranting about.
This is the 4G movement. The
Nah.
guys started it. Some guys started, and I think it's funny the 4G movement. When the guys are starting the 4G movement, they look like guys that are already not getting none already.
Yeah, bro. I'm not about to be with no dude. Look, you wrap it up just like how she said. You wrap it up just like she need to be on point with her sexual decisions, bro. I ain't about to be arguing with no man about that.
Yeah, so just hop on the
Yeah,
4G
yeah,
movement.
that shit crazy. I'm looking at the comments and a lot of y'all motherfuckers keep on talking about wrap that shit up. The motherfuckers could do all that shit. IUD, you know what I'm saying? Little pills, you know what I'm saying? She popping the pills, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That shit don't mean shit. Shit happens, you feel me? You feel me? A kid gonna pop up, he gonna pop up. The shit is what's gonna happen when the kid is dead, bro. What we doing? What's the conversations? If I already told you I ain't trying to rock that way, I'm good. I got a lot of shit on my plate. I'm doing. And I told you I didn't want that shit, but you in your head, you don't do abortion. You don't do that's not your vibe. So what the fuck that happens to me now?
So one
I
thing I
told you numerous times I don't want that shit, bro. I
so
stand
so
on
one
10.
So one thing I would say then, and this is where people will call me a simp or call me a panderer. For men, if you don't see a future with yourself with that woman or having kids with that woman, don't have sex with her at all. Even
See,
even if
you
you
can't
wrap
say
up.
that. It's
No,
a
Yeah,
yes, I
hypocritical
can say
shit.
that.
It's a hypocrite. I can hear you,
No,
but
no, I can't
it's
say
a
that.
hypocritical statement because it's stupid as fuck. What man gonna
No,
be
it's
on this
not
world not
stupid.
reproducing? He's not gonna touch no female. So
It's
because he
not
doesn't want to
stupid.
have a kid, he can't lay down. That's
That
what
that
you
just means
basically saying. He
that just
wrapped up
means
and
you
took
don't have
all
any
the
discipline.
precautions. Listen, he took all the precautions. He had discipline. He wrapped
No,
up.
no, he
He
didn't.
told her he didn't want that. He told her before he laid down he didn't want no kids. He still
Okay, then
wrapped up
don't
and
lay
still
down
let
with
it
her.
be knowledgeable. So now all of a
Then
sudden
don't
he
lay
has
down
to
with
pay
her.
and do
No,
something because he told her he wrapped up and did everything, his due diligence. Now he still gotta do that shit.
no.
That's
Once
what you
again,
saying.
if you were telling this woman that you're about to lay down with, you don't want no kid from her, don't lay down with her.
So
What?
he's not gonna lay down with nobody. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
50-50 you
Until you
gonna have a
get
baby
yeah,
with no matter
yes.
what
Until
happens.
until
It's a
you
50-50 chance.
hold
So
on.
because
Until
I
you
told it, I
yes.
still gotta
Don't
do
lay
that. I
down.
still gotta pop
Yes.
up.
Don't lay
yeah,
down.
Bob. All
Don't
he's
lay down
saying
with
is,
these
The fuck?
women. Don't
all
lay
he's
down with
saying
Like
is,
these
I
be,
women.
get what
yeah,
you're saying. Don't lay down. I said that shit in the beginning, bro. I don't know if you was here, but I said that shit. My father said it. If you don't want kids, don't lay down. I get that,
Exactly.
but you gotta understand. There's men out here. See, you gotta understand. There's men out here
Out
that
here that don't
legitimately
have any
tell their
discipline.
queens, "I do not want a kid. I do not want to reproduce. I do not want to have that legacy." They made it very clear. She's
All
on
right,
the
then don't
pill.
have sex
He's
then.
taking the condoms. He's with the shits. All of a sudden, she gets pregnant. He
Then
made it very
don't have
known
sex.
he does not want the kid. Now you're gonna tell him
Then
don't have sex.
yeah, don't have sex. If you don't want a child,
You're
yes,
gonna
sex
tell him
is
don't have
sex.
sex, bro.
Yes, don't have sex. If you don't want a child,
How many times you
knowing
said you didn't
knowing
want a
the
kid? Now all of a
consequences,
sudden
hold
she
on.
has a kid. Now, come on,
Knowing
bro.
the consequences of having sex,
Bro,
regardless if it's protected sex or
bro,
unprotected sex,
bro.
regardless, at the end of the day,
You
yes,
preaching
don't
an
lay down
endless
and have
battle.
sex with
That shit
anybody.
sounds good,
Become
bro.
a monk.
That shit
No,
sounds
become a
good,
monk.
bro.
No,
That
it
shit
does.
sounds good,
you
bro.
want to
It
know, you
really
It
want to
does
know,
does,
sound
bro.
good, but at the
When
same
you say
time, you
that
don't
shit
have.
5 times,
What
you
it
might
is
believe
that a
that
lot
shit,
of
bro.
guys don't
But
have
you ain't gonna be
discipline
on this
though.
yeah,
world and you ain't gonna fucking sex a lot of
yeah,
no
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
queen. You ain't gonna.
No, a
Come
lot
on,
of
bro.
guys
It
don't have
sounds
discipline.
good, bro.
A
You
lot
know
of
what I'm
guys
saying?
don't
I'm
have
gonna be here
discipline.
and I'm gonna be a
And
virgin
you know
forever. Fuck
what?
I look
Hey,
like,
and
bro.
you know what?
That
If you're
shit
on child
sounds good,
support,
bro.
no,
That's
at
the
the end of
same
the day,
shit
if
you
you're
would
on
tell
child
queen. So
support,
so a queen that didn't want a baby,
you,
she didn't want a baby and she got a baby, you gonna tell her the same shit. But
yes,
she
I
can
would
go get a
tell her the
plan B.
same. I would
See,
tell the
she can
woman the
go get a
same
plan
exact
B.
thing.
She
I
can
would
go
tell
get
the
a
woman the
plan
exact
B
same
and
thing.
handle that, bro. I
I would
can't go
tell
get a
women the
plan B and
exact same thing.
make her taste it, make her eat it.
Y'all tap the screen. We need
I can't make I
100K,
can't
y'all.
force her to take something. But
I would
meanwhile,
tell the
she could
woman
do
the
that
exact
and
same
no
thing. If
problem.
you don't want to have a kid, don't have sex until you're ready to have a kid.
So what
Just
happens
like
to that
for a
man
man,
that wanted that
and
baby and
just
she
like
didn't
for
want
a
that
man,
baby?
if you're not ready to
So
have a
again,
kid,
what happens
if you're
to
not
that
ready to have
man,
a
bro?
kid, don't have
Answer.
sex.
I'm asking you questions. What happens to that man that wanted that baby, but she had the choice to take that away, and she did. So what happens to him?
Well, and then y'all have that conversation.
So
That's
so
the
what
thing. You have to
conversation did it
have this.
have after she
Yo, see,
did
this
that,
is the
bro?
thing. A lot of you guys don't have conversations. Also, a lot of you guys don't have
yeah. Like
conversations
men
See,
with
there's
gotta
a
your
have
problem
spouse.
with you saying
conversation.
that. People do have
No.
conversations. Yeah, they do, bro. You ain't gonna tell me, bro,
Okay.
because I had conversations and I've been in situations, bro. Yeah,
Okay.
100%. I stand on 10. I've been in situations and I had multiple conversations. I made
Okay.
it very known, very
Okay.
known. She's still gonna do what the fuck she wanna do, bro. And I have
Okay.
no say so on that shit because what she
So,
gonna say is her body.
so
She
I
can
just
do what
want
Okay.
she
to,
wants. Come
I
Okay.
on,
just
bro.
want to
You
say
gotta
this.
be
And I'm
realistic on
done.
that shit,
No,
bro.
I am being realistic. I'm being realistic. It's not unrealistic. I am being realistic. I'm being very realistic. Yes, I do understand that women, hey, at the end of the day, yes, they can change their mind. They can change their mind. Yes, you are absolutely 100% right. But majority of the times, if you guys are actually planning to have a baby, not an accident, but if you are planning to have a baby, there 9 times out of 10, that woman's gonna carry that baby to term unless something medically is wrong. Other than that, that's like you guys are making it sound like y'all had a conversation. She wanted this baby, so y'all were sitting back and planning the baby, and the next thing you know, she got pregnant and she was like, "I'm done. I don't want it." Come on
I,
now.
Bro, it's
I
her
just want to
body,
say,
bro.
I just
You're
want to
not
say
getting it.
this.
We
Okay,
got no
never
say
mind.
so
Let
on
me
her
say,
body,
hold
bro.
on, wait. Let me say this real quick, and then I'm gonna drop because I don't want to be up here too long. The only thing I'm gonna say is that it seems like your argument is that either way, if a man don't want a baby and a woman wants a baby, she can keep the baby, or if the man don't wants the baby
baby and the woman don't want the baby, then she can always get rid of it. My whole thing is there's always the option to get a vasectomy. A man can always do something just like a woman can do something like IUDs and birth control. A man can do something to where he can prevent it from even being able to happen in the first place. The only thing that's
Vasectomy.
100% as far as having babies and preventing them is abstinence, not having sex or just being
Okay,
completely sterile.
hold on. Nah, you on some bullshit right now.
She said
Again,
vasectomy. Come on, bro.
again. I'm gonna say it again. But if that's the case,
Y'all still got
don't
more
have no
options.
kid. Don't lay your. I hear a little baby crying in the background right there. At the end of the day, both of y'all decided to make a choice, so both of y'all should have the same after result. And if both of y'all don't have the same after result, you can't tell a man what he should have done, because you could have done a lot of shit too prior to getting pregnant. You could have done a lot of shit too prior to letting him come up inside of you.
But
So
that's
if
what I'm
you could,
saying.
if
I'm
you could,
saying
no,
the
you're
same
saying
thing.
no, you're not, because you still have choices, regardless of what he should do. Maybe he just don't want a baby with you, but maybe he wants a baby in the future. But he decided, you know what? I fucked up. I made a bad decision. He still doesn't get to clean up that mistake. You do. You both can make a fucked up decision. You both can just say, man, that was fucked up. I fucked up. But he doesn't have the same way to fix it as you do. Period. He doesn't.
So
He made
that's
out.
because that's my thing though. Because what I'm saying, I'm not saying that a man has to do something and a woman doesn't have to do something. I say the same way men say that women should, if they don't want babies, then they shouldn't lay down, or if they don't want kids,
Okay, we've
that
So
already
they
tie your
said
shouldn't be
that.
tubes.
We've
So
taking
tie
already
your
said.
hormones and
tubes.
stuff, or
So why
We've
y'all
getting
don't tie
birth
your
already
tubes?
said.
control.
Hold on. We've already said that prior to, both of y'all could do different things. That's not the point. That's not even the conversation that we're having. We're not.
That sounds like the conversation
No,
that
we're
we're
not. We're
having.
talking
Those
about the
two.
after effect. I've already said it. Prior to, y'all both have the same choice. Y'all, he can strap up. He can get a vasectomy. You could be on birth control. Both of y'all could make better choices prior to, but you didn't. After the bad decision that both of y'all made the same time, y'all do not have the same choice. That is my argument.
No,
Is after a bad decision that both of you made, you do not have the same
Cause it
choice.
take two to tango.
hey T, no, she was talking about the conversation me and that vibe was having.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
wasn't talking
Yeah,
about
Okay,
she was
I
because
I didn't hear y'all.
yeah,
I was
because
talking
that
about my
vibe
bad. I
was
apologize.
that vibe was saying, he was like, well, what if a man doesn't want to have, he doesn't want no kids at all, he doesn't even want to carry on a legacy and
Oh
things
yeah,
of that
then
nature.
yes, he should. Yes, he should
Yeah,
definitely get a
get a
vasectomy.
vasectomy, or until don't sleep with
I
anybody.
apologize for that.
Yeah. That's what she was talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, get a
I definitely
vasectomy.
wasn't listening to that
You
when I
have,
was talking to
yeah,
my daughter.
yeah.
I
But yeah,
apologize.
I wasn't talking about the choice. I agree with you as far as the choices, like they don't have the same choices. But as far as what them two are having a conversation about, yeah, like you can't just say that, oh, if a woman
Hold on
doesn't
one
want to
second,
have,
baby.
okay.
For the people that said I wasn't listening, I've already said I wasn't. I was talking to my daughter. If you don't host lives, don't tell me what to do. I've taken accountability for the fact that I didn't hear that. Now I could argue and be like, I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. That's not what happened. I could be stubborn. I could be prideful. I already said I wasn't listening. If I have to step away and pay attention to my child, I will. Go ahead.
But yeah, I was just saying that I agree with PQ as far as what he was saying to that vibe, because it's not fair to sit there and say a woman can get on birth control and do this and do that, but it's almost like the only option a man has as far as not having a baby is condoms, and that's not the only option that they have. It's other options that they have that are medically, you can do it medically. You can have a vasectomy. That's
All right,
all
so
I was
we
saying.
said talk about vasectomies. Why y'all don't tie your tubes? See, no man has been
I
Yeah,
up
mean,
there
bro.
I'm
and
That's
not
what
say
I'm
saying that's not an
saying.
no
option
man has
either,
been up
though.
there. And see, we be graceful to queens. We don't come up here in bags. We don't say some crazy shit. We ask you a certain question. Okay, since we gotta give vasectomies, why you can't tie your tubes?
But even then,
You
still,
feel
they
me?
still got
I
more
didn't say
options
they
if
couldn't,
we
though. I'm
They
saying
don't
that
have
I
that
agree.
option though,
That's just a
vibe.
question.
They
That's
don't
just
They
a
have the
don't
question.
option to
vibe.
tie
Women
their
don't have
tubes.
that option.
Yeah, they don't have the option.
Come
They
on,
don't
bro.
have that
They
That's
have
option. They
crazy,
have
bro.
to. You have to at least have 2 kids or be over the age of 25. So you can't just. We can't just tie our tubes. That's not
But
an
but
option.
vibe, but vibe. The thing is, you're saying, right? If this man don't want kids at all, don't want kids at all, he doesn't even want to leave a legacy at all.
So he has
Then
to
that
he
then
has to
that
live a
man,
lonely life, but
no, then
not
that
doing
man,
nothing.
then that man should go
I'm
get a
asking a general
vasectomy.
question.
No,
That
that
it
man should.
doesn't make
Let him
sense
ask the whole
because that
question.
never
Hold on. Go ahead,
happens.
Vibe. Ask the question so I can hear it fully.
Yeah, ask the question. No, because
I bet. I'm trying to act because we have these conversations for better dialogue. So at the end of the day, I'm telling you, as those men that are out there, 100%, because you can't say they're not. There are men that stand on their 10. They don't want certain shit, they're very respectful when they say it. And then you got some assholes that don't give a fuck. But the men that actually are very gentlemanlike with their fucking conversation and let the queen know. Listen, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to be a dad. This is not what I want in my future. I have things, and they're very known. They're taking the precautions, whether it be fucking condom or they're, you know what I'm saying, they're making sure she's on birth control. They're doing the steps. So you mean to tell me he still has to deal with things, no matter what the problem is, because he laid down. Now, as a man, we understand you lay down, you got to take care of responsibility. But I'm telling you, he made it very known. So he has to fuck up his life in his head because she didn't want to do abortion. She doesn't go by that.
yeah, you're right. But then that's when the vasectomy comes in. If he said he does not want to have a
But you
child
keep
at
forcing
all.
vasectomy. Look what T said. What if he didn't want to have a kid with her?
Can I
What if he
interrupt?
didn't
Well,
want
So
to
then,
have a
that's
kid with
so
her?
that's what we're
then,
trying to. That's what we're trying to. What are you saying? Does
yeah,
he
then
not
don't
want a
lay
child
down
at
with her.
all? He does not want a child with this particular woman.
If he doesn't want a child with this particular woman, then don't lay down
PQ,
with her.
let me get the
Like,
question. Does he not want a child at all with anyone,
Yeah,
or
he
does he
said it.
not
He doesn't want a child right there. At that
at
time
all? I
moment,
mean, with
right
nobody,
there,
no
he
woman.
doesn't want it right now. Right now,
Right
that's not what he
now,
has in
okay.
his
Right now
plans.
is different than at all.
Yeah, in his plans right
Okay.
now, he doesn't want it.
T.
then don't sleep with her.
And the same goes for her. If she don't want a baby, and that's what I'm saying, PQ. I agree with you 100%. He don't have to sleep with her, and the same thing with her. If she feels like I'm too young, I'm irresponsible, or I'm not ready, then she should not sleep with nobody either. And that's the part that I'm saying. Both of them should have to make that responsible decision, but they don't. They don't have to think like that because the man don't have the same after choice that the woman does. So
T.
the one you could tell the woman don't sleep. The woman still be like, "Fuck you! I'm gonna lay down and do what I want to do. Pop this thing, do what I want to
Hi.
do, and then I'm going to have." Please stop interrupting me, P, before I drop the fuck out of you because my mouth is moving at the time. You just got up here, and there's still 7 other people that didn't speak before you. So I'm trying to be nice by still talking, but you keep interrupting me.
Yeah, bro, she with the shits.
So what I'm saying is this: when does the woman have that same option? Don't sleep with him then. So there should not be a plan B. There should not be a birth control. Just don't sleep with him. Don't lay down with him. Go ahead, y'all.
Go ahead, P.
Oh, hello. Listen, I'm 60 years old. I had my son when I was 21, and I was on birth control, but I really couldn't take him like I was supposed to. So I would take him during the week, and on the weekend, from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I would take all 3. It was working out fine for a while, but then I got pregnant, and I was in my last year of college. And that's a mental thing because now you got to decide what are you going to do. Fortunately, I had a good man, and he wanted me to go ahead and have the baby, and I did. I had my son, which I never wanted children. So once I had him, he took care of him so that I can go back and get my degree because I got pregnant in college. What I'm saying is that women, we do have a choice in how we handle things. Like I said, I messed up because I thought if I took all 3 on a Friday, I'd be good for Saturday and Sunday. But guess what? That don't work. It's just not an option. If you want to be responsible and know that you don't want to have kids, you got to do the right thing. You got to make sure that you're protected and make sure they're protected. Because condoms, men can buy condoms and they could be too small. And they can rip, get a hole in them. You have to get the right size. A lot of men don't, and there's a lot of men that do. And there's a lot of women who don't take their birth controls like they should. So therefore, then that's when you really have a problem. Because if it was left up to me, I was planning on going through life without kids. But I did that. I made that mistake, and I had to take care of that. My son is 44 years old now, but he's the best thing I ever had in my life. And what I did do when I turned 28, I tied my tubes because I knew I didn't want any more. So you have to make the decisions that are best for you. And I felt like me knowing that I didn't want to have kids anymore after I had him and I tied my tubes, I felt real good about it because I knew I didn't have to worry about having any more children. And then I end up working in the healthcare field, and I handled like Medicaid kids, people, and women started using abortions as a way of not having children, because they were sleeping around.
They start using them as a form of
Yeah,
birth
and they do
control.
it like a medical, and they
Yeah,
was having
that's what I'm trying to say. Women
4
started
and
using
5
birth control as a
abortions.
form. Yep.
They don't know how that tears their insides up. It
Yep.
wrecks them. It wrecks your insides. And this is, and it's a shame because you can't have a judgment when you're in that type of business, taking care of those kind of things. I mean, we have done abortions up to almost 5 months when you can actually know that there's a human being, and they wait that long. I don't know what happens, with them and whoever they with, but then they come in with the story that they've been raped. And when the law was instaured, that women's rights for abortions, they
Your
were
queen, you gotta
using
say
that.
great. You gotta say great. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? You're gonna
great,
look past.
great.
Yeah.
They
I
were
know.
using that as a way to get rid of kids. And it plays a mental part on you too when you're dealing with that, because you're the one who's sending these people to these places to have these things. It was really sad, because there were other choices. Like, I mean, we could have got them on any kind of birth control that they wanted. We even had women whose sons that were uh what is it what is it not oh god, I can't even think of the name. They were getting depot
Hold on
shots
one
for
second,
them.
P. Hold on one second, P. They want you to kind of speed up or land your plane because we trying to figure out where you going with it.
Okay. Well,
If y'all could real quick, let me do a commercial break. If y'all could tap the screen, share the live. I do not want to have to turn it on subscribers only, but I will. So we got in the next. How do I set a timer? I'm gonna do 10 minutes. We should be at the live goal and at least 100 and 150K, or I'm gonna turn it on the sub only. Go ahead, y'all.
okay, the last thing I'm just trying to say is that you have parents should teach their kids early about having sex, not just because of that, but the diseases and things that go along with it. Sometimes we're just worrying about the sexual encounter, but we're not thinking about all the other things that people do. So my thing is, know where you stand and what you want, and if you don't want to have a lot of kids, then take care of that situation. And that's basically all I wanted to say, because I have done this. Matter of fact, I retired from doing this in 2010. So that's it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just think that we as women, we can say whatever we want to say. We can throw out whatever narrative we want to throw out, but we have more choices when it comes to who brings the baby into the world and who doesn't. And I think that we should think about that, because we can sit here all day and say, you know what, I changed my mind, or you know what, this is what I want to do, and a person has to still fall in line with that. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, I am
I
a
fell.
car.
I fell off the table when they told me I was pregnant.
Yeah,
I
like
was like,
I was 15 when I was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank y'all for the live goal. I was 15 when I was 16 when I had my first child. And I was sick my whole pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't easy, but again, I
yeah.
didn't take away that man's choices. I, I did not take away his choices at all.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, guys. Who was next?
I don't know. I just came up here.
Your phone.
I just came up here. I'm waiting whenever it's my turn. I don't know.
You can go ahead because ain't nobody else saying nothing right now.
My turn. I don't know.
Thank y'all for the
You can go
gift.
ahead because ain't nobody else.
Well, you got an echo, babes.
Oh,
Try to come back up. Come back up. Just so y'all know, y'all getting jazzy in the comments. I don't block or mute, but I will. I will. I don't have a problem with doing it.
yeah.
Anybody else got anything to say? We
Oh.
can move. Well, I know we got off a topic, but I guess
Hey,
it
Yeah, I
is
can
kind of in
drop down if
alignment.
somebody else got something. I can drop. I
I
can
would
drop.
like to say
Ain't
something
nobody.
about that.
It's up to you.
Can I speak now or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, but what my concern is about this West 4B movement is that I think it's going to feed into the inherited from slavery and colonialism tendencies of disunity within the Black community, and that's going to actually serve the interests of the racist capitalist system, and that's going to continue to undermine because in the Black community we don't really have a strong infrastructure, and within the Black community we have been under a barrage of trauma in the form of racist aggression,
Kari, drop
from
and come back.
police brutality to administrative violence in terms of how they have like cut resources into the Black community in terms of aid. Black women go through various social stressors. Like, I don't know if people are aware of this, but Black femicide is on the rise in the United States. But it's like a silent genocide that ain't even being mentioned or talked about. So it's like, I think the solution would lie in Black men and Black women uniting, coming together, because we are as a family and working as a unit to address the issues in the Black community, such as like fatherless sons. 32% of the Black male population is
Thank you
incarcerated
for the
right
gift.
now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so why would
And
this movement hurt anybody if the women are saying, okay, we're not getting pregnant, we're not having any kids? Wouldn't that help the community and the help that problem? No
no,
more, no more. Why not? If the women
because
are deciding we're not having kids no more, we're not sleeping around, we're not doing that, why wouldn't
right.
that help that issue?
Because you see, the thing is, you would think that back during the day when Black women were in slavery and they had thought about abortion, they didn't do so, right? Because even though they wanted to, because they knew that this would stop a future life from having to go through slavery and trauma connected to it.
I'm talking about the solution now, not what happened past, changing
Right.
toward the future.
Oh,
So
I
a
was just
woman deciding to say, you know what, we're not sleeping around no more, we're not getting pregnant anymore. How would that hurt the community?
because then we won't have anyone coming into inheritance of what we leave behind, and we won't have the numbers necessary to replace the group that's been oppressing us. They currently have
PQ,
a
hold it
low,
down real
low
quick. I
birth
gotta get my
rate.
baby off the bus.
And so it would behoove them, of course, if the future generation don't outnumber their future generation. When what's up, bro? I see your face is distressed. I'm down to listen. But I'm just saying, I'm just concerned over the origin because, like, it's being based on a movement right outside the United States. So it is an indigenous in origin. And it's dealing with conditions that are not parallel to conditions of Black women in America. Number one, the United States is not a homogenous society as South Korea, right? And so since it's not homogenized like the United States is, that we already see a difference. We already see a distinction. And so, like, once we start looking at that, like, for instance, the Black women in the United States can't look at the currency and see their faces on it, right? It's a rarity whenever they see them ourselves.
I'm
What
sorry.
what is bro? Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not getting your whole process when it comes to the 4B movement. When it comes from slavery to abortion,
Yeah, I'm confused.
I'm confused because like
I ain't want to
like
say shit, bro.
because this is the thing, right? Because like a lot of guys will go, the black population is doing bad as far as like black men being in jail, black single black mothers, this. But when the Black 4B movement is saying some of these women in the 4B movement are saying, okay, well then we won't have any more children until you get right.
It's
And
not
but
just
that
saying.
but that's what Red Pill been telling women the whole entire time. Hey, stop letting these men just having these men see that don't want to be with you. So these ladies are saying, okay, cool, that's what we'll do. We'll stop doing that. Now men are upset. I'm confused.
Well, with all due respect, that ain't all it's saying, though. It's not just saying,
No, we're talking about
uh,
the 4B West. We're talking about the 4B West, not the 4B East, not South Korea.
right, right. But see, the thing is, if we stop reproducing, right, then we're liable to die off.
We're not gonna stop reproducing.
You
There's a
know,
small group of women that's going for this 4B movement. That we are not. See, this is the thing, right? I want men that understand Hey, how can I put this?
well,
I feel like men that understand that they know who they are, they understand they're not going to be affected by it, are the ones that are not crying about it. And I'm not saying you,
No
brother.
cap.
I'm not saying you are crying about it, right? I'm not saying you, right? Not saying you
Cause I'm
whatsoever.
looking
I just want you
for a
to say that.
white
I just
man.
want you to hear that, right?
word.
Most men that are upset about this 4B movement, to me, are men that understand they're probably not going to get any more.
Facts.
Right,
Cause
right. But what I'm
I'm
Women are
gonna give me
still
a
going to
wife.
reproduce. Women are still going to reproduce. They're just saying, hey, ladies. The ladies are just saying, hey, men, get your shit together.
What's another problem with this? Okay, that's cool, and we should. Nate, you're right. But see, what I'm saying is the problem with this also is we have to take into account how hegemony works, how hegemonic rule works, how it operates. We have to take into account the social cultural managers, right? That perpetuate status quo as it is, the existing system as it is. And when we look into how the system, into how institutional and cultural racism operates, right, we then have to take into account any efforts that seek to impact the reproduction of our people, bro. Because right now, indigenous women on Turtle Island called United States are being sterilized, right? During the
Okay, so
70s, 60s, and 50s, black women were being sterilized,
okay.
right? The birth and reproduction rates of black people have always
Somebody.
been a
Yo, y'all know
threat,
y'all getting off topic, right?
have
No
always
disrespect.
been a threat to the white establishment, bro.
But
So
once
any
again,
Hey,
effort,
hold on.
any
Somebody
effort
said
should be
redfish,
analyzed
bluefish.
critically to see whether or not the origin of it is part of a systemic plan to unalive black people who
no,
are
it's not. But
indigenous
okay,
people,
okay. So
especially
once
black
it,
males. Come on now.
no, so okay, if we look at this and I want to say this, and ladies that are in the comments that are for the 4B movement and things of that nature, don't take offense. PQ's about to be PQ real quick. I just want to say this. PQ's about to be PQ real quick.
Come on.
The women that are for the 4B movement are the women the same that are like the men that are passport bros. They are the women that nobody wants. They're the women that no man really wants anymore, and they understand that they can't get the man that they want. They've already had their kids. They've had their kids already. They've been married before. So at the end of the day, the women that have not, that's just basically because if you listen, there's two groups of women, right? Two groups of women that are saying this. The older ones are literally saying, we're not fucking with no more men at all. This is what the older women are saying. The younger women are actually saying, hey, get your shit together. Also, we're asking for is to get your shit together. You get your shit together and become the man that I want you to become. We can have some baby and get married and things of that nature. So I don't see black people dying out. I'm sorry. So what you're saying, I don't understand what you're saying at all.
What I'm saying is another thing that I was saying is one, it would be a no brainer if those personal families or sisters who did that decided that they would boycott the production of their families' legacies. That the replication, the continuation of their family legacies, as long as they're taking a stance that brothers got to get their stuff together, like brothers
Is
aren't
that
getting
what
their
you're saying?
stuff
You're saying
together.
black men we ain't never gonna get our shit together, basically.
No,
So,
no, I'm not saying
hey
that.
brothers,
No, I'm not
go get
saying
y'all
that.
passport. If y'all want to have sex and have babies, go get your passport. Don't go to South Korea because they're not doing it. Go to the Philippines, go to Thailand,
Wait a minute,
go to
bro. Wait a
Cambodia, go
minute.
to
There's a lot
Vietnam.
of women.
Go over. You can also go over to Nigeria, Uganda, Ethiopia. Those women too would take us. If you want to get into the black, if you want to
I'm
stay
not
black, you
saying
can
that,
also go down
bro.
to Brazil. You
No,
can go
I'm
down
not
to
saying
Brazil
that.
and get into the black Brazil also if you still want to continue to have babies. Because hey, we're not gonna get our shit together here, so let's go somewhere else and fuck it up.
No, what I'm saying, bro, is it's not truly a West B movement if it's only about we're not going to reproduce,
We're going to
right?
still
It's
reproduce. I don't understand what you're saying. There's still going to be there are still okay, the 4B movement and in the West, right? Let's just say we had 1 million people for it, right? A million. Let's say we had 1 million women and 1 million men.
yeah.
Let's just say, no matter of fact, because let's just say we have 1 million women, right? Do you know? I think only 100,000 of those million women are going to be like, we're doing the 4B West movement, and that's it. So the other ones are like, hey, just get your shit together, and we can have kids.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're basically saying, if I understand you correctly, is this movement truly is not even going to impact even a percentage of the population in terms of even getting them on board. So
Right.
therefore, it really it don't even it don't even really translate to a potential threat.
Yeah,
As
it doesn't.
you
It's
said
not like in
before,
South Korea. It's
anyway.
not like in South Korea. South Korea, their things actually are dropping because these women are literally on it because because of the laws and stuff that are there. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Here,
Okay.
it's not. It's going to affect a small group of men. It's going to affect a small group of men, but it's not going to affect the vast majority of men because you got to remember, hey, when it comes to black women, they still outnumber us. Like what is it, like 1 to 10 or something like that?
Well, okay, but check
So
this
you
out
got
too,
nine, you
bro.
got 9 of them. You got 9 of them that want to be in the 4B movement, and then you got one more that don't. So hey, she may not be Meg the Stallion, but you want to have a kid, there you go.
Yeah, I feel you. Hey, well, brother, let me ask you this though. Should black women penalize black men given the fact that we are not even in no position of affecting the economy that's got this as an issue anyway? Capitalism is the problem.
But they're not
So
they're not
why
they're
should
not
black men be
penalizing black men.
penalized
They're
as
not
we are
penalizing black.
sufferers of capitalism, are we not?
They're
Black men,
not
do we not
penalizing black
suffer?
men.
Huh?
I want you guys to stop, and somebody else can start talking also because they're not penalizing black men. Okay, they
No,
are
no, go ahead,
penalizing a
bro.
group of black men, not black men. They're penalizing a group of black men, a group
Yeah,
of
a
black men that
specific
don't
group of
want to
men.
change who they are, a group of black men that don't want to change who they are. At the end of the day, me personally, at the end, hey, even I'm married, so some people would say it's unfair that I'm saying, hey, I support it. But at the end of the day, when people are saying, when guys are upset about it, then that's when you can tell these guys are the ones these women are talking about. The guys that are
But
upset is the women that they're talking about.
Well,
PQF, who
with
told
all
you
due
they
respect,
targeting a certain group of black men? Who told you that?
Because at the end, you can see that. You can see it. That's
But
why. You
that's
can literally see it.
that's not what was just said by the person who actually established the West movement.
I'm talking about the B West. I'm not. So the B
Right.
West movement, because once again, if you go into these TikTok streets and you talk about and you hear about them talking about the B West movement, I'm not talking about the actual people that have the group. They done establish a website. They have rules and guidelines. You gotta sign an application and pledge your allegiance to it, everything. But when you go into these
Right.
TikTok streets,
That's a
there's so
cult.
many there's so many different variations, and when you actually listen and break it down and hear, they're just saying, "Men, get your shit together, and we can start doing it again."
But that's
No, no,
really
no, no,
like
no. I ain't
no,
gonna
it's
lie.
more than that. It's
PQ,
no,
more
it's
I
than
just
that.
more
I
than
just
that,
gave an
bro.
example. PQ, I'm gonna
Thank
keep
you.
it 100. I was just
It's
in the
more than that.
live. I was just in the live, and I told you the story. It's a woman in there that told me that I was manipulating another woman because I told her that she would that
What
if
I
she
miss?
if a
Lady,
dude,
hold on. What I missed? Cause I'm looking at the
A
comments. I'm
lot.
getting text
hold on,
messages. Y'all done ran my
Black
people away. I ain't
History
even got no money
Month.
gun.
hold on,
What are
PQ
PQ.
is
y'all
making
saying?
up
No, don't
stuff.
hold on.
No,
What the
hold on.
PQ is
I'm gonna
hell
making
try
up
to
did
explain.
I
Hold on,
miss?
I know we
PQ
was
got to
at
say his
800.
state.
We down at 644 now.
Yeah, y'all done ran my
I know
people away.
that
What
for a
happened?
fact.
So
PQF making up
yeah, go
stories
ahead,
of this
PQ.
movement.
No. PQ. No, listen. PQ not making up stories. PQ is analyzing what the full B movement stand for. The argument that Corey was having against PQ
I
was
didn't have an
that
argument.
I will. Okay, right. Okay, bet. So your statement against keep PQ was that they're not targeting a specific group of men, and I understand why he's saying that, but there is some truth and duality in in what PQ is saying. They are speaking about a specific man in particular, but also people in the like women in the movement. There are some women who are bashing men completely. So there's duality in
So
what he's
what's the
saying.
difference? What I asked in the question, if there are women that's bashing men completely fair, right? What's the difference when the passport bros was doing the same shit?
Right, and PQ brought that up. It's no different at all. It's no different. It's no different at all. Like it's no different in that at all. Uh, Corey, I'm just using the word argument because I don't know the other word. Corey, I know you wasn't arguing, but he was just saying how
So what are some
basically,
things that women have said to bash the men in this movement alone?
right. So okay, that go back to what I was explaining, right? So there are women, there are specific women in that movement that are advocating
Thank you for the
that
galaxy. Thank y'all for the
yeah
gifts.
for
Go
the
ahead. Go ahead.
galaxy. So there are women and women in there that are pushing an agenda against men overall completely.
What's the
Because
agenda?
I bet. So the agenda is that all men think this way, they act malicious, they are violent, and they rape women like just the whole all the negative stuff.
They said all men do that.
Yeah, yeah, and I gave like argument I'm backing Corey's argument because I went in there and I asked one of the women in the 4B movement, hey, so if a dude did respect you the whole nine, would you accept him in your life? She said yes, I would, which is what should be how it is naturally. A woman in the 4B movement said to the woman, hey, no, he's manipulating you. Don't believe him.
Okay, so that's one woman that said that, right? Another woman that said, you know
No,
what?
no, but look though, in the like every like how the women is in this comment right now, it's a flood of women here. Like, yeah,
They're
I'm
not saying that though.
no,
Let
They're
no,
not
let
no.
me
saying
let
what
me
you're
clear
saying
Listen to what
though.
I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
let me clear something up. Hold on, because I
Go ahead, bro.
this is the thing. Women now in this 4B movement, they're using everything that was part of the feminist movement. They using
Choo
every
choo.
movement
And it's
to
not
make it.
one
That
woman. Can I
hold
can I
on, hold
can I
on,
clear?
hold on, hold
No,
on,
I'm
hold
just
on, hold
clarifying
on.
something. It wasn't just one woman. I'm
Hold,
clarifying that. Go ahead.
all right, okay. There, listen. I was just in the live a few seconds ago, and I know everybody probably done came and say, "Oh, he was over there." Da da da.
Ain't nobody
But
think about you,
the,
Carver. Just go.
right, they do, but they don't. They were talking about men
Heartbreaker.
unaliving. They were talking about men unaliving kids. So that's the reason for this movement. They talking about the patriarchy. They talking about laws to protect women from violence and stuff like this. So, like I say, they have a correlation of all these things that they're using for this movement. So they saying we're gonna go back to what the men said, like we was talking yesterday. We're not gonna give them sex. We're not gonna give
Thank
them
you,
kids.
Heartbreaker,
We're
for the
not gonna give
roses.
them relationships. We're
Hope you
not
feeling
gonna
better
do this,
today.
that, and the third. So they're using this movement over here. My question is how does this movement correlate with other races?
Okay, next
Because
level.
black women do not experience the same as other races.
So
YT women will use their tears when they feel like they are backed in a corner, and then they get that sympathy and that pettiness going to them. They call it the Karen now because she goes to crying. Black women can't do that. Black
yes, we
women
can.
tears does not matter.
Yes,
So,
they do.
huh?
Depending on in which situation, but yes, we can. We can
Right,
cry too.
but we know in any situation a YT woman will use her tears. And if a black woman is accosted by police, her tears don't matter.
Yes, they do.
She's aggressive. She's this.
No,
No,
they not.
because I just seen a video this morning where
You
she
see
was
a video, but I'm telling you right now, our tears matter. I can give you a few instances where our tears have mattered.
Listen,
I'm just
but
saying.
we
Okay,
listen.
let's move away from the
Okay.
racism thing. Okay,
I'm
so
speaking. I'm
you asked
speaking
the
on the
question. Let me
movement.
give you an answer, Kari, because we're not finna go into race and all
I
that
didn't
shit. You're
finish.
not a
I didn't
woman.
finish the question.
You're not a woman. You can't tell us what we experience. Some women may agree with you. I don't. I don't
Hey,
agree with that shit. So what I'm saying, what I think we're doing is what the men have been telling us to do in the first place. We're following y'all advice.
Right.
I think that the
yeah,
4B movement may have been created. The women may have been like, you know what? This might be a good idea, but we're not going to do it the way they're doing it. We're not going to do it for the reason that they're doing it. We're going to do it for our own betterment of ourselves, for our peace, for, to set standards, to create boundaries. Okay, I'm going to remove access. And I've been saying this for almost a year now. Remove access. You know what I'm saying? Work on yourself. Work on doing what you need to do to better yourself. All of these different things. So maybe that's what women are doing. Maybe that's what women are adapting from this movement and making it the movement of their own. We could
right,
do that, right? It's okay that
right.
we can take something. They've been doing it to us forever. So I even heard a man say we copy in other cultures. Okay, they've been copying us for years, for decades. They've been taking our shit for years, for decades. They've always taken our shit. So why can't we take some shit and remix it and make it our own? Why
Okay,
can't
but
we take some shit and remix that shit and make it better? Because we all know that when we do it better. So
this
what's the
is what I
problem?
want. This is what I was trying to make my point, and one of the main
Please don't
points
give me
that
that race shit. Please don't start
no,
that. Go
it's not.
ahead.
It's not race. It's not race. But
Okay,
y'all
Kari.
gotta understand it. Like when they made the laws about abortions, every woman felt attacked about they're trying to have autonomy over our body. They're trying to do this and that.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the patriarchy system where they're trying to control it. But if you look at the bigger picture for that group of people that made that decision to overturn Roe versus Wade and all this stuff, they have an agenda. And because they have an agenda for their people, doesn't make it a situation for everybody. And women are running with that right now. They don't care how
Okay.
many black babies are born.
Okay.
They don't care about that. And women having them kids regardless. We can sit here and talk about people with multiple baby daddies, multiple kids, and not being unmarried. We can have these conversations all
Okay, so
day.
what is it gonna hurt when the women just say, "Okay, I'm not having sex, I'm not sleeping with men, I'm not getting pregnant"? I'm trying to understand what the fuck is this gonna hurt anybody?
Not
It's
gonna
not
hurt at all.
what women are trying to do, like we was talking yesterday, and PQ brought up the stat of how it has hurt the economy. They're trying to have laws changed and stuff. I'm
Right?
just
I
laying
mean, they
out.
can't make you sleep with nobody and get pregnant. Again,
Right.
how is this gonna hurt a woman saying, "I'm not giving you access, I'm not sleeping with you, I'm not dating you, I'm not entertaining you, I'm just dealing with myself right now, I'm just working on me"? How is that going to hurt anybody?
What is hurting is
It's better
uh,
than the men going over to get their pay. Let me tell you why I think this is different. Why this is better. If a woman is saying I'm going to decenter men as a whole, I'm not going to sleep with them, I'm not going to date them, I'm not going to entertain them, I'm just going to work on me. That makes room for nobody else to get hurt because I'm not even going to put anybody in that situation. The men that are saying I'm going to get my passports, they're refusing to heal. They're refusing to do the work. They're refusing to reflect. They're just taking their issues that they already have internally and taking them to another culture, to
see,
another community. So they're just saying, "Fuck me, fuck doing the work. Forget that. I hate these women. They rejected me. They didn't pay me no attention. Da, 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 da. I'm gonna go deal with another woman that likes me. I'm not gonna even do the work on myself." And the women are saying, "I'm just going to do the work. I don't want a man at all." Why is what the women are doing a problem?
T is not a problem. Can I tell you what is happening over there? Like you have to. I
I'm
don't know
not
if y'all
talking
ever
about
been.
Korea. I'm talking about
No, no,
if the
no. I'm
women
talking.
today
Yeah,
here
I'm
are
talking.
saying that they want
When
to
I
do
say
this. What's the
right
problem?
when I say over there, I mean like because I keep referring back to this damn panel that I was in. The
Well, we're
leader
not gonna
of
talk
the
about that panel because I wasn't at that panel and I don't know what they
right
said. So we're gonna
exactly.
talk
So
about
I'm
what we talking about here.
I'm enlightening you. What happened?
I don't want
What
you
is
to enlighten me because it could be
because
to
it's
your
a
own
part of the four
understanding.
being.
No,
No,
it's
it's a part of
not
the four.
because it could be to your own
Oh my
understanding. I
lord.
wasn't there. You're
Okay,
wanting
okay.
me to
T.
take what you experienced and
Let me
say that
give you.
this is no. I
Let
don't
me
want to know what happened in another panel.
the the 4B movement, right? That was a panel for 4B movement, but we're talking about
Okay,
4B movement, so
I
you don't
don't
want to
want
hear
to
about
talk
what's
about what
happening in
happened.
4B.
I don't care what happened in
Okay,
somebody
okay,
else's space.
okay. Let me revise what it is. So a
Okay.
woman in the 4B movement is saying that women should do this indefinitely. What you are saying is not completely wrong because that's been a natural thing that women been saying for life. My grandmother taught me that as a man. What is happening also in the 4B movement is that they are saying that they will do that indefinitely. Is that an
Okay.
issue?
I mean, is it an issue?
Is it?
I don't think it's an issue. It's not going. Who is it hurting?
If women would close their legs indefinitely, is it
If
an issue?
those women,
Okay, right. Okay, so that's all. That's
right?
all.
That's not
That's
all the women though. So there still be women that's available that's going to give access.
right.
Those
Exactly.
women just
So
aren't giving access. So what's the
right.
problem?
Exactly. So that's what I'm telling you. I am agreeing with you. What you're saying. That is not an
Again, so
issue.
how is what those
So
women doing
so
hurting anybody
So let me
indefinitely?
let me finish, right?
Go
Every
ahead.
woman in the movement are not standing on the main principle of actually what you're saying is reevaluating themselves, being more self-driven, not opening their legs, not doing that to eventually be available for those men. I just gave you an example.
Thank you for the answer.
There are women in there calling me a manipulative person
Okay, look,
because
go back over there and go talk to them women, okay? Because
oh
I
my
just told
God,
you.
bro.
Oh my God, nothing. Me and am I tripping? Because I done already told him what you experienced in another panel is not what I'm saying here.
Youngin.
Yeah,
I cannot
we've
pay
been
for
hearing
the
this shit for like
experience.
a good half
Excuse
an
me,
hour, T.
dude. I cannot pay for what you experienced over there. You ain't even respecting my
Nah.
boundaries. So it sounds to me like you are being manipulative. From what I can see, they probably right because you're taking what you want to say and what you want to hear, and you're still crossing boundaries. You're not respecting my standards. You're not respecting what I'm asking you not to do. So they might be right. You might be a manipulative motherfucker because you still
Yeah,
ain't
no,
even respecting what
I
I
don't
asked you
thrive
not to
off
do in
of
my space.
I don't
Yeah,
thrive
wasn't
off
that
of
the
being
same dude
manipulative.
PQ was talking to for like a good 40
I don't
minutes?
know.
Nah, it's not, bro. It's not, bro.
Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah,
That
do
shit
your job,
crazy.
brother. Do your job.
The vibe is funny.
Yeah, bro. I ain't even trying to be like that. I really was just expressing a point, but you got it, Chief.
I'm
Yes,
just
sir.
saying for real, for real. I asked you, I said, dude, I don't really want to talk about what happened in somebody else's space. Was I tripping?
It was.
Okay.
You wasn't, because I ain't want to hear it either.
Can I speak to what's hurting?
Say it again.
Can I speak to what's hurting?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. And this is just what I feel. I feel like we are out here and we're not teaching each other the proper way to find the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Moving access to everything, dating, whatever the case may be, is not a learning curve when we're only speaking of saying we need legislation change to protect women from being assaulted, this and that, and the third. Does it need to be in place? Yes. But it also, and we all know that we have issues on both sides of the spectrum. So it's not just a one-way thing.
Okay, so
Um,
what is it hurting again?
I mean, because we're not advancing as a community, and
That
I'm
is an
only speaking.
advancement. That's taking away the single mother conversation because there'll be less single mothers. There'll be less conversations for 304s because there'll be less 304s. It actually is because again, let's talk about it. The men that are talking, the men that are pretending to be the leaders, they ain't talking about shit but the problematic women in the community. They're not talking about the problematic men. They're saying, hey, well, you giving them access to you. Stop giving them access. Stop opening your legs. Do. So the women are saying, you know what, you're right. We're gonna stop. We're gonna stop entertaining y'all. We're gonna stop communicating in that way. We can still talk to you as a homie. You good? Hey, Kari, I see you as a person, but I don't want to date you. I see you as a person, but I don't want to sleep with you. I see you as a person, but I don't want to romantically be a partner to you. You are still a man. You still cool, but I'm cool on dating you and any other man for that matter at this point. I don't think that that's an issue. I don't think it can hurt anybody at all whatsoever.
Mind if I jump in and speak on it?
Go ahead.
So just my view on it, I'm for it because the reality is I don't think it has teeth, right? So I've been back and forth to Korea, and Korea has had a decreasing population since 1959. Last year was actually their best year. They only had a 0.3% decrease. So, in as much as the movement started in 2016, really took off in 2019, it's had absolutely zero effect on it. And also, the Korean women are only abstaining from Korean men. They're getting it in with the travelers, the visitors, the military guys. So they're not really abstaining. If we have something in our society, in our culture, that kind of stops this crap I'm seeing now, I'm 54. And so I see just people with no boundaries, no morals. 60% of our families where you have more than one child has more than one baby's mom or dad. 80% of us, up to 80% of us are
Hold on a
being
second. PQ, what was the he said there has been no change. Can you go back to those stats of what changed since that movement started out there? Because I think he's misinformed.
Oh no, I looked at official Korean population and everything else. They've
Yes, it's
only had
actually decreased.
well, it's been decreasing. I'm telling you since
Right, but you
1959.
said that they're still having so it has changed something.
No, no, no. Listen. So in 1959, it started to decrease right after the Vietnam War.
No, we're
So,
talking about
for
5 years
example,
ago. We're talking about five.
last
We're talking
year,
about since the 4B movement has been in place. We're not talking about
no.
1959.
All right. So since the 4B movement, I'll give you stats. Last year, 2023, they had a point four. I'm sorry, a 0.3% decrease. All
Okay.
right. That's the least decrease they've had since 1959.
Okay,
So
but it
it's a,
didn't. But not, again, they started the movement 5 years ago. So we ain't talking about back in 1959.
I know, but what I'm saying is
Okay.
always been worse than it was last year. So it's
That
actually better than it was since before they started the movement.
okay. Again, we're starting as since they started the movement. PQ, can you please show the stats?
Yeah, the same.
They started the movement in 2019. That's
Mm-hmm.
what their population was in 2019. And this is what the population is as of 2024.
Yeah, it's always been decreasing. But do you understand that it's been decreasing since 1959, and the rate of decrease has actually slowed down last
So if
year,
it's
not
been decreasing
increased?
since 1959, why are they
Yeah.
saying there's so many single moms out here? Why are they saying that we're overpopulated? Why are they saying all
Are
these
you
things?
talking?
If that's
Well,
if that's true,
you've had that, but just look at the stats.
you
If
tell your
I don't
fellow
know.
brothers. You ain't got to tell me. Go tell your
Okay,
fellow brothers that's
so
saying that we're out here
I
fucking
can
up the world.
sure. All right. I can try to post a link here that will take you to the population since 1959.
I don't
And
need that. I think you need to go tell that to your fellow
okay,
brothers
well, I'm talking to
that are
everybody here.
saying
Hold on, I'm
that the
talking to everybody
community
here,
has
sister.
been affected.
All right, I'm talking to everybody here. So
No, we don't need to hear what you saying as far as that's concerned. Go talk to the men that are saying that it's getting worse.
well, there's men on this post listening, so that's what I'm saying. I'm
They
talking
not the
to.
ones that saying it though. I can assure you.
So, looking at the world data of world data information in 1960 to 2019, the population increased from 25.01 million to 51.63 million, and then it started to go on a decline when the 4B movement started to happen.
Okay, what's the source there? Because I'm telling you, I've been
World
looking at.
worlddata.gov.
Okay, so I'll see. I want to try to get that link, but I don't want to drop off live here, and I think it will if I switch screens. 'Cause I'm on my phone.
You fine.
But
You can drop off and come back.
all right,
Pull it up
all right.
like he
Hold on. Let
pulled
me
up
see if I can
his.
grab it.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. Okay, we got asiasociety.org. Let's see if that one says the same thing. There hasn't really 25 million.
Okay, so here's a. This is one of the articles on it. I just posted it, and it'll show you from 1959 that they've had a steady population decrease since 1959, and sometimes as much as 3% per year drop. Last year was only 0.3. Before it was 1 point something. So they haven't had one as little as zero point 0.3 since 1959, and that's been at the height of this movement. So that's what I'm saying. It's not actually hurting their population. Their population was already down. That's why they decided to use this as a leverage. because their government, they've had a big issue of population decrease for years. So they decided to hit the government where it hurts. If it works out for them, I'm for them. I'm for equitability. I'm for, you know what I mean? Um, I don't think it's going to work. But if it brings people to the table to talk, then I'm all for it.
That's what he don't understand, Messy Mama. The goal isn't for population, but let him have it. I ain't got the energy to be arguing with him. You on
Okay.
mute, PQ.
So
Hey, T.
Hey, Miami.
everything that I'm
Oh, I want to
seeing,
jump in real quick and jump back down.
everything that I'm seeing, all up until about 2000. Well, it's saying about it looks like around about 2015ish when when the economy started to get too expensive is when population started to decline. The population was actually growing. I'm looking at I'm on South Korea's demographics right now
So
trend.
is he just taking off of one article that he read, an article,
Yeah,
versus actual stats? Is he reading one article and ran with it? Is that what you're
I
saying?
don't know, maybe. But
Look at the growth rate.
Here we go, populationeducation.org. They're also saying that also in 1961 was where they had a big baby boom. They had a big boom.
I remember that baby boom. That's what I'm saying. I don't think
Yeah.
he's accurate right now. He's taking one article and deeming it as a whole. Did he read more articles in
This is
that
the one
one?
that
Was
I
there more research that he did?
Set to decline 0.18 by 20. So yeah, that
Oh,
one started back in 2020, like around 2018 actually, where they started to have the population start to decline. Everybody, I'm just saying, even the BBC.com is saying that during those time periods, it's always the population has always grown. Here's a chart from the Korean Times .kor. Um, there's a chart that they have, and
Tap the screen, y'all.
on this chart, it looks like round the 2000s when the population started to decrease.
All right, brother, have you looked at the link where I posted? Look all the way in the right column at
Thank you
growth,
for the gifts.
and you'll see it's a -%,
Okay,
negative
that's
two, negative
one
three
link
since
versus
19.
all the
No,
links he's
no,
looking at,
no, no.
sir.
That's just the one I posted. That's
it's
just the one I
kind of
Right.
posted.
pointless, though. It's really kind of pointless because the West 4B is clear on their agenda. They just took inspiration from what
So
happened in Korea. They're not doing the exact same things
here we
and
go.
for the exact same reasons.
Here's a
That's why
chart.
it's like kind of pointless. They're not mad with the Korean men. They're mad with their own men.
So here's
So it's really pointless. It's just
So
they just took inspiration. And before I get down, because I'm about to jump down, they're
this
not looking to sit to the table. I think that's what y'all not understanding.
so
The
this
West 4B American women aren't looking to sit to the table and have any talks with
year
men. So
2020
I think that's where y'all
when we
confused
were
at.
expecting
No
for
means no. It's simple. No
No
means
means
no.
no. You see, they can't take no even here. When I tell them we don't want to do that, we don't want to talk about. They still can't. They can't take no. They don't know no.
you see 19 well this
Yeah,
is
it's
19
increased. That's what I'm trying to say.
1970
Yeah.
Yeah, no means no.
1970
You guys
and
can. There's gonna be plenty of women
boom, and then
for y'all to
start
have
to
to pick
drop.
them up.
Yep, I
I
see
don't
it.
understand why
PQ.
y'all not worried about those women, the ones that want y'all, not the ones that don't. I'm just
Right.
so lost. Let me get back in
And
these
that's what I've
comments.
been
But
saying,
no
man.
means no. No
Miami,
means no.
that's what I've been saying. I've been saying the same thing. If you guys are out, if these men are out here saying they getting coochie the way they getting it, then why the hell do they even give a damn? Am I the only one that's thinking wrong? When if you getting that thing like you say you getting that thing, why are you scared of the 4B movement?
oh, like I said, I'm for it.
Nobody's scared. How you doing, host? Nobody's scared of the 4B movement. I think this conversation, people are having a conversation about it, just like they do everything else on this app. But nobody, we understand this ain't gonna work for the American women. It's not gonna work. The reason why, but they fail to realize the Korean women are not known for being promiscuous, running through the streets, having multiple bodies, multiple baby daddies. They're not known for that. So morally, they value. like that was all intact. So to separate from something, and you never had it, or separate from something, is totally different from a person who is has been promiscuous, has had kids, have had trauma and abuse, and then you trying to adopt something and thinking that you can use it as
It
a
actually
way
does
of a
work. The
link back.
kitchen. Let me explain. It does
Would,
work. It does work because I was one of those women. I was one of those
you
women.
was
I was
one of the
very
women that what?
promiscuous. I was one of those promiscuous women, high body count. I have 2 children, and guess what? I decided no, no more, and I was able to do that. Still been able to do that. Work
But
on
what?
myself, heal, do the self reflection, do shadow work. Again, I was able to do that. We can do it. At the end of the day,
No,
when a
that
woman decides that they want to be better, regardless of what, because why are many women promiscuous? Because of trauma. Once you look into that trauma, think about that trauma, reflect on that trauma, and heal from that trauma, those behaviors will then change. Why? Because you're no longer acting out of trauma responses. You're now acting on a healed place. So it is possible. Women, don't let no man come up here and tell you you can't do it because of your past.
Right.
Because how is it that a man can go from cheating on
no,
his
I'm not.
woman? Excuse
No,
me, sir. How can a man go from being a cheater, a dog, a liar, a manipulator to a changed ass man all of a sudden? How can men go from having side babies and side kids be faithful all of a sudden? How can men go from having 4, 5 women rotating them out the week to now that I get in a relationship, I can be oh so faithful now? Come on now. Don't let
but you,
nobody tell you
but you
that.
saying,
Don't let nobody
I
pull
know
but
your
you
that's
saying
face.
right.
something. But you're saying something I'm not saying though. I'm
You
not
oh
saying
you
that.
you definitely
I
trying to
said
say that we won't be able to do it
no.
because they're the
I know
promiscuous
exactly,
the women here
ma'am.
have been promiscuous. The women here have had multiple children. I heard exactly what you're saying. And what I'm saying to them, I don't give a fuck if you
It,
got 10 kids, ladies. You can change. You can also implement this to your children that ain't got no kids. You can also tell your children how to value themselves. What we haven't had conversations about. These men want women to know something without explaining it to them. Ain't nobody never sat down and had the young girl tell them your worth and your value is not in between what's between your legs. Sit down and have conversations with your daughters. Sit down and have conversations with your sons. It can happen. Don't let nobody tell you it can't happen because it actually can. Sit down, talk to your kids, talk to your teenage daughters. Don't make them fear coming to you. Don't tell them they fast because of your trauma because they sitting up around a man. Have conversations. Listen to your kids. Go be involved. It can work. You can teach these kids to decenter. You don't need to be worried about no boy. When you tell them they don't need to be worried about no boy, you don't need to be worried about one either. Ain't no need for you to be telling your daughter these boys ain't shit, and you got 4 and 5 of them rotating out your crib. So you start showing them. You show them by way of example. Don't let no man come up here and tell you it won't work. They telling you it won't work. That's another form of manipulation, gaslighting, and deflection to make you feel like you can't do it. You can. No, my mother wasn't one of them, but I've seen women that have done it. Go
Let me
ahead.
give you a whole bunch of likes for
Miss,
that. 100.
No, and then not only that, you making it seem like us black women,
Thank
we
y'all for the
wasn't
kiss.
taught similar or the same things as the Korean woman. I want every woman to put in the chat. Have you ever heard your mama, your grandmama say, put on some shorts because a man is here? We are
Mm-hmm.
all, some of us, majority of us, we are taught these things. We all have choice. Like T said, it's the trauma.
I don't think the American women are not going through the same thing at the moment as the South Korean women are going through. If that's what you're saying, is that what she said? I may have misunderstood what she was saying.
No, no, no. I was talking about he made it seem like us black. He trying to say like we not taught values or more. Like no, we
Yeah,
are
yeah,
taught
yeah.
those things. We just choose not to do it at that time. You can
Right.
A lot of
either
times we're
no.
remember
not
it
though. A
or
lot of times
not.
those conversations are not adulatory.
Why you
Let's
just
be
gonna ask
I
me
honest.
what
know
I'm saying?
T. I know T. That's
Oh
why
my
we got to
goodness.
make it happen.
That's what I'm saying. So we're
You,
not taught.
y'all trying to tell me what I'm saying, what I'm thinking, instead of just
No, I'm
asking
just
me what
saying
I'm
what you
thinking.
said. Maybe you don't know how to articulate properly. Let's try it again.
No, I do know how to articulate very well.
Okay.
What I'm saying is very simple. That because the way westernized society is, we have been taught totally different. So there's a thing called greed that exists. There's a thing called lust and promiscuity, all that already exists, and it's already have been active. Yes, women can sit down and men can sit down and divest. Yo, I think somebody got their mic on. But yes, people can stop doing things. Yeah, of course. Well, the reason why I said it ain't gonna work,
Can you speed up? Thank
it
you.
won't work on a large scale, is because people are in a mindset they can do whatever they want to do, how they want to do it. Yes, some will follow suit. That's a small percentage, just like it ain't a large percentage of men running around here knocking women upside the head. There's a small percentage. That's like it's a small percentage of men that's running around here gang banging. That's a small percentage. Yes. Yes. So all I'm saying is at the end of the day, we could cut it and slice it how we want to, but at the end of the day, it's still um, it's a small percentage. And if yes, we can sit down and can talk to people, and people could change, and people. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, it ain't gonna work the way people think it's gonna work. If, like the man said, if you out here already getting, you don't have no problem. That's all I'm saying. Women, women gonna
Host, can I
agree. Yeah, go
can I
ahead.
say something, host? Oh, sorry. Host, I started you're muted. She's still muted.
She
Go
said
ahead.
you can go ahead.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I started the West 4B movement a year ago. And when I started it a year ago, like I put up the website, I only had 10 people interested because everyone said what the kitchen just said. They kind of told me it's never going to work. Black women are very race loyal, and they also worship black men. And they told me that it'll never work because black women will never kind of stop sleeping with them, no matter what happens to them, no matter what the statistics say, no matter the amount of violence that happens to them. They just told me that it wouldn't. So then I said, all right, well, maybe I can start the website and just hope that maybe a few of them will follow the West 4B. So we went and we found the site that the sisters in South Korea have, and they basically, on their website, they gave us blessing. They said, you ladies, everyone should be doing what we're doing. So it's so sad to hear black men say things like, what did the women in South Korea do for you? What did the women all over the world have participated in um, some form of protest with their bodies. Like the women in Liberia who wanted to stop the civil war, they stopped sleeping with men for 100 and something days, and it stopped the civil war. Women learn from other women on what to do and how to exist under patriarchy, because men are not going to tell us how to exist, but they will complain. So when I started the West 4B movement and put up the website, I said, okay, so let's listen to what black men are saying. They're saying, by and large, we are 304s. They're saying that we have high body counts. They're saying that, the single baby bitter mama epidemic is real. You guys are the reason why all of these black men are in prison. They're being raised by you. They said, what else did they say? Oh, when we buy you, I say this all the time, a $20 chicken burger, you ladies don't want to put out at the end of the night. And then they complain about marriage. They say, when there's a wedding or a divorce, you ladies get everything. So when I created the movement in the West 4B, I just was like, yo, let's just take complaints away from men. So with the high body count complaint, then we will have no sex. With the baby single mama bitter complaint, no babies. With the marriage complaint, we don't want to get married to you because what's the point? You're going to complain anyway. And divorce rates are 63% in the United States now. Also with the dating, if you're going to harass me for a hot dog, then I don't want to go on a date with you. And then it grew. And then I think I went live for the first time maybe a week ago, and then it kind of took off all over TikTok. And I went from having 10 women interested to now having 600 or more applications. And they're not all old ladies like brothers are saying, because they say that we're all old. No, these girls are 18, 19. We're having a radical feminist seminar. We're mobilizing to, we have a coat drive coming up. We have a toy drive in December.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your movement for women to get away from men for the rest of their lives?
It's basically for women to make a change in regards to their existence under the patriarch. We cannot continue to live under laws that determine what we can do with our bodies. So, because there are laws that are taking away our rights, then we will take ourselves from the situation until those laws change. For example, if they're
So this is
saying
not
that
indefinitely.
no, ma'am. So if they're
Okay.
saying that they're going to take a abortion away from us, then we won't sleep with men until abortions are back on the table. If they're saying that, well, you ladies are going to have no fault divorce soon, okay, so then we're not going to marry you until we get, fault divorces back on the table. We have to protest with ourselves by removing ourselves and making our presence be felt with our absence. You can't be up in somebody's face who don't like you. And for the most part, brothers don't really like us like that on some real. I'm just being real with you. They complain a lot. They not happy. You got to weave, you fat, you black, you ugly. The list goes on and on and on with what black men are saying. So now they won't have anything to complain about. Nobody's going to be up in their face. So I have 600 women, 700 women in the last hour who's on some, I want to do this with you. And this is what we're going to do. And this is a peaceful movement because we're listening to what men say. Men are complaining. We don't want you to complain. We love black men. We don't want you to be unhappy. So let's remove the problem. And since the problem is
Type your screen,
us,
y'all.
it's
Go
fine.
ahead.
Since we're the problem, we'll be okay. And there's no we don't hate men like they're saying we hate men. We don't hate men. We love men and we want you to stop complaining about us. So we're taking full accountability on our actions. And full accountability means separating ourselves from you until we can get change.
So
Hopefully we
okay,
can get
I agree with you 100%. The one thing that you did say that I kind of have a little bit of pushback on is the abortion thing, right? So if you're telling women don't sleep with men until abortion are back on the table, why not have something where it's saying women, how about if you don't want a baby, don't sleep around. Period. Not only if you have an option to abort, but how about let's just not even have that on the table at all to be able to get pregnant on when you don't want that baby. Because it sounds to me
well,
like you're saying, well, until I can abort your child, I won't sleep with you.
no, that's not it. And I thank you
Okay.
for that question. But for the most part, reproduction abuse is real. There's a lot of people, not a lot of people, but host people change, host, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of men who for the most part they see a woman who would have like everything going for her,
Mm-hmm.
and men use pregnancy and childbirth as a way to cripple successful women, and we've seen this happen time and time again. You see a black woman who's an astronaut and she's dating a man who can't read. Boom, she's pregnant when she wants to end the relationship. Reproductive abuse is real, and we have to call attention to what reproductive abuse is. And a lot of the times men and women, I'm not going to say women are not guilty,
Okay.
men
Okay.
participate in reproductive abuse. But yeah,
But
that's
men have no, but they have no control over that. Though. All they can do is get you pregnant. At the end of the day, the woman still has that choice to even decide I'm not even having this baby. I don't even want this baby. I'm going to give this baby up. Like, so is it
but
really the
and
men abusing it, or could it be the women abusing it for themselves?
well,
That's the
now
only
here's the
issue that
thing.
I'm struggling to kind of connect
Well,
with.
here's the thing, and this is how patriarchy intersects with men who it doesn't benefit. So men don't benefit for the most part from patriarchy. A lot of men don't. The men who benefit from it are the ones at the top. So if the ones at the top say, well, everyone gets abortion taken off the table, then the ones at the bottom who want to participate in reproductive abuse, they know where to get a girl pregnant. What state will she get pregnant and be in trouble if she would like to terminate that pregnancy. So we're seeing this all over Reddit. There's men right now who are trying to, tattletale on women if they took an abortion pill or if they got a
But how
procedure done
how
in
would they
another
know
state.
though?
Women talk too much, host.
Exactly.
They talk too much. And
Cause
you
she
know
didn't.
what's so
Cause
sad?
okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
women talk a lot about their bodies. They talk a lot about what's going on in they just talk too much. And you know what's so sad, host? They don't talk enough to each other. They'll sit all day, with their mouths open to a man, but they don't trust
Thank
another
you.
woman. And
That's
this
a
is
start.
patriarchy again, right? Patriarchy at work, separating women.
I definitely agree with the separating women concept, but I do think we as women don't. I think like if you're doing it for, I would love to, like of course, like check out your website and everything. But I think if we are going to create a movement to decenter men, the movement has to be the center selves, and accountability has to be a part of that. And I don't think that we're required to be accountable for our own actions in a lot of ways. We make a lot of poor decisions, and when we do tell each other that the decision that we're making is poor, we're accused of being a victim blamer. We're accused of being nasty to each other. When we don't like what each other says, like, man, what are you doing, or why are you doing that, or maybe you do need to get in the gym, sis. You do need to eat better, sis. It's like you're hating on me, or you're a woman basher to each other. So when is it that we're going to create something in place that, yeah, we're going to decenter men, but we have to work on self, which means reflect on what part we fucked up on, reflect on the parts that we can fix, being accountable, taking ownership of what we did, things like that. I think that of course should be a focus, instead of saying men, they said this, what did we do? And how can we fix it? When we take away this access from them, how can we work on being better selves? So then when we do give back access, we're ready for that, and we know how to create standards and boundaries and things of that nature.
I think that right now, host, I don't feel that men appreciate the sacrifice that women make on the planet. They just don't. This is why everything that women do even in regards to like birth and children, if you see, or if you look at how often children are unalive, there's just no respect for it anymore. And I think there's no respect for it is because it's in an abundance. If
Go
you
back
want
and say,
something to be
what do you mean by unalive?
Unalive, like infanticide, filicide, is it called filicide when parents unalive their children? Just children, women and children are victims of violence.
Okay,
right?
but women, have you looked at the stats of the unaliving rates of children?
Yes.
You know that women are
Yeah.
the ones that unaliving their children?
Yes, and also in regards to that being said, that has a lot to do with postpartum depression
No,
and
ma'am.
postpartum
No, ma'am.
psychosis.
No, ma'am.
Postpartum psychosis?
No,
No?
ma'am. No, ma'am. These women, no. Like, again, these women, one, were not really fit to have children. They're bitter. They're angry. Did you see about the woman who put her 3 children in the freezer? Or
I
2?
didn't see that story.
Oh, yeah. She killed black woman. Killed 2 of her children and tortured the other 2. Put them in the freezer for 3 years. Nobody checked on them because she was a woman. Nobody cared about them not going to school because she was a woman. None of that. So, and it had nothing to do with
You're
postpartum.
frozen.
Yeah,
I'm frozen.
I agree. I definitely do agree with
Yeah,
T.
you
A
was
lot
frozen a
of
minute.
people,
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
a lot of people mentally are not
One more
fit.
sub, y'all, and we can go ahead.
A lot of people are not mentally fit to have children. And I think that's where it all boils down to, whether
Thank
it's a
you.
man or a woman. You need to check yourself. You need to work on yourself. I'm like T. It's accountability that every person must have for
Okay, sis.
themselves. It's not about other people holding you accountable. You got to hold yourself
And that's what
accountable.
I'm saying during that movement, even working with women, because I think this is a great idea. I do. I think it's an amazing
Same.
idea. But in that process, teaching them where, because again, that aspect won't be where they're unaliving their children and all that stuff when they do the work and they heal and they, maybe they, things like that. Because a lot of it does come from trauma, or comes from not being angry at the person that hurt you before, and the person that hurt you before, and the person that hurt you before, and never unpacking, just continuing to push things down. So, I mean, I think it's a great idea. I personally
Yeah,
think
I
that
agree.
it's a great idea.
Yeah. I think also it's not like we're just going to be meeting and male bashing, because decentering men actually centers them, right? Like, let's be for real. Like, decentering men centers them. So what we have online are things that we can do that would decenter men and not participate in male bashing, because male bashing can be toxic. It can be,
Right.
it's not necessary because we already know what's going on. So we would do things in educating ourselves. And like for me, one of the caveats, and you may not agree with this whole, is to move away from Abrahamic religions. And I think Abrahamic religions are detrimental to women and their psyche. And, having seminars like that on the history of the Quran, the history of the Bible, how these books came to be, whether or not women were seen as Like, for example, the Catholic Church kind of telling men that it was okay to grape women in 1000 AD. They put that in their law. So things like that, women don't know. And I think that's really important to kind of see, where did the hate for women come from?
Can I ask you
So
guys a
yeah.
question
Can I
real
jump?
quick? Can I just throw
Hold
a
on, go
quick
ahead,
one in there?
Boston.
Do you guys think that the 4B movement might lead to like lesser births or something like that later
It
on
already
down the
has.
line? It already has?
Yes.
This is
The
naturally
time
happening
for us to
regardless
stop
because,
every with the kids
yeah,
going
people can't afford children. So it's not the 4B movement that's starting this. It's your economy that's making it hard to have children. People can't afford it. They can't even afford their rent.
Well,
So
I'm from an
it's not.
economy where they kind of incentivize having children, but not keeping the families whole. Like they would have provided extra benefits for a single mother going through any domestic violence or any type of situation like that. They would have provided extra incentives or housing for them in that situation. So I seen that produce more children. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah,
just
but
worried a little. Yeah.
that's a band-aid. That's a band-aid over a larger wound, because here's the thing. If you have a society that's set up to only pay women to have children, what does the rest of the economy look like? It doesn't look beneficial, because at the end of the day, you still have health disparities. You still have mortality rates when women are born. So the 70 grand that they're giving you to have a baby, how much of that grand goes back to the hospital because you had the baby there?
Thank y'all
How
for the
much of
gift.
that? Oh
That's a
yeah,
very
thank you for
good
the
point.
thank you for the
That's a very,
yeah.
very good point.
Yeah,
Well,
so how much of that 70 grand to have the baby will actually go to childcare and diapers? The 70 grand that they give you for having a baby will last you for 1 year of that baby's life. It's not worth it, you
So there
know?
are
Like,
upsides and downsides to both movements. The incentives for
yes, sir.
having babies
I
and
don't
for
see a downside of a woman saying I'm not having no kids and I'm not having sex. I don't see where there's a downside to that.
right. Well,
I
I
don't
just want
understand
to
why
jump
y'all
in
keep
here.
trying to find a downside in a woman saying I'm not having children, I'm not dating you, and I'm not fucking you. I don't see a downside in that in any way. Only downside is y'all gonna have blue balls. Only downside is y'all gonna have less access to women. Only downside is y'all ain't gonna be able to hit and quit like y'all used to. That's probably the only downside, and that will be for you. But there still be other women that's not gonna participate in the movement. There's gonna be openly willing to open her legs to you and lay down with you. These women just aren't. So I don't see how that's a
I
downside.
agree because you can procreate without a male nowadays, so there's not really
They're not
any
even trying to
Host,
for
procreate at all. That's
No,
what I'm
but
saying.
see,
They're
the
not
thing
yeah.
having
is, it's choice.
children.
And host,
A
men
lot of
don't
people
have to
just don't
worry.
want to.
Yeah, and
Well, I
host,
just want
men
to
don't
ask a
have to worry
question.
about procreation because, like you said, host, there's always going to be a pick me that wants to be with a man. So, men, you don't have to worry. Trust me, there's a plethora of women who are falling in the street who would want to be with you, but there are some women who are not. So, you just pick the women that are available. Pick the
Can
pick
I
me.
ask you a
She's
question? Do you
available.
think it's natural to how we normally exist? Like, do you think that we were put here to not procreate?
Sir, there are 5 animals in the animal kingdom right now, and these animals refuse to mate if they are in a cage. This is natural. When you put women in
I mean us
unnatural
though.
societies,
I'm using like human beings and
no,
our
no,
history
even
as
no,
far
but
as
wait, I want you to hear the example. Even if it's not natural for women to continue to procreate when you have certain states that are
Yes,
trying
miss.
to lower the age for marriage. They're trying to lower the age for marriage from 16 to 14. Why would women continue to birth little girls in this society? Then they're going to lower it to 9 years old,
They don't
and
want to
then they're
talk
going
about
to put
that
it in
part.
law. And then, and wait a
Right.
minute, and then you're going to put it in law, and then there's going to be a 35-year-old man marrying your 9-year-old daughter because it's illegal. It's not safe to have children now. It's not safe because we cannot protect children
Hold on a
under the
second,
patriarchy.
Supreme. So for Monique to say why I can answer this, Supreme. For Monique to saying why are the women that refuse to participate being called pick me? Because if you want a man, you want to be picked, and that's not a bad thing. You want a man. So I don't know why women say, yeah, I want a relationship, but then don't want to admit that you want to be picked. It's okay. You want to be picked. Like, why is that an insult to a woman that wants to be a mate, wants a man, and wants to be picked? I mean, people
Well, I
use it as an insult, but you shouldn't take it as one.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what
I
well,
was
I'm
gonna
saying.
say
I have a question. Hey T, hey Queen.
Hey.
Um, so I've been hearing about the 4B movement, and I get it from the perspective that it's given. But my question is for the women. Why have y'all let yourself get to this point in the world, like to where y'all need this movement? Things are happening. Y'all are less than.
Ask your fellow brothers why they got passport movements. I don't understand
No,
why.
I understand that, but
I think everybody has movements. You go all the way back. There was a movement in slavery. There was movements And when we boycotted, there's always been movements. I don't understand why we acting like this is the first movement that's ever existed. There has always been movements set in place. Movements create change. Movements, more than one person. We got movements in churches. We got movements in schools. We got organizations. There are movements all throughout life. There's always a movement. So women are saying, you know what? The things that we've been doing, the things that we've been taught, have actually not working for us. You know what I'm saying? Mama saying you need a man. Mama saying go ahead and stay with that boy even if he hitting you. Mama saying do this, do that. That ain't working. So let me remove access and let me go back to the drawing board. I don't see anything. I don't see anything wrong with that movement. I don't understand why we asking. Well, why does it take a movement? Everybody got a movement. We got the LGBTQI movement. Ain't nobody complaining about that shit. We
For me,
gotta figure out how to call you he, she, these, they, her, and me, and then gotta deal with y'all motherfuckers calling us sis, and we don't want to be called it. That's a movement. So there's
And
movements
host
all
also,
around.
I'm just basically
exactly,
asking. I'm just
Mr.
basically
Manny,
asking. No,
Mr. Manny,
Hold on, Supreme, real
okay.
quick, because you can answer as well with T. But no, I'm basically just asking. Now that we've come to 2024, like, why did the women allow it to get to this point to where
It
like
don't
they?
matter.
Because
They're
it's
making a change.
already
Manny, I'm
None of
going to
that
there.
tell you
matters.
why.
I know
Manny,
it
I'm
don't
going to tell you
matter, but
why.
I still want to know why the
Manny,
women have let it get here,
Manny,
like
I'm going to
to
tell
male
you,
dominate the world. Like, why did the
Manny,
women
I'm going
allow
to tell
men to
you
It's
why,
dominate?
always
Manny.
been male dominated, Manny.
I get
Right.
that. That's why I'm
Manny,
asking now in 2024. Why did y'all
but,
let it happen like in the first
but Manny,
year,
you're not,
year
one
one?
minute, Manny. Please, can I tell you something? This is why in the West 4B, we have to deconstruct from religion. The premise that women are evil stems from the belief in the God that men made. Men made these gods because they were not women, and a lot of the times they were jealous of what women could do with their bodies. This stems from the Greco Roman Empire. This stems from Socrates. This stems from Plato. This stems from every philosopher that wrote anything down in a book. The hate for women was put in the Bible, was put in the church, was put in the organizations that we see them in. And historically, because I have a degree in history,
Thank
historically,
you
the
for
hate from
subscribing.
women for historically, the hate for women starts there. Because again, you had men create a God. You had
But
men
Supreme,
create this.
even
Yes,
then in the
yes,
Bible, let's just be real. Let's be 100. Many women ain't let it because let's be 100. See
exactly.
from even if we gonna go back to religion in the Bible, women have always pushed back. You even starting from Adam and Eve, right? Eve still pushed back on what was said not to do. She still took the lead and she still did what she was told not to do. We got Jezebel, we got Delilah, we got Sarai and Abraham, where she was like, "Fuck that, we finna fuck this bitch because we gonna have a baby." And then she told him to get the bitch up out the house and go on over there and send her to the wilderness. And he had to listen to her. So where are what you saying? Women ain't always pushed back on them being in control because
No,
women have
I get
always been
it.
like, "Nah, we ain't gonna do this. We trying to change the game." They've
Exactly.
always
No,
tried
a
to change the
host.
I
game,
get
and
that.
No,
That's
no,
why I'm
host.
just
I
asking the
meant
always done.
question
no.
to
This is
be in
what I meant, host. I
2024.
meant
I get
okay.
that.
So, host, in regards to all of the women that you
I'm just
mentioned,
saying it, man.
you mentioned Jezebel, you mentioned Eve, you mentioned who else did you mention? Delilah.
Delilah,
You mentioned
Sarai, Hera.
Sarah.
We can go
Okay,
through
so
all of
all
them.
of those women, yes, they are present in the Bible, but they are demonized for their actions.
I get that. That's what
Whereas
I'm
men
saying
are,
because they've always
yeah,
pushed back, which I'm saying to Manny is there's never been a time where women have not pushed back on what
yeah.
people have said is wrong. Women have always been like, "Nah, I'm gonna do it my own way." Yes, they've been demonized for it, but they've always said, "Nah, I'm cool on that." Jezebel ruled the whole nation. She ruled her husband and a whole bunch of men. Shit, to the point where they had to decapitate her. So let's be honest. I mean, not decapitate
Right.
her. They wanted her to be eaten by dogs.
Well,
That's
yeah,
the point. So when you say how we got here because men hating women was just the wave, and men kind of co-signed on that hate, and that's how it happened. And it started with religion, the belief in God, the belief in the soul, the belief in the spirit. All of those things were made to deflect from the power of the woman
Supreme, I
because
got a
male hate.
question for you when you get a chance. Do you think that desensitizing
200K,
men
y'all.
should mean hurting your own self? Like basically, I heard a lot of women
What do you
say
mean
that
by desensitizing?
they said that it has something to do with not bearing children.
Decentering.
Yeah,
Decentering.
decentering men. Does it have anything to do with not bearing children? How does that go hand in hand?
Because when you have a child, you are linked to a man, and we don't want to be linked to men. because when
You
you're
don't think
linked to a
that's
man,
just a specific trait that women carry, that they're able to produce children?
yeah, just they have the ability to produce children, yes. But the thing is that when women, a lot of them have children, it doesn't end up the way they want it to. So in the beginning say, okay, so the beginning, sir, it's fine. But then again, people change. No one sets out to be a baby mama, sir. No one sets out to be alone with a child, but people change. And there are some women who have the luxury to be married, but even then marriage is problematic in some cases. So yes, women have the ability to do so, but is it necessary? Is it seen as, even, I can say, selfish? You know that women are not being, are, you hear so many times
Before
people say
that's
the
good.
world is, you hear so many times people say things like, oh, the world is trash. The world is horrible. This world is crazy. And then the next breath, well, let's just have a baby and add to it. That would be selfish to me.
Hello.
I kind of get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I have a question. Well, I was jumping in when I heard made the comment in regards to women that that have kids and then they kill them of something like that they were not fit. And I just want to add to that. I mean, for me, the postpartum, I was 23 when I had my first child, and I'm 42, turned 43 when I had my second, and both of those cases was different. And and when I first used to see how can women kill their kids, I think it depends on what that woman was going through. Because I was 23, I was married, I had a support system. Now that I'm 43 and co-parenting and I don't have the support, I'm not condoning what women do because I think it's wrong, but I don't feel like, I feel like the circumstances and when women go through a lot of stuff, especially postpartum depression, if they don't have the support or the help from family, or, it just makes them be at a different, it's like society's like, well, why did you have this baby if you didn't
We're
love?
not. Hold on. Can you hold on 1 second?
Uh-huh.
Where that come?
Well, I think
First
earlier
of
when you were
all,
making the
right, but
comment.
we passed it. Hold on, give me a second.
Okay.
For those of the people that I dropped you because you do not have 1,000 followers. I don't know who let y'all up, but my rule is if you have less than 1,000 followers, you're not allowed in my panel. My rules. So apologize for that, for y'all even being allowed up. We done moved past that. If we're gonna talk about what she's talking about and the movement, they're not even getting pregnant. So we can go into the women understanding why women have abortions. Again, I'm okay with you doing what you want to do for for what works for you, but understand that when you have a baby, you ain't the only one that laid down and had that baby. So if you're gonna make a choice, okay, for you, then be prepared for you to be that mother alone. If it's only for you, if the choice is just yours, be prepared to raise that child as just yours. I don't understand why we as women think that we can make a dual decision and make a dual decision singular. Like we can make a decision for other people and then singular, but still expect dual results. It doesn't work like that. You're
Host,
not gonna get it like that. What's up,
can
Miss
I say
Miss
something,
Princess?
host?
Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry.
You good?
Mr. Mr. Crypto was in another live and he said, I'm getting government funding for this movement. And you know what's so funny, host, is like,
What if you were?
what if what if we did? Because again, we're making women great again. We're
Right.
giving them the value that men
What's the
said that
problem?
we lost because we were dealing with them. So if I get government funding, I'm all for like this being a movement where women are going to exercise self-control and we're going to hold accountability. We're going to sit up straight, we're going to keep our legs closed, and we're not going to have children or engage. Why would that be a bad thing? That's a great thing.
Yes, let me just
And it's
provide
not
some.
all, and it's not all women, because you will still have access to the pick me, but not us.
Why you
And
gotta
that's
keep
okay
saying
too.
pick? Why you gotta keep saying
Well,
pick
I
me,
just want to
Well,
Queen?
add this, right?
Why
Since
you
she
doing
said,
throwing jabs at these women that want a husband? Now
so
you
I just
stop
want to
it.
say, since Supreme has just said that, I think that that men are not to blame for this movement. It goes back to women's accountability. Women through the years, like y'all have just explained, I think it is definitely down to women. Women are the blame for the 4B movement. Bros are the blame for the passport movement. So I think that women have their blame for this 4B, men have their blame for the passport bros. I think it kind of fits each gender.
I think, Manny, I think you hit it on the head, right? And I just want to say this prior to us having this discussion today, T, you were probably the first woman I have really seen on the discussion of the subject matter that actually brings up self accountability. I've been in this carousel probably for the last 3 or 4 days, just trying to gain perspective, trying to get a firmer grasp on what's really going on. What are some of the reservations that women have that would want them to join this movement? At the end of the day, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Now, Supreme, my comment about you getting government funding, yes, I was in your live. And I thought you made mention to actually receiving funding. And if that's the case, that's the case. Like, I'm not knocking you for it, right? A question that I do have is, and again, I'm just trying to gain further perspective and further insight. Can you kind of recap what you were saying about women and childbirth and being linked to men and not wanting to be linked to men?
We spoke about this before, Glenn, and I think the comment that you made on the other panel is that I am actually getting government funding. When I started West 4B movement a year ago, I didn't get a dime. I spent my own money because I do have a career and a job, and I put into the website and I put all of that money back into women. So in regards to what the West 4B is and what we stand for is, again, we spoke about this before. We want to take the complaints away from men. Men are complaining that the communities at large are being destroyed because of women. Women are not doing what they're supposed to do, sir. Women are having too many children out of wedlock, sir. Women have high body count, sir. Women want too much for a date and then they don't want to put out after the date, sir. Women are getting too much benefits in marriage, sir. So these things we went over already. So the 4B movement said, we're not going to do any of those things. So there's no more complaint. There's no more complaint. And we won't have children with men because we do not want to be linked to them. Because again, you men are complaining that child support is the reason why you're being incarcerated. Look at that. No more child support. It'll be a utopia.
Yeah,
So
but I
I have
mean, as far
another
as like wanting to
question.
have children goes, I mean, there's a reason why the creator, whether you believe in God or whoever you believe in, gave women the eggs and they gave men the seed. So if you want to have
I
children,
believe in the creator, sir. You can miss me with that God shit. Sorry.
and I said whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in, like, let's not misconstrue what I was saying. I'm trying to give you the utmost respect. I'm trying to be respectful. I'm trying to gain perspective without coming off the top rope with my own assumptions. Just hear me out, right?
I
This
heard
whole
you
entire
already.
thing is about
Okay.
respect. And at the base of what I'm seeing here is there is little to no accountability. Earlier in your discussion, you made the reference of the astronaut who has a pookie for a boyfriend, and whether that's really what you call them, I can't really call that. But my question would be, if you're a woman and this is your career, and you've been held in high esteem, like you picked that partner, that responsibility is on you. I think a bit of what we're talking about here looks to displace self accountability because, again, prior to T coming in, what she said about inter retrospective point of view and actually looking at thyself and placing accountability on thyself, there were only a handful of people, and the majority of people that I don't want to paint with a broad brush, but I personally heard talking about self accountability were men. Today was the first time I'd actually heard about a woman saying, "Hey, ladies, we need to be taking accountability for our
But
own
Glenn, can
mess."
I
And I
ask you
think
a
we need to be
question?
moving.
Can
Hold
I
on,
ask
let
you
me
a
finish.
question,
Let me
Glenn?
finish. Allow me to finish, please. And when I look at this movement, I'm hearing a lot of, hey, men are tall, what we are, we're this, we're that, we're that, we're this. A lot of the negative connotations that are happening, I'm not saying it's 100% on y'all because sometimes men 100%, they get out of pocket. And I've been a champion for that to say, hey, men, there's things that we need to work on. But when I listen to women's reservations that have been talking about this on panels, seldomly, if ever, prior to today, did I actually hear any who's a woman say, we need to be looking at our own stuff and we need to take accountability for the things that we've messed up and we need to heal our traumas.
Mr. Glenn, do you remember that lawyer who was on a panel with Eonula Van Zant? And she was on the panel and she said,
Hold on, Prince. Hold on one second before
she's
y'all keep going, real quick. Miami, your background a little loud. Okay, y'all, I got it on sub only. I don't want to keep it there. I hate silencing y'all. If we can get it to
My bad. I
200K
ain't
to
trying to
keep
get
it on
up
the
here.
For You page. Okay. Let's get it to 200K and y'all are out of sub jail. I don't even want to keep y'all in there, but my subscribers said keep y'all there. Okay, go ahead.
So remember that interview, Mr. Glenn, where Iyanla Van Zant interviewed a lawyer. This is a very successful attorney. And then Iyanla said, this is a black woman, well, she's a black attorney. And she said, well, why don't you date the bus driver? And then remember the lawyer kind of said, well, why would I date a bus driver when the bus driver doesn't own the bus company? Because again, you see how dualistic men speak. Her saying that she would not date the bus driver went viral, where every black man in America was saying, see, there you go, that's the problem. She want a man who is this, that, and the third. She was villainized for wanting someone more. Now, if she said, okay, I'm gonna date the Pookie, I'm gonna date the bus driver who's kind of, doing the best that he can, then you're saying, oh, well, she's not taking accountability and dealing with someone of her caliber. Sir, this is what I'm saying, host. When it comes to men, they're contradictory as all hell. They want women who are pure, and they want women who do not have, sexual proclivities and all of these things, but they keep the porn industry running like a well-oiled machine. Men are highly contradictory, similar to their Bible, similar to their anything that they put out there in regards to their religion. It's just nonsense. And women are better off when they disengage. They're just better off.
Hey, it's the same thing. Have you seen the one Love and Hip Hop reunion where the guy got chastised because he didn't want to date a single mother? So I can do that also. There was a guy that he got chastised because he said he wanted better for himself because his mom may have been a single mom, but he doesn't want that route.
Would you say
It's not mutually
the one
exclusive.
keeping the porno industry
He was a
running
Pookie when they got together,
whenever
that's different
it
than
takes
him
a woman to do
just
that?
changing. She knew his situation when they got together. So if the issue is, well, she's an astronaut and she's making all them, okay, you knew this dude, what his situation was when y'all got together. It's not that up and one day he just changed. It was like, oh, I don't want to go to work anymore. That's not it.
And Supreme, I think a large part of it is self-accountability. We do not keep the porno industry running. It takes two. It takes a female in order to produce a film sometimes 2 or 3 females.
Speak now.
I'm seeing in the comments people are saying, what's more accountable than want to take yourself out of the equation? Well, I get what you're saying. You're not saying I want to take myself out of the equation because there's work that I have to do. You're saying I want to take myself out of the equation because all this negativity and how we're being vilified. The two are not the same.
Here's the thing. Women are taking an accountability by removing themselves and making their presence be felt with their absence. Okay? Again, this is not a movement for all women. You will still have access to the women who you want. I promise you, you shouldn't be worried about this because I'm sure there's 10 girls in your phone that you haven't called in a week because you're here on TikTok talking to me. So you'll always have access. You don't have to worry about the women who are closing their legs because again, it doesn't affect you. You don't really have a dog in the fight. The issue is that now women are taking accountability in the West 4B. And I don't think men like that because here men are saying, you ladies lose your value when you deal with us. Okay, so sir, then we won't deal with you. We're going to get our value back now. Why are you fighting this? You shouldn't be fighting me. You should be shaking my hand because again, we want to get our value back in your eyes. You're saying that everything we do is wrong. Now it's not going to be wrong.
No, I mean, again, if y'all want to go off to the far woods or the islands or the desert or the jungle, wherever it is that you want to go, I support that. My issue
why
is
are you casting us out into the wilderness because we don't want to deal with you? We're not. Here's the thing. This is, sir, Mr. Glenn, because no, Mr. Glenn, stop. Because you said this on another panel. You went on another panel and you said that I'm getting government funding, that I'm an agent of the FBI, and I'm all. Sir, this is wrong. What you're doing is wrong because nobody is an agent. I'm not getting any funding, but I bet you I will if it means for women to have their value back. I bet you that Make America Great Again will sign on to this movement because men are complaining about their behavior. What is wrong with women shutting themselves off and working on themselves the way you guys tell us to?
Nothing is
you
wrong
told
with
us
that,
to
but
do
when it
this.
happens at the character assassination of men that, oh, men are evil and the Bible is evil and men hate women.
No,
we don't hate
sir.
y'all. We do not hate
Sir.
y'all.
47
Sir,
seconds,
you
y'all.
have had experience with, or the men that maybe are part or the women who are part of your organization, maybe they have had these interactions. But and listen, you said you've got 600 applications. I'll give you 2,500. It's not like you've got 1.6 million. It's not even like you've got 10 million, right? So
And
the sample
again,
size of women. Hold on, let me finish. The
this is
sample
why
size
you
of
shouldn't be
women
worried,
who are
Glenn.
having
This
these
is why
negative
you shouldn't
but
even really
interactions with
care.
men
but my
are
question is,
actually
are y'all
small. It's a
You
dating?
shouldn't
relatively
care. I
small
don't know why
percentage.
you're so pressed. You shouldn't care,
I got a
Glenn.
question
You
for you,
shouldn't
Because I
care.
want
Pippi.
to
I
keep
got a
things on
quick
the
Hey,
level.
question.
We're not
can I
being
say something?
objective.
I'm gonna drop. Can I say something? I gotta drop. Hey guys, why don't you just she's absolutely right. This is what I've been saying from the beginning. If you are one of these guys that constantly say y'all get draws, y'all get this, y'all know this should not affect you whatsoever. I always ask the question, just like I ask women when it comes to the passport bros, the ones that are talking. Are these the women that you want? And if these are not the women that you want, why the hell are you mad? There's gonna be times where no matter what, whether it's men or women, there are gonna be a group of men, there are gonna be a group of women that's gonna bash each other. There's gonna be a group of men or a group of women that's gonna demonize each other. All you have to do is just move around it. At the end of the day, just move around it.
Stop pandering.
No, nobody's pandering. I'm just being serious. I'm being serious. Nobody's pandering. I'm literally saying, guys, because me personally, how I look at it, a lot of guys are only mad because they're the type of guys that don't want to work on themselves. That while these women are working on themselves, they don't want to work on themselves and do the jobs and do the things. This is why a lot of guys are saying they're getting passports and just using their money. So at the end of the day, if these are not the women that you really want, why are y'all crying about it? Don't
Hold on,
debate
bro.
with her.
I
Don't
think
drop
it's
just yet.
inevitable.
I want to add something to
Like,
what he said.
don't debate about it.
Do you not think that this would destabilize humanity? Like if
No,
there was no in vitro
No,
fertilization, some
nope.
of these
Because
no,
there's
countries
No,
are
always
no,
gonna
saying
be
no.
women.
they're
There's
never
always
gonna
there's
have
not enough of
children.
them.
Some of
They
them are
don't
there's
have
saying
enough
always
they're
of
gonna
them.
be
never gonna
women
have
that
children.
smash that you can smash.
They don't
There's
have
always
enough.
gonna be women. There's always going to be women that are willing to have sex with you at the end of the day.
There's
But
always sex workers.
Mr.
once,
PQ, Mr. PQF, Mr. Can I ask you a question, Mr. PQF?
yeah,
Okay, so and this is a question for the men on the panel because you guys always say that it's not all men. It's never all men. It's not all men. It's just a selected few who are bad. You have a daughter and you want to drop her off in a daycare. And there's 2 daycares on the block, one with 5 men in it and one with 5 women. What daycare are you going to put your daughter in for the majority of the day?
Let me answer this because I
by
actually have
social
daughters.
by hold
The
on by
best they can.
socialization
The best they can.
I'm gonna put her in the women's. Yes, by socialization, I will do that. It's not
Why not
because
the men's if it's not all men?
I didn't say, but see, this
Because
is the thing about it. Once again, by socialization, I'm doing it because
Okay.
society's telling me to put it. Hey, make sure because one, I believe that women are more nurturing when it comes to daycare. I believe as far as nurturing and being paid attention to, I believe that the woman is going to actually look over my daughter a little bit more than what a guy would. That's why.
Okay, and what about you?
Once again, I understand the whole concept that y'all all say it's all men until it's no man. But what I'm saying, yes, there are a select group of men that do this, just like there's a select group of women that do this. But once again, we understand that it's everybody. Basically, it's really everybody until it's nobody. This is why you have a certain group of people that you hang out with, a certain group of people that you'll actually congregate with, a certain person that you'll actually marry because you find out that person's not that person.
Do you
That's
believe
part
a
of that.
thought can be contagious? Do you believe a
All
thought can be contagious and inspire people to commit genocide?
Oh shit, my bad,
this
buddy.
isn't
I ain't
committing
And
know
you
that was
genocide.
gotta, y'all
right
gotta
there.
stop acting like women don't do nothing to children either. Because just because you see all
Right.
women, one of those women can be touching on children, and you will never know it. Women get a lot of away with a lot. It's more women that do molesting than men, and
Yes,
that's
you're
been
right.
True.
proven.
True.
So
Okay, can we
Yeah.
stay on topic? Cause y'all go to the weirdest
But once
places with
again,
y'all
ladies, guys.
brains, and
But
then
once
y'all
again,
say that y'all don't believe in these things, but y'all minds go to the most weirdest places and thought processes, and y'all could literally say, "Oh, but I don't think like that. I don't do that." But y'all mind literally thinks like this about weird things from this
all right.
topic.
Hey
Can we
T, I'll
stay
be back.
focused, please?
T, I'll be back in like a few hours. I'm gonna go hang out. I just got done. Wife just
Come
got
on,
in. But
hurry up, C.
so yeah, y'all guys. Hey, at the end of the day, I wouldn't argue with her. I would just be honest with you. Hey, ask her how you can help out because
Why is it an argument and not a conversation?
because people
once
not talking to
again,
each other regularly.
the passport bros when they started this, every man was for not every man was for him because I
Boy,
clowned.
you a freaking lie.
No, not every man was for him. But hey, Corey, didn't you say you was a passport bro at one point in time?
Right, I ain't got one, but I'm a passport, bro.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of y'all guys don't have a bus pass. So
I could give two fucks about it. I don't date nothing
yeah.
else but
I
black
got the
women, so
car.
I don't know what you're talking about, PQ. I never said that. Don't you put that on my name? I'm not a lame. I know how to talk a woman out of some draws, so it don't matter to me.
Ari, you are uncircumcised. Ain't nobody sleeping with
Right?
you, okay?
They
Oh
love this.
my
Damn
They love
God,
man.
this. They
T.
love
I
this
got a
Oscar
question for
Mayer.
Supreme because these are the questions of all of the stuff that y'all been saying. We now have this lady here. We could play all we want to, but shit, y'all can ask the questions while she right here. A lot of people saying that the movement means that it's for LGBT. Are you guys promoting women to just go ahead and sleep with each other?
No, it's not pro LGBT because a lot of the women in the applications that I got, they're straight. They're straight women. I don't have a lot of lesbians trying to join at all.
What
Wait,
they
That's
how do
fine.
claim
you
That's
know
they
very
they're
claim
fine.
they
straight? Wait,
claim
hold on,
they're
Can
straight.
I
Supreme.
add
Hold
real
on,
quick to that?
Supreme. How do you know they're straight? Like,
Right.
is that a part of your
The
like
application,
You have
intake?
an
I have,
application process.
we have a heavy vetting process, and that's part of the application. Yes.
Listen,
Oh,
if
so
y'all
you have
ask
to be
me, can I
straight?
say one
Do
thing?
you
If
have
y'all
to be
ask
straight to
me,
join?
I think it's for the sex robots that's about to come out. I know it sounds crazy, people, but I believe that they about to produce some sex robots, and they need a group of people that's willing to only be with
Well,
them.
shut your
That's
dumb
the
ass up.
Supreme. My question to you is: do the women
Hold on,
or
y'all.
the
We having a very good conversation, but we still like listen, y'all. I've been on here for 3 hours. I don't. This ain't normal. So if you're not a part of my platform, you don't even got to send no gifts. You can support the people that you here to see, but just tap the screen. I don't want to have to turn the comments back off. I want everybody to be able to engage, especially if your favorite person is here. So just all you gotta do is just tap the screen. I have to get up now. You finna get dropped because you coming up here talking too goddamn much, and you ain't even letting me talk. Um, if I am talking, can you mute real quick?
Host,
So and tap the
we
screen to help me reach my goal. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Supreme.
in the comment section we have Diamond Dash. She started the
Thank you, Deuce.
USA 4B. And she's also we joined forces because I already had my West 4B a year ago. She just made her 4B USA, and we linked forces as women to bring all women
What's her
together.
name? That's the lady that's been arguing with me with no accountability. That's your person. Cause she ain't got
No,
no women accountability. If you talking about the
no,
same
she's
person
in
that's
the
been me.
comment.
Cause she's
No, that's
debated.
not her.
Wait,
Supreme.
can she comment again?
No,
Because
that's
if this
not
the
her.
woman that's been in here fighting with me, she ain't
No,
got
no,
a
no,
lick of
that's not her.
accountability in her. Hold
Supreme, they
That's
on,
not
asked
her.
a really
let her
good
comment real
question.
quick.
Asked you a
That's
really
not
good
her. That's
question.
not her. Dej, that's not you.
Okay, I'm just making sure because there's been a woman named Diamond Some up in here arguing with me. Okay, so it ain't you. Okay, because I was about to say
Diamond.
you might want to
It's a
reassess
different
her.
diamond.
Okay. Good.
Supreme? Can you answer my question? Is this movement only for straight women?
Yes. What the fuck you mean?
I'm asking a
What
question.
the fuck you mean?
I'm asking.
Eh, like, what other women is there? Oh my
Corey, this is
God.
why you don't get no respect from the women. I mean, let the
Oh,
women
whoa, whoa,
express
whoa, whoa.
themselves,
Oh
please.
my
She answered
God.
the question since she the one that started the movement, Corey. Is that okay?
That's crazy, boy. I tell you, boy.
Can she
Yeah.
ask? I mean,
Go ahead, go ahead, go
it's
ahead.
not a
No, no,
bad question because people have been making assumptions. So if we have
right,
the
you right,
person
you
here,
right,
why not allow them to answer the question?
you right,
Thank you.
you right.
AFAB stands for assigned female at birth. So if an AFAB woman is single, if an AFAB woman is straight, if an AFAB woman is a lesbian, then she's free to join. So it's for AFAB women, assigned female at birth. That's it.
Ooh. Hey, I support you on that. I'm behind you, Supreme. Not behind
Vice,
you, because I don't want you to say I'm sexually assaulting you, but I'm behind you.
This nigga, yo,
Jesus Christ.
this guy.
So
I
Supreme,
apologize for my guest, Supreme. I do.
so Supreme, my
She
question is,
lying.
what do you foresee the future looking like with this movement in the world and women actually, doing the movement? How do you see the world being?
I would like to see the world become more egalitarian. I would like to see the world less focused on one group of people having all of the resources and the majority of people having none. It would be my dream for everyone to kind of live life where we all can live in abundance and not have to struggle and live from paycheck to paycheck. But what happens in patriarchy is that only a few men benefit. Not even you men benefit from patriarchy, even though you men love it and don't really know why. You just know that men are in control. And that's really sad, because when egalitarianism reigns, then everybody's going good. And I think that that's where I would like to see it. But again, men will never overthrow the patriarchy because they have no they have no nuts for the men at the top. So for the most part, they turn all of their anger, their vitriol
CT.
on women. And this is why we're in the situation that we're in. He can't get to the man at the top, so he beats down to the woman and the child. And that's just what we see here.
CT.
I
Now,
agree. Who said
now that's
CT? Who said CT?
absent.
That
But
I
this is the
agree
thing.
with her though. I've been saying this for the
No,
last
no,
6. Wait a
because she's
minute.
saying
Give me a
we
second.
can't
Allow
have
me to
these
speak.
children though.
Allow me to speak. I agree with her. I've been saying that for the last 6 months. That men are the way that the men are being is a new form of buck breaking to women. They have created these platforms. They've created these conversations surrounded around beating down women, tearing them down, trying to make them get back into submission, be able to control. They are. I've been saying this for the last 6 months. They're saying, women, you need to let us control you. You need to learn how to submit. You need to take that hair out your head. You need to do this. And it's like a new form of buck breaking, because it's like
But
you're
T,
breaking. Stop interrupting me, Kari. Shit.
you missing points.
Why you gotta keep saying, but T? I'm not missing shit.
The controller.
Allow me to speak. Jesus. Now you got the baby. Dang.
Nobody disagree with the woman situation.
Can
We
I
talking about the
speak,
kids.
please? Or I'm going to drop you. Because every time I'm talking, you saying, but T, but T. Can I say what I'm trying to say?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Can you mute? Thank you. What I am saying is, I agree with that aspect, that they are trying to break down women because they feel that they have lost control. They're begging for women to submit to them. How long I've been saying that, y'all? If y'all remember how I was putting the pink skirts up, doing the backdrops back in the summertime, put a heart in the comments if I've been saying this for the last 6 months. That women are going to stop messing with y'all because y'all are trying to control them, make them submit to y'all by breaking them down. Go ahead.
Yeah, T, you have
And I want my money guns.
But for her to
the
sit there and say, hold on, for her to sit
crypto
there and say,
controller, y'all can go ahead.
but for her to sit there and say men are physically beating women and children, and you
Did you say
define
physically,
like
Supreme? I didn't hear you say that.
yes.
Beat down, like, you know, when somebody beats down, it's not like an actual, this is like punching down. You know what punching down means?
That's what I thought you meant. Okay, that's what I thought you meant. Okay.
So it's only a verbal side of this. Like women don't.
She's
Women
saying in
don't.
all aspects, regardless of anything,
All right. But
beaten down.
in aspect, women beat their own daughters down. Women
True.
kick their own kids out the
True.
house. Women does a lot of these things,
You're
but y'all
absolutely
not
correct.
speaking on that in the 4B
I
movement.
have, and
So
no, they're not. That's why I said
We
accountability.
we do speak about that, actually. We do speak about that. And we talk about how the hatred of women, the hate that women have towards other women also stems from male intrusion, male tyranny. Men had to separate women so that they could control them.
Divide and conquer.
Divide and
I've been
conquer.
saying that too.
So you basically saying men come into these situations and we cause the disruption to make women act a
Kari,
certain
she's
way?
not saying anything I haven't been saying.
I'm asking.
But I don't know why you asking. She's not saying nothing I haven't been saying for the last 6 months. The divide and conquer method. They talk about we want natural women. So they separate the women that are natural from the women that are unnatural so they can fuck both of them. They try to pin them against each other. They try to tell women you're not feminine enough. You're masculine. They try to separate the women. We just saw it happen last weekend where a creator put women up on the backdrop, one woman on the backdrop, and was trying to glorify this one woman and tell the other woman, why don't you have smoke for this woman? Just so they can make us women fight each other to get the smoke off of their ass. They do it all the time. It's called divide and conquer. I've been saying this.
This is the thing that I'm speaking about. I'm speaking about the household aspect. I'm not speaking.
I'm speaking about overall. She ain't speaking about. She's speaking about overall. So what you speaking about? You create a movement. Cause she's not speaking. She's not speaking in a box. You're staying in a box. You're
But
placing her in a
this is
box.
where the breakdowns
We
come.
it don't come
Majority
for
of
you because it ain't for you to know. We understand exactly what she's saying.
them.
We don't need you to understand because you ain't dealing with it. You gonna create a movement for y'all to be respected, for y'all to understand that y'all are valued beyond your pockets and your protection, beyond what you can do for a woman. You need to go ahead and create a movement telling your other brothers, hey, we don't gotta lead with our pockets. We don't gotta lead with our pickle. We don't gotta just protect and provide. We have more value. You go create a movement. What she's saying, we understand completely. We don't need her to break it down anymore. We get it. You lost because you ain't on the other side. Go
And
ahead.
that's how you know men have that controlling aspect, because it's not hard to understand what the women are actually saying about this movement. And I get it when the women say they have a problem with men, because men are actually not listening to them. It shows just with this movement. Like she explained it, Corey do not get it. Crypto coming in here just throwing things around. Y'all men show the women exactly what it is, and y'all look at them like, oh, I don't get it, while doing what it is that y'all don't get.
You just trying to be a pick me and ain't nobody
To
picking you.
mentally, the reason why
Wow.
Corey,
Corey,
the
let me
reason why
correct you.
Corey,
I'm pick
not
me and I am a pick me. So let
Ain't
me go ahead and
nobody
let you
picking
know
you,
I
bruh.
no,
am a pick me.
Like,
Okay. So let's not get it
but
Well,
confused.
he'll
Mr.
be left
Manny,
out here for y'all when we descend him in anyway, right, Demandy?
well,
Go
no,
ahead.
nope,
Exactly. Because like Corey
Mr.
nope,
said, we
Manny,
already know how to talk y'all out y'all draws. Y'all
nope.
didn't catch that, did y'all ladies? Did y'all not catch that, ladies? He said
I
that.
did. I heard it. I heard it,
Hey, no,
Manny.
I was centering myself and separating myself from other men in that aspect that have to bash women. That's what I was centering myself and saying. So if you didn't get it, I know you lost part of that aspect of
your
you, but
question,
that's what I meant.
Corey, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Corey, can I? Okay, so here's the thing that I've noticed that men, this is again male, in my opinion, male pattern behavior. You men get the information, and this comes only when you're dealing with women. Because if I were a male and I started a movement that encouraged women to close their legs, and like if I was DJ Wormfood, like Kevin Samuels, you would have loved me. You would have went. I wouldn't even been able to finish saying what I wanted to say, and you would have agreed with me. But I think that a lot of the times, the reason why you're asking so many questions, this is a mental breakdown tactic. What you're trying to do is you're trying to trip me up to see where can I fit in to kind of get the information to sound how I want it to sound. It's not about you. The reason why
What?
you're having a mental, again, the reason why you're having a mental break to this is because this is very clear. This is a clear response to a problem, and men do not deal in clarity. You guys are, even though you say you're not, we have to think about religion, and we have to think about the origins of it. Men are
Hmm?
delusional as fuck. You created a spook in the sky. You created the spirit. You created Noah's Ark and Moses and all of this other shit. Even with Islam, same thing, delusional as hell. You made everyone believe in it. You made everyone subscribe to it, and it's all malarkey and it's all a mess because it's not clear. You know that the God of the Bible in the Bible itself is
What is the
contradictory.
actual question? I thought you wanted to ask me a question.
No,
That's how
so
you
here's
start
the
off a
question.
statement and never
What don't
ask the
you
question.
what is the difference? And Storyteller asked this question earlier. What is the difference between a man saying close your legs and a woman saying the same thing? What is the
Okay,
difference?
I'm gonna tell you like this, right?
I see y'all in the
And
request box.
and what's the difference? There is no difference, right? The thing about it is when men been telling y'all for the longest, and this not me, because I'm not in control of no one. I don't have no say over nobody, so I really don't care what you do. But me, if you doing what you doing responsibly, it's okay. I have a homegirl, 5 kids, 5 different baby daddies. She called me this morning, by the way, and I can show proof of that. But the whole thing about it is, I have no control. I don't truly care. I'm happy y'all doing it. I'm proud that y'all doing it. I support that y'all doing it. But the thing is when you have valid reasons, like the women in Asia, whatever country that is in Asia that they're doing it, they have those reasons behind it. They don't have rights that women have in America. And even though women have rights in America, all their rights are not being protected and foreseen when it comes to that. So I understand where women are going with it. But when y'all have movements. Like I say, some of the things that women name that are part of the movements, I feel like just a little too far off because y'all don't experience some of the magnitudes that y'all lay out. And I feel like our community, and I mean our community, this complexion. And T don't want me to go to race, so I'm not gonna go to race. I feel like we have a bigger issue because we're falling further into this wealth gap because of the
Did you
division
know?
in our
Did you
community.
know that the women in South Korea can get birth control and they have access to shmishmorshins? Did you know that?
Don't really care because I'm not part of
No,
their
because
community.
you're saying that we don't have the issues that they have over there. They actually have better rights over in Korea than we do in the United States. So what are you talking about?
Not that they're drugged down in the street and a lot of the physical
How would
abuse.
they
We
drug
we
down
had
in the street?
hold on, we had that conversation yesterday in this live. Now, if I'm wrong, please correct me. But PQF brought it up uh about the physical abuse, the sexual abuse, all that stuff. So even though they may have minute rights over like abortion and stuff like that, it's a lot of other rights that they don't have compared to what's given here.
I have a question.
Like what?
Hey,
I
before
want
you
you to
ask the
name
question,
5
y'all give
rights.
me 1 second, Supreme.
Sorry.
Anybody that's requesting up, if you have less than 1,000 followers, my rule is you do not get to come in my panel. I apologize. I ain't got nothing against y'all. A lot of y'all just lack panel etiquette and you don't know how to, you know, interact in the panel without being told to mute your mic, not to, just different things like that. So I have set that rule across the board. I can't pick and choose because I don't know who got etiquette and who don't. So if you get your followers up, or you can send a cash out for $10 and I'll let you up. If not, it don't matter to me either way. Go ahead.
Can you name 5 rights that women in Korea have that we don't have, or that we have and they don't have? Because I can name 3 that they have that women in the United States do not have. So I'll wait for the 5 the answer to that
like I,
question.
like I told you, I don't care what's going on over there. Like truly,
So
they have
I'll
their
give you
hold
the
on, hold on,
information.
hold on. Let me answer. They have their own issues that they have to deal with. But I'm like for our
Y'all
community,
better show out.
because when you
Don't let
listen,
Supreme come up in here and get all these love and y'all ain't giving me the host, not you, not your people. Don't let
Thank you
Supreme
so
come
much.
up in here and outdo me.
And
all right.
host,
Now
I don't
hold
keep the
on.
gifts. I give them back to Dress for Success in New York City. It's
Oh, okay.
I
You
was told
good. I'm
that,
talking to my
yeah,
people.
I don't keep the coins. I give them back to women and children. So thank you for the gifts. I
Thank you
don't
for
keep them, but
doing
thank
that.
you.
Let
I
me
do
let
keep
me
mine
let me
though.
let me say this. I'm a truck driver, as you see by my name. I'm all over the country. The one reason I know for a fact that they started this abortion situation is because of their community. Yes, it affects all women, but this farmland that's out here, those people have been dealing with chemicals for decades doing farming and they couldn't have kids. And these people that meth addicts and all this that go and have abortions when they get pregnant a million times, you know what they want them people to do? Give up custody. See, y'all don't see that
False.
side.
That's a little
Y'all,
false.
that's not false when the land is being sold
Okay,
off.
Kari, you gotta let after you done, you gotta let Uchi go and
Okay,
then
okay. I'm gonna say this last part. The land is being sold off. They don't have heirs to take over it. They want these people to have kids and give them up for adoption. Y'all already know how many kids go missing in America as is on a yearly basis. Y'all better start looking into it. Y'all don't travel the country like I do. I'm on these roads constantly. Right now I'm in North Carolina and I stay in Miami, Florida. So understand that.
Okay. My question is, I'm a single father of a 5-year-old little girl. So, with the single mothers that are a part of the 4B, are you guys going to be teaching this to the youth? Are you going to be teaching this to the little girls as well? To
Yes, sir.
you
So
are
for little girls, for your daughter who grows up to be a teenager, she will be taught to keep her legs closed to young boys so that she doesn't end up a statistic.
okay. But as
Yeah.
far as everything else goes as well, are you going to tell her not to get married? Are you going to tell her um, everything else that you guys are practicing and pushing out there? not just to
Well, the
keep your
better
legs
the
closed, but
It's a
everything
good
else. Are you
question.
going to teach my daughter these things as
the
well?
better
For the
question is,
kids.
okay, the better question is, how are you going to raise your sons? Because women can't want something if men don't want. This is how we're here. Women want marriage, men don't. This is what men are saying. They're complaining about marriage. They're complaining. And again, the laws that they're complaining
See,
about, whether it be, 1 minute, the laws that they are complaining about, whether it be alimony
Something
or
that you
child
just
It's
support,
did.
the
Something
one
that you
minute,
just did.
please, sir, one
Listen.
minute. Just let me
I'm
finish
for
this
the
one
verbiage.
point.
I'm
The
for the
laws,
verbiage.
1 minute, the laws
But
that
you
men are
avoided my
complaining about
question,
were
though. You
invented by
avoided my
men.
question.
Just 1 minute, sir.
You
The
answered another
laws that
question,
men
but you didn't
complain
answer my
about,
question. I
I'm
don't
going
care
to
about
answer you.
nothing
Just
else.
let me say
I
this
want you to
one
answer
thing.
my
This is
question.
I
deflection,
Answer
just
my
answered
deflection,
question.
you.
deflection.
No, you're not answering my question. You're talking about raising
I did
sons.
answer you.
No, you
Miss
didn't. You
N.
said
Show out, Miss
you
N.
gave you
Show
gave
out.
one particular thing that you were going to teach. I asked you about everything else. Are you going to teach all this other stuff to our little girls? You didn't answer
I
that.
answer
just
the
told you
You said
question.
yes.
one
I
thing. No,
did
you
say
didn't. You said
yes.
one thing. Okay,
I
so you're
said
going to
all the
you're going
things,
to teach my
sir.
daughter. You're going to teach my daughter not to get married. You're going to teach my daughter this, that, and all the other stuff too.
Here's the thing. You won't let me
You're not
finish.
answering my. That's not. Here's the
Sir,
thing.
let
It's
me
either yes
finish
or
and
no.
answer you. But
Okay,
then
go
let
ahead.
me finish to answer you. How
Okay.
will your daughter get married to a group of men who don't want to marry her? Does that make sense?
But
They
who's to
wouldn't
say
want
that
to
a
get
man
married
isn't going to
though. You are
isn't
an
going to
enemy
want to
to the
marry my daughter
nuclear
by that
family.
time? Who's
How
to
do
say
you
that?
know they will?
Okay, hold
Are
on.
black men
But
getting
no,
married
Let me.
but
now?
who's to
Hold
say
on,
that
Miss
my
Supreme.
daughter's
Hold
not?
on, Uchi. Hold on, Uchi.
We don't know if
So,
time's
Miss
going to
Supreme, what
change by
he's
the time she turns when she gets
so Miss
older.
Supreme, what
Are
he's
black
asking
men
you.
getting married now? Are black men
So,
Yes,
getting married
now
now?
my
What are the
daughter is
statistics?
5. I'm talking about in the
Yes, the
future.
statistics, the number is going up. Yes, we
It'll
are
be
getting there.
worse. It'll be
okay,
worse in the
give me a
future.
second. Give me a second. So, Miss Supreme, what he's asking you is, like I said, I think that this is a good movement to teach women how to learn their worth, their value, and you said this is for things to change. So, what he's saying is a valid question for a concerned father that, of course, would hope to be a grandfather one day and will hope to be able to walk his daughter down the aisle. And if what we're doing, not we, what you're doing, and what we are fully supporting, is to be able to get women to heal, to be accountable, to self-reflect, to remove access and decenter, and to work on self. Eventually, to be able to be full and whole for maybe they get to a point where men will change and men are beginning to court again and things like that. Would this movement help his daughter to be able to now get treated by a man properly, or be able to open the doors for that, or she just to not deal with men at all by the time she gets of age? Is this going to benefit that for her to eventually understand what partnership is? Because you and I'm sure know what partnership feel like. If she's put into this movement at the age of 18 or maybe even 17 and does not know what it is to have a partner, she doesn't know what that feels like. We do. Is there an open door for her to be able to go into a partnership with this movement eventually? Is what he's asking.
All dependent on male behavior.
Y'all have a good
Women
one. She can't
cannot.
answer the
He's
question.
not
Y'all have a
letting
good
me
one.
finish.
Y'all
He's
have a
not
good
letting
one.
me.
Hold on,
He's
Uchi.
not letting me speak.
Go ahead.
At the end of the day, if men do not change, then women cannot either. So this is the West 4B. If men want women to marry them, then the violence would have to end. If men want women to engage with them, then the violence have to end. If men want anything, then the violence against women and children have to end. But if the violence is still the same 20, 30 years from now, which I think it will be because it was 40, 50 years ago, then why would he even want his daughter to date the product of men? He should be in fear that the men are not going to change and do something about it to rally men to be good men for his daughter. Why are you
Right. So if
asking me
they're
questions
working
and
on
you're not
that and
talking
they're
to a man?
building that village,
Yeah, work with men to build a better world for your daughter, sir, not me.
I think we're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. When we talk about the violence, it's a small subset of men that are actually creating violence. And how do I say that? Because every day women are capable of walking down the street without being clubbed in the back of the head. If this violence was so systemic, if it was a epidemic, every time women went out, by and large, there would be a conflict. We are talking about a very small sample size here. I'm not saying it's not happening, but
You
I'm
a
saying it's not
woman,
this
though?
epidemic we want people to believe.
Sir, are you a woman? Do you know what's
No, but
going on in New York City?
I'm
Do you
married
know
to
what's
a woman.
going on in New York City? Look, women are leaving the train from work and they're getting decked in the face. And you're
I
going to
got
tell me
news
that
for
it's
you.
not all men?
I got news for you. Those
it's
acts are
definitely
being
not all
perpetrated
men.
on men too.
Supreme. It's not all men.
those acts are being perpetrated on men too. New York is a cluster right now.
Okay.
This is not something that is exclusive to women. So again, my issue is we are
I
not
have
being
a good
objective about
question.
things, and it's a problem.
But how come she using physical
I have
now?
a
But
good
when I
question.
said it wasn't right.
I
She using
finally
physical violence now. But when I
hold on.
said
I
that's
want
what she
T to
was
hear this.
basically speaking on, she said y'all said no. See what I mean? She
Hold on,
used
T.
talking points to
Yes,
trigger certain
yes.
It doesn't suit her narrative.
Oh my God. Hold
yeah.
up. Can I ask the question? Because this is what I want to tease. I'm glad that this woman is up here because this is the woman of the example that I was talking about. The question is, do you believe that men will actually change? Period. All men. Do you believe that all men could eventually change? Or and my other question is, do you also believe that there are only specific men that do these things?
Supreme.
He's saying,
He's saying, do you think that that men are able to change? Do you think they're capable of changing?
if they're willing to do the work to deconstruct from the things that harm them, what we're talking about is things that harm them as well. Patriarchy harms men. The majority of men do not benefit from patriarchy. The majority of men do not benefit from capitalism. The majority of men do not benefit from religion. These are things used to oppress all people and separate all people. But men are not willing to deconstruct from these things because these things are held up by other men who have more power than they do. This is why they co-sign on bullshit they have no business co-signing on. You're not the top 1%, sir. Why are you voting that way? Why are you thinking that way? You should be aligning yourself with women to overthrow the system that oppresses us all. And of course, religion plays into that because it's nonsense. But you like the fact that it's a man made it, and this is why you stand next to it. And it's just sad. It's
Uh,
really sad.
So what
I
happens,
disagree.
Supreme? Hold on one second. What happens, Supreme? Brooks, you go right next. What happens to the Supreme of the women that sign up to have sons, or that have brothers, or that have? What happens with that? Because what are we going to do with those boys? Are we going to decenter them as well? Are they not allowed to be loved, respected, protected? What are they allowed in the group? If a woman has a son, is she a part of that?
Well, the thing is that I don't know what son would want to be in a commune with a million women. This is what I heard men say. Boys should be with their fathers. So women who have
So you
sons,
want the women to give their sons up?
well, not give them up, but what would you like us to do at this point? Because we can't
No, I'm
have,
just.
because I have this, no, I'm just saying in regards to the movement, um, I'm not saying for women to decenter their sons or give their sons up. But again, here's the thing that we are being told by men. We're not raising good boys. The boys that we are raising are derelicts to society. So that means that men should mobilize to take care of their sons the same way we take care of our daughters. There's nothing that
Okay,
we
so
can
you
do
have a
about
woman. You have a woman in your. So is there? So what is the initiation? What is the acceptance then? Because if you have a woman that may be a single mom and has two
we have
sons,
that.
okay, and she has two sons and the dad is nowhere around. What what does decentering men look like with a single mom that's raising two boys that are going to eventually be men? What does
So
that look like
decenter
if she's in a movement to decenter the likes of him?
But it's not the likes of him. It's a toxic behavior aligned with that gender. You would
Okay.
have to deconstruct and pull apart male toxicity, and you would have to do that with in regards to one, it has to start with religion. Two, it has to start with society. And three, it has to start with politics. So in my opinion, women can raise their sons, but they also have to take and pull apart what makes their sons become the men that we see today. If they're not willing to do that work, or they're on some, well, make sure your daughters are okay. Your daughters have to deal with their sons. They're not willing to do the work to make sure that their sons are not being bombarded with red pill nonsense, are not being bombarded with hate of girls and women, are not being bombarded with the things that make them turn into these men who hate women, because that's where it all starts. If you're not monitoring what your son is digesting, if you're not monitoring what he's listening to, if you're not talking to him about his emotions, his feelings, grounding him, making sure that he knows he's not entitled to shit from a girl, then what can we do? We have to train boys to be better. And that has never been discussed because boys,
Okay.
by and large, are seen as a blessing. Why would you want to train a blessing? Girls are not seen as a blessing. And this is why they're people just not people.
They are though,
This is
Supreme. Let's not do the reach because
no, no,
girls
no, no.
are
I'm saying in regards to like for the most part, one gender is favored over the other. It's usually the boy.
it's usually the
Girls are
girl though.
not
She's
favored.
more coddled. She's more
Now it is.
it's
Now
always
it is, but
girls have always been more coddled because now we're trying to deconstruct the mindset of men not having emotions and feelings. So let's be honest here. Girls have
but
always been catered to from since like, are you okay? Let me help you. You know, except for I'm not going all the way back when like they were sold off and all that stuff. But when like let's
that's
just
the time
start.
I'm
Let's just
talking
start
about.
where we
Yeah.
because we're not there anymore,
Yeah.
right? So we're at a time where girls are. They are. They're always told, like, ask, how do you feel? Are you okay? What can I do? Where boys are more affirmed. You're okay. Get up. Deal with it. You'll be fine. So is it fair to say boys are more so brushed off?
Now they are
So,
because of what you said. Today they are, but yesterday, having a boy would be like winning the lottery.
Right, but we're
That's
not
what it
there. We're
was
definitely
back
not
in the
there
day.
anymore. We're not there anymore at all.
Supreme, Supreme. A quick
Hold on,
question: Do you
Private. It was
feel?
Charles next,
I'm
but then
sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead and ask the question, but then Charles is next.
Yeah.
Do
Wait, hold on. Is it my turn or should I wait or what?
Go ahead, Charles.
Okay, I'm a red pill passport
We
bro
know.
who's married. So I think
We
I'm one
know.
of the guys that you're talking about. Now, from a red pill perspective, this is the history of the 4B movement. The South Korean government realized that the South Korean birth rate was far below replacement level. So what they did is they said, wait a minute, if we don't change this, our economy is going to collapse and the South Koreans are going to go extinct, right? So they came to the conclusion that they must stop their people from going extinct, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
they said, hey, women, you need to have babies or else we're going extinct. How did the women responded? Where the feminists said, you're trying to tell us what to do. You're trying to turn us to baby making machines. And the government said, we are going extinct. You need to have babies. And then the
Hold
feminists
on,
said,
PQ.
you're trying to control us. You're trying to control us. And the government said, we are going extinct. Okay? And so the feminists of America decided to jump on the extinct bandwagon. This is so stupid. And
Okay.
so men like me, the red pill passport bros, are saying, oh, so the feminists are volunteering to drive themselves extinct? Great. The problem is, I hope it succeed because it would be great if feminists could just die out. So the men who don't like you support your movement because we know we're smarter than you and we realize that all it's going to do is decrease your birth rates and decrease your kind. And when the birth rates go very low, when the birth rates gets low, the government simply open the door for immigrants. We like immigrant women. So we would like for you feminists to be replaced.
Okay.
I think
So this
everything
shouldn't
will
be a
get
problem
better.
then,
So,
right?
so what you females, you
Hold
have
on,
no clue.
stop.
Now, hold on, Matt. You have
Yeah, I'm
no
just I'm
clue.
just telling somebody in my chat to hold on because they
All right, thank
requested
you.
up.
So
Okay.
you women have no clue what you're doing. Why would any man have a problem with masculine women volunteering to drive themselves extinct? Yeah, you know what? Listen, you're not going to affect the strong man
Okay.
because the strong men like submissive women. The only men are going to be bothered by this are weak simps, the men who constantly seek women's validation. Strong
Mm-hmm.
men don't give a damn about you going extinct.
Okay.
So you want to stop having babies so
Arthur, give me
your
1 second.
bloodline can
Arthur,
die
I'm gonna
out
bring you right
so
back.
our future generations won't have to worry about these ratchet boss chicks who get abortions and are anti-family. Red pill, we want nuclear families. We want strong families. And you feminists are saying we're going to go extinct. Bye. Why are you simps worried about this? Let them go extinct. There's 3.5 billion women in the world. American women only make up like 3% of all the women in the world. Women, do you know how many women are dying to have babies? Do you know how many women would just love for an American man to bring him here and have about 3 or 4 babies? Do you realize that? So you think you're gonna bother the real men by volunteering to go extinct? It's just dumb. You're not. Please go extinct. Don't have babies and go extinct.
Okay, Charles, we
Now,
need to
now, now
land the
that
plane.
that's
This
coming
is your
from
captain
a
speaking.
red. Hold on, that's coming from a red pill passport, bro. The smart men want your movement to succeed because we don't like your attitudes anyway. So I land.
Host, can I address that?
Absolutely.
I wanted to, I appreciate you, Mr. Charles, and I agree with everything that you said. Thank you.
I agree with him too. We really don't. I don't think that women care that you don't care. But go ahead.
Only thing I wanted to say was one thing. When Supreme make her statement about women handling their daughters and things, both both kids, male or female, needs a father as well as a mother. This is what our community really should be focusing on. Having stable households with both parents there for the support of the kids. Even if you're not together, you should be able to coexist. And there shouldn't be no bitterness on either side. That's the only thing that we should
Yes,
really be
I
trying to
agree with you
discuss.
too, Corey. I agree with you. Thank you for that. I agree.
I really wish y'all knew who this woman is that's talking that y'all talking to right now, bro. I
We don't
can't wait.
need to know.
Please, you guys
No,
don't
Like,
report my life.
what's the importance?
no, bro. No, you right. I understand it, but bro, what I talked about earlier, this is the woman's life that I was talking about, y'all. Y'all need to go in there. She don't hold certain women accountable in that live. She don't preach unity. She don't
She
preach
Okay, and
don't
I
have
just
to.
told
It's
you
it's
what
on
from
it's
what
on
I'm hearing.
example.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. From what I'm hearing here, I haven't seen that. And again, Prince,
and that's why
you
I'm
don't
saying that, and
understand what
that's
the word "no" means because I asked you not to
no,
bring what happened. I asked
and
you
that's oh
nicely and
my.
kindly. You threw a fucking hissy fit and drop
But no, T,
because I kindly
you missing the
again.
point
That's
that
what he
I'm
did on my
saying though,
panel too.
Can I speak?
right?
You threw a hissy fit and drop because I kindly asked you not to bring what happened in another platform here because I was not there to be able to judge. From what I'm seeing here, there's some things that I agree with, there's some things that I don't. I'm able to chew the meat and spit out the bone. Whatever I agree with, that's fine. Whatever I
And
don't, we could agree to disagree. I haven't
and
seen anything that would
Host,
make me feel any different. However,
and
host, can I?
you are going to go on a tangent from live to live and post to post and say, hey, that woman hurt my feelings or she called me a
no, I'm not
manipulator.
saying that.
Look,
T, don't
yes,
do
you
that.
are because I
No, I'm
asked you
not
not
saying.
to
I didn't
bring
say
it
that woman
here.
hurt my
And you
feelings.
keep doing it.
What I said was she don't take accountability. T, don't misconstrue my words because I don't misconstrue your words, and I respect everything that you said in this live. What I'm saying is this woman is not being complete in this live just as much she be in her own platform. So yes, we can adapt to the things that she is saying. But if you really knew who this woman was, you would be like, oh no, you wouldn't let this woman talk to your daughter. Thank you. That's all I was saying.
Can I
Um,
respond, please,
Go
host?
ahead.
Okay, so this is in regards to Prince, and Prince, please don't interrupt me because we went over this before. You came on my panel and you said that this movement wouldn't work because it does not preach. You spoke about unity because you were talking about Jesus, and you were saying that Jesus Christ would want for us to be unified. Jesus wouldn't want for us to be divided. Jesus would want the family structure to remain. Please mute Mr. Clapback.
5 miles from the Los Angeles airport. We should be landing in the next 35 minutes.
Yeah. So he said that Jesus would want unity. Jesus would want the family structure to remain intact. Jesus would want the nuclear family to remain intact because that would mean the longevity of the Black family. He spoke about Jesus and he spoke about family a lot. So then, host, I gave him one scripture and then I read the scripture to him. And this scripture is Matthew chapter 10, verses 34 to
I'm listening.
39.
I
And
hear
this is
you.
Okay, and this is Jesus talking. I want you to hear this, okay? And everyone should hear this because he's saying, this is why Prince is mad. He said that Jesus wants unity, and I read him what Jesus actually said. And it says, "Do not suppose I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace but a sword. For I have come to turn a man against his father, a daughter against his mother, a daughter in law against her mother in law. A man's enemies will be the members of his own household." Okay? Anyone who loves their father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Anyone who loves their son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. He doesn't even want you to love your own children. Whoever does not take up their cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds their life will lose it. He even wants you to lose your life for him. Sir, Jesus does not want the family unity structure that you are speaking of. It's not biblical, what you're saying to me. And I suggest that if you are going to be a Christian, you should read your Bible, because as an atheist, I am biblically handsome and I will eat you up every single time with your book. Every single time.
No,
May,
because what you
Okay?
do is you read out of context. I will chew you up just off of that statement alone. I know how to rebuttal
Counteract this
against
one.
what you said
Give
that
me a
was
scripture now
admirable.
to counteract this one. Give me a scripture. I have my
Listen,
Bible open.
listen, and I got prayed
Give
up.
me a scripture,
Honestly,
Prince. Give me a
honestly, I don't
scripture.
argue with fools. You say you're an atheist. I'm not supposed to
Give me a
argue.
scripture,
I'm not supposed to
sir.
argue
Yeah,
with
because you don't have
fools.
one.
No, I'm not supposed
You
to
don't
argue with
have one,
fools.
sir.
I'm not
You don't
supposed to
have a
argue with
scripture, and I
fools
know
if
it.
I'm a Christian. If I'm a Christian, I'm not supposed to argue with fools.
Can
I
y'all hear
prayed up
me?
on
Just say
that.
you don't have a
Can
scripture.
y'all hear
That's
me?
all.
Can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me?
yes.
The
Yeah,
scriptures
we
say
can
that
hear
I
you.
don't
Yeah,
argue
no,
with
no, no, no,
fools.
no, it's Prince. No, 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 no. See, this is the second. This is a third. The third man that's coming to my panel and has brought Jesus or God up. And when we ask, when the women ask, okay, so give me. And again, I believe in God. Don't drop now. Don't run now. Third man. Y'all know that I'm not lying, women.
Oh, he left.
That's okay, because I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it for you men. You making yourselves look bad. The third man that has came into my panel that has talked about religion, talked about God, and when they're asked, hey, can you show me, have dropped or got upset and said, I'm not going to even respond to you. They are doing this, and y'all are wondering why women don't follow, why people don't believe. Ask me something, I'm going to tell you. May not be able to quote a scripture. I may not be able to cite something, but I may be able to tell you why I'm a believer. There's nothing that Supreme could tell me that's gonna make me not believe in God. However, I don't believe in religion. Okay, but I'm not gonna argue with her about it. I'm not gonna force it upon her. I'm not gonna drag her through the mud for it. She has the right to believe what she wants to believe. I'm okay with that. You understand? But these men are coming up in here trying to force things onto women, and women ask, okay, so can you help me? Can you lead me? I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to talk to you. And you guys are poor leaders. You're poor leaders. And it's sad and it's sickening. You don't know how to explain. You don't know how to talk. You don't know how to articulate. You don't know how to communicate. Whatever you want to put it, you are poor. You're poor.
I'm
Hey,
not poor.
hey
He
T, can
also brought up that men are the
I'm
original
talking to
leaders,
you, Uchi.
host. Oh,
hey
sorry.
T.
He brought up, sorry, go ahead, Uchi.
No, I just want to say this real quick. Hey T. And also when like as I'm a Muslim, right? But the thing about it, like you said, I don't push it on people. Most people didn't even know that. The thing also that a lot of these guys, when they go and try to quote the scriptures, the Bible does say, even the Quran say, make sure you know your Bible so when you come up against your enemy, you can defend it.
Mm.
May may I say something real quick?
Go
Good
ahead, baby.
afternoon, everybody. Thank you, T, for having me up. Respectfully, I've been chiming in, listening for a little bit, and I just want to say on the topic, this is a really good topic, and I was literally having this conversation. First of all, just a little bit about me. I am a single mother. I do have two boys, and their dad is nowhere around, you know, and I've tried, everything in my power, to get resources and, you know, get positive influences around my sons rather, because I have twins. And just bear with me, and I said the subject we was talking about is how everybody was trying to talk about, oh, let's, this black power, this black power, this black power. And obviously, as a black woman, I'm all for black power. However, the real power is in our homes, is in our families. A lot of us All of us got trauma. I don't care who you are. I don't care how good you're doing. You could be a CEO of a company. If you got melanin in your skin, you got some trauma. And you walking and you living in it every day. And we got to do the work first with ourselves, with our children, our families. You know, we got neighbors. I mean, we got family members in the same city we ain't talking to. We got brothers and sisters that got renting in the same house. You know, if that actually happens, because that, you know, that's one in a million where we can get ourselves together as family and actually work together and help each other. So it does start in the homes. So I encourage everybody to just first start with yourself, because you can't help nobody, not even the kids you don't birthed out, if you don't help yourself. So whatever that looks like, whether it's, you know, you going to therapy, whether it's you cutting off people that need to be cut off, whether it's you taking them, look in the mirror and saying, I need to do what I got to do, whatever capacity that looks like for you, you got to do that first. And then go get your damn kids, first and foremost. They got to come with you because them yours. That's your first. We got to get together with like what you saying, with the people that we had these kids with, first and foremost. That's the problem. We got to get it together. And all this stuff that's going on is all, we are the victims of it all. The most gifted, the most talented, the most resilient, the most beautiful people on the freaking planet. And we ain't even gonna mention the intelligence we got.
Preach it, sister.
I disagree.
And we suffering. Excuse me, miss, please, I'm about to leave. Okay? I didn't interrupt nobody. And like I
And Kathy,
said,
I support
we
Dr.
are
King, y'all.
we are so powerful. And we gotta start with ourselves, with our children. We gotta make it work. Whether we first in our homes, if we can get it together with them people, we gotta get married. If we had these babies, why we having these babies if we didn't want to get married? We gotta stop. Think about what we doing. Because these kids is the one that's suffering, and we passing down all that mess right down to them, so on and so forth. We out here can't get it together because we working for everybody when we know we should be running everything. Look at my sister T. Got over 1,000 plus people on TikTok on a Thursday. Wake up, my people. You can yawn, you can do whatever you want to do. But somebody's going to hear me.
You
Somebody
heard.
going to hear me, and somebody going to start working on that little girl. They going to start working on that little boy, because we grown men and we grown women, and we got little boy issues and little girl issues that we got to deal with. I know I'm dealing with mine. And when I tell you, baby, it's been ugly. But I tell you, when I get on the other side, oh, glory be to God. I don't care if you don't believe. Whether it be the God in you, that God in me, believe in whoever, but it's going to get good when you do the work. So we
Then
got to do it. I'm over here looking at my sons, you know, and I'm saying to my boys, you know what? I got to do the work, because I'm not going to be bitter. I'm not going to be angry. I'm going to make sure that my children know the truth. I'm going to love them. They're going to be fresh, and I've been doing that anyways. Oh, from day one, baby. I'm going to keep them fresh. I'm going to keep them right. I'm going to tell them the truth. We're gonna tell them the truth. The truth is, hey, your daddy broken. He in a dark place. We ain't got to be nasty. We ain't got
No,
to tear each other
you ain't
down.
gotta say the daddy broken. You ain't gotta tell
You
him
know,
that.
no, I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? I'm not, you know what I'm trying to say? We got to say
Yeah,
things.
okay.
You know what I'm trying to say, girl. They in a
Yeah,
dark
I just
place.
want to
We
make
can
sure you
tell our
you
children
know.
stuff without tearing them down. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? We can tell our children, you know what I'm saying? We can keep it real with them and tell them the truth in love. And say, we're going to pray for them. We're going to keep hope alive. Whatever you got to say, whatever you choose to say in your way of saying it. But my point is, communicate to our kids. Let them know, ain't nothing wrong with you, baby. that they ain't around or whatever's going on in the house. And you know, even if it's you going
Okay,
through, I
Jenny.
tell
Okay,
my
girl.
kids, yo, baby, I'm going through right now. I'm sorry. What I'm feeling right now ain't got nothing to do with you. We got to be real. Because
Okay,
we got
Jenny.
us women, especially us women, we be carrying all this stress and all this tension in our body. Think
Keep cutting
about
out.
it. Think about it.
Okay, Jenny, we gotta move forward. I
Okay, and
feel
just
you.
I'm gonna just say this
I
last
feel
thing,
you.
and real quick on the religion thing, there's a whole 1,000+ people. If y'all really want to chop it up, y'all should go get in the Zoom room and do it in private if you really want to learn and you really want to build. But
Why they
attacking
gotta
each
do that
other
in
with the
private?
word and all that ain't that
Why
gonna
they
work.
gotta do that in private? That's the
That's I'm,
problem.
I'm saying,
Why
as far
everything
as
gotta be
like,
done in
cause this,
private?
because I'm saying it's always gonna be a beef if when it comes to
It don't
politics,
matter. When
religion, whatever. We
you
were
stand
talking
and
about
see
a
that's
good
the
topic,
problem.
and that's all I was saying. That's just
No,
my opinion. I'm
I don't
just saying,
agree
as
with
far
that.
as this religion,
I believe stand on hold on. Stand on who you are everywhere you go. And that's
I
the problem.
understand that.
Everything gotta be behind closed doors and in private. Stand on business everywhere you go. You
I understand
reflect
what
who
you're
you
talking
are. And
about,
this is
far
why
as
people
like,
don't hold on, baby. Hold on, just let me just say this.
I'm sorry,
It
go
should
ahead.
nothing be done in private. If we stand on business where you at. Stand on business wherever you go. And it's a representation of who you are, what you do, what you say, where you go. If you gonna say, hey, go, you need to follow God, and I ask you, well, where am I going? Where am I following him to? And I'm not gonna argue with you because you're a fool. Well, I don't know what God you believe in, but I sure don't want to follow him if you're gonna talk to me and call me a fool because I'm asking you about the person you telling me I need to go follow. If you tell me go pray, and I say, well, why I need to pray? I'm gonna ask God this. Don't ask no questions. Well, why the hell you want me to follow somebody I can't see, I don't know, and I can't ask a question to? I'm not gonna call you foolish. No, you're foolish. So a lot
I
of times, a lot of you people have to. I did check my IG and I didn't see anything that's worth sharing, baby. Whatever you send me, I don't know what you want me to do with it. You want to tell me what you need me to do with that. But I'm just saying, don't do shit in private. Stand on business
no. What
in
I'm
private.
saying is, I totally agree. I don't agree with nobody calling
How you get my
nobody a
purse? Oh,
fool.
my purse.
That's why I said certain topics and stuff. And far as the platforms going, you was talking about a topic, you know.
Right, it's
And
fine. I didn't say no. You can't tell nobody what to do on my
oh
platform.
no,
I
I'm
ain't
just giving
afraid
my
nobody.
opinion. No,
I
I'm
know,
not.
but your opinion ain't needed in that aspect because people can talk. If I feel like it's going off the topic, I'll say it. I don't have
Okay,
a problem with saying it.
I
So
was.
again, you good, but you don't tell nobody. Well, don't say this. It only say this in public, in private.
I didn't
I
say
didn't
that,
ask
ma'am.
nobody. You talking about what
I,
happened here today, right?
no, I said in my opinion. I said
You're
things
talking
like
about what
that.
happened here today, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you're speaking of what happens on my platform, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I don't see a problem with what happened. We on topic. We ain't moved nowhere. If
Okay.
anybody off topic, is you.
Okay. My
Okay,
apologies.
but that's okay. I ain't said nothing. Just let's go. Let's just keep going. If you don't, it's all good. I
Um,
ain't tripping.
Can I get back on topic?
I
Can I
have a
give you
question
something,
for
host?
Supreme.
Oh, I just want to give the host the scripture for a minute because she said something about male leadership. And that's what we got into with Mr. Prince. So there's a scripture in regards to the first instance that we ever see in history of male leadership, right? And so this is Genesis chapter 3, and everyone write this down because when men say we are the original leaders, we were made to lead women. This is our thing. Okay, so this is how you answer the Christian man who says this to you. Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. Okay, this is what it says. Hold on. Just give me 1 minute. Let me just scroll up.
Okay,
And
while
this
you
is
doing
just,
that, let me say this real quick. Mellow
okay.
Man, I respect exactly what you're saying. You said I can't support a movement that doesn't have God in it. I understand completely. What I do feel is that a lot of people don't know how to show God through. You know what I'm saying? You will sit here and you will remove yourself from something instead of illustrating who God is and what God is through yourself. Instead of I'm gonna move because God ain't in this, so I'm gonna get up out of this when He probably planted you there to be up. I'm not gonna even go there. Go ahead, cause y'all be so quick to say I ain't gonna put myself into nothing that He ain't in. You ain't of Him because Jesus. If we gonna go about the Bible, if y'all gonna use your Bibles, right? He went and he wept. He went and he congregated with those that didn't believe in Him. He went and congregated with those that didn't even that were living in sin. He went and sat in the midst of those that wasn't even believing in his father.
not in
So for y'all
here.
to sit here and say, I
Get that
wouldn't put
out of here
myself
right
in or
there.
support, that's why
Hey,
a lot of people don't believe. But let me be quiet and mute.
I'm sorry, I
So
apologize.
this is the first instance in biblical history of male leadership. And again, when Christian men tell you that they are the original leaders because God says so, write down Genesis chapter 3 verse 6. When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. Adam never intervened when it was time to eat the fruit. He never said, Eve, you shouldn't be talking to the serpent. He never said, Eve, God told me about that tree. You really should stay away from it. He didn't lead her. He sat there, he watched, he ate the fruit, and here we sit. So stop saying that men are the original leaders. You're not. You're not.
I 100% agree with you.
But shit, she got us fucked up with that though, Supreme. If you gonna use that as
I
example, her
100%
leadership
agree
fucked
with
us
you.
up. But go ahead.
It,
If you gonna use example.
the Bible also says, by the actions of one man, sin entered the world. So even God put the calamity of everything in this world on men. Like that's what the Bible says. By the action of one man, sin entered the world. So God blames men for everything. You understand what I'm saying? But I have a question for Supreme. Do you feel that the 4B movement is a cure to the progenitor nature that favors a male heir in society, or do you feel that it's more than that? I guess is the question I'm trying to ask.
Male gender in society.
So male gender in society.
Are you saying that does the 4B favor the male gender or reject the male
No.
gender?
Does so within Asian culture, because you said it before, the progenitor nature, meaning who progeny having children, favors the male heir. And I'm asking, do you believe 4B is a cure to that? Do you feel that 4B is sort of a paradigm shift to that? I mean,
No,
really, do
well,
you?
because okay, even with that, sir, and this is an amazing question because I don't think, Mr. Private Citizen, that men think things through. They don't think things through all the way out. So, for example, we have like examples in Romania with Decree 770. We also have what happened in China maybe 30 years ago, where a male heir was seen as better than the girl. So the government not the government, but a lot of people participated in the unaliving of little girls. Like little girls were not seen as anything at that time period when China had the one child policy. It's been recently lifted, I heard, in 2022, which is fine. But again, at that time period, all the rave was boys. Fast forward to today, sir, none of the men have anyone to sleep with. There's not enough girls. So the child birth rate that people are complaining about is that's decreasing. Men did it again. You guys are the one who messed this up. Similar to what happened with Decree 770, where a man said all women should not have access to birth control. All women should have abortions taken off the table. This is something that men are doing. So what happened with Decree 770? Yes, millions of children were born. The majority of them didn't make it past the age of 5. Because a man, again, wanted to boost up his economy and told women, you ladies should not have access to birth control or abortions. And the women in Decree 770 also had what they call menstruation police. And they had to kind of log their periods in with officials and also have mandated gynecology visits with a doctor every single month to ensure that they were not pregnant or getting rid of a fetus, and then these women were punished. They were put in jail, but the end result is they didn't want to get put in jail. Millions of children were born. They all died in poverty because the economy never boomed the way I don't know if he was a prime minister, the leader in Romania wanted. And you guys should all research Decree 770. It's horrible. So for men who don't want abortions and birth control, look at what can happen with that. And it wasn't good.
Okay, I have a
It just
Right.
wasn't
So
good.
right. So but then there are leaders like Patrice Lumumba,
We're gonna let
right? I'm sure you know of
Gucci
that.
go next.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You go
I
ahead. Go ahead
Belong
and
to
then
his
Gucci go
own
next.
people.
I
Yes,
have
I know Patrice Lumumba.
Right. So you have him in I can't quite remember the country he worked in, but he
The DRC.
raised, yeah, the DRC. So he raised literacy. I mean, he treated women as a resource. And my only point is, and I'm not against the movement. I'm wondering where, because I was on live with you earlier, and I'm just wondering, is this politically motivated? Is this just less in the progenitor nature of the plutocratic patriarchy? I mean, what is the goal here? You know what I mean?
It would be twofold. Some would say threefold. Twofold, threefold, I think. But go ahead, Uchi.
Now, I don't really have an opinion. I just like to ask questions. That's my thing. I like to ask questions. So my question to you is, all these practices come from different countries, right? The 4B
Yes,
movement. Okay.
even the
Okay.
United States, yes.
Oh no, that's not what I asked. It comes from another country and it's moving over here to the U.S., right?
It was in the US prior to this time period. You just don't know when, sir.
I don't believe that, but okay.
You don't think that
I
enslaved
believe
women
I believe it was
sir, you don't think that
I believe that it was practiced somewhere else and now it's
sir,
coming over here.
in the
Uh,
Americas, African enslaved women practiced this movement. They had ways in which they did not get
Okay,
pregnant
so
by the
as
slave
I
Hold on,
masters
said,
who
laugh.
were
I
so
got
raping.
you.
so
Y'all tap the
therefore it
screen.
was
Let's get to
practiced in
300K,
another
everybody.
country. So therefore it was practiced in
If you're
another
not
country.
well read, then just say that.
Who, me?
Yes, sir, because it happened in
No,
the
no, I'm asking.
Americas before.
You
You
said
just
what?
don't know about it.
So break it down to me. When did it start in America?
Uchi, I'm
Seeing
a
that I don't
historian,
know
and
about
she is
this information.
100% correct. I'm a
But
Okay,
she
no,
historian, and
no,
talking
she's
no,
about
no.
holding the
100%
I
against
correct.
want to
the
know.
slave
I
He's
master.
been
never
a
know. I
private
just sat here.
citizen. Can you
I just
explain to
sat here
him?
and
Because
said.
you're a
I just sat
man.
here and said.
No,
No, why are you over talking me? I just sat here and said I don't know nothing about it. So I want you to explain it to me. I'm asking you to.
okay,
I'm
so let me
asking you to give
finish,
me
please.
knowledge.
All right, Uchi, please stop. And this is what I said to you. Since you have such animosity to me, I
I
don't
don't
want
have
to deal with
animosity
you
over you.
anymore. You're
I
yelling
told
at
you I
me,
was
and I
going
don't
to
want to
ask
yell.
questions.
Okay,
So
Uchi,
don't
please calm
project that I have
down,
animosity
Uchi.
towards you.
Uchi, take a deep breath.
Hold on one second,
Breathe.
both of y'all. Hold on. So Supreme,
Breathe.
Supreme.
Mhm.
This is your opportunity to give a better example than what the guy before just did. Because once he didn't like what was being said, he was like, "I'm not gonna argue with fools." Da, da, da. What you're doing is using your femininity to say, "I don't like how you're talking to me. You're making me feel this way. I'm going to remove myself." No, you can still go ahead and explain to him and break it down to him, regardless of how he's talking to you. Shut that shit down and say, "Hey, bro, let me explain it to you. Let me break it down like this."
But
You don't
here,
have to go
but
around it. I understand, but
mhm.
you this is your opportunity as a woman to lead and show your leadership and show that you don't have to remove you act in emotion, you don't have to deflect, you don't have to run in circles, you don't have to use the femininity card of I don't like this, it's making me feel some kind of way, because that's just what Prince did to you.